Mundo gonna walk forward. That's 2 down, actually. No one down here for St. Clair, but they have to be careful. This Corky's still here, still doing damage. You're gonna find the Victor in the back. Gonna get the auto on one, gonna pick the auto on the other, and that's gonna be a triple quadra for Zephyron. Stamps his name on this game, stamps his name on this series, and that is gonna be it. Definitely a health advantage here in favor of St. Clair. Never mind. DP gonna find Blossom. Casper gonna get one. Looking for a second. Gonna find it. Gonna try and get this heal. Gonna find a third. Oh my! He's gonna over the AC. Does he get it? No!
Oh my god.
Jarvan coming out to the top lane. He is looking for a gank here on Ricky. Ricky gonna go in on Anime Girl. He sees the Jarvan starting to walk towards that mid bush.
Just back too.
Yeah. Always sandwiched in this mid bush here. They're gonna be able to hit the knockup. Damage coming out, a lot of damage coming out. The ignite came out. Almost able to take down
He's
Mobbin.
gonna win this. He's gonna win this. He wins that. Holy.
Really hoping that he does, and for himself, and he does find that one. He finds a second as well, from a 3-on-5 to a 3-on-2, now to a 2-on-2 as JMB has fallen. Thing to work over there, or just trying to provide a different kind of point of attack. Salty Archer still on another floor, him pointing that one out, but they only have a few seconds. They have to get that diffuser, and there's no time. They have to go for the kill. They're gonna rush through. First one down, but the kill's there for Kinger, and an ace! That is gonna be a round for St. Clair, and a big one at that. Winning 9 out of the last 10 is just such an insane stat. Oh my god, what a dart! What a dart! Wombat!
Oh my gosh!
Shut him down, John! That's going on your plays of the week! And another self-double!
What is going on?
What am I watching? Oh my god, headphone users beware!
We have the first game of the NECC regular season
right
here
now, and it doesn't seem like they're gonna have. Oh, it seems like Jarvan is gonna go in for a little bit of attack, but it's gonna switch over to Galio. It seems they're going for almost full team fight here with a couple people being knocked out. We're gonna have
what an ult!
Talon got knocked out. We're gonna have
Crash.
Kennen being taken out as well.
We'll go down here in just a second. Ricky with a nice ult, but Malphite gonna be here too. It's gonna be a full 4v5 here. Ricky looking for something here. Nico gonna be sneaking up here. Ult is available. We'll go for the flash. Ult gonna get all 4 members. A massive stun onto all 4 members of the Durham there. That's gonna be a big Malphite up. It's not gonna matter because they're all going down. Zephyron with a massive Nico ult is gonna get 3, and that's exactly what St. Clair ordered.
That was
the Pike has dealt with it enough. He doesn't want to deal with it anymore, and I don't blame him.
That was a really good escape, actually. I don't know. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Over? Oh, the game is over.
Oh, the game's over.
Who won? Did St. Clair win? St. Clair won! This Karma is sitting on level 10. The Jaina is sitting on level 9, and Zaya is sitting on level 10. Whereas you look at Barlow's level 11, Ricky is level 13 right now, so he's just so far up. He might be caught here in the bot lane. Nice ult combo there. Galio going to be landing on top of this, though. Can they kill this Aatrox in time? No. He's going to have a couple people joining him. That's going to be a massive Q for him. Double kill onto this mid lane. And that's going to look for clean up this fight for St. Clair. That's going to be Zub trying to run away with Ricky. Going to pick up another one, looking for a nice finish to this fight.
Absolutely led them directly into the line of fire as they see another attack here onto Barlow. He got through one AOK. He's actually going to turn this around. He survives the dive and will absolutely...
Almost getting Barlow as well here. You see Fresh trying to get it. That's going to be plus 1,000 onto LeBlanc, but I think it's a little bit too late here. Zephyr trying to do whatever he can to defend. Gets the flash on the rise, and here we go.
Oh, picks up the double kill, and they'll cancel the roll back. Actually, they'll get him out of there. That's a triple kill for Zephyr. Zephyr could go huge here, trying to find everyone else. Shutdown going to be picked up. Though, this could be dangerous. Lulu going to have to ult herself up, but Exile just going to be taken down here. Zephyr going to be found out by this. That was a beautiful ult, though. Zephyr barely living, but Shutdown going to be taken for Lagia there. Midnight going to come down as well. Lulu with no ult available. That's so much damage from Barlow, though. Picks up the double kill, trying to find the triple. Does get it. Managed to evade that last auto, looking for one more. The Quadra available on Lahia here. Will Barlow go for it? Yes, he will. Barlow doing so much in this fight here. Going to come through. Quadra coming through for Barlow, the man, the myth, the legend. Finally playing an aggressive ADC, and it's paying dividends for St. Clair. Oh, it's going to be a flash invested here. Yeah, going to go for the ult, but he doesn't realize there's two people here from the other team. Ult going to come through, going to get all three members. Zephyron clapping absolutely everyone in that fight. Going to pass all the way back to his ult fight. Yeah, going to barely escape. Yes, he will. He's going to get away here, Swift. Oh, he's going to get the E, but it's not going to be enough. Going to be able to save here. Going to go for the Q, and that's going to be it. That was a beautiful triple knock up there on the ult from Zephyron.
Comfort fix.
Oh, big flash. Ult going to come through as well. Ult going to come through to follow up. That's going to be a stun coming down. That's going to be Hecarim actually being taken down here. Shutdown for the Lee Sin, and Zephyr going to walk too far forward. Going to get the ult down. He will. That's going to be a Malphite out to follow up. A triple kill for Zephyr here. Looking for a fourth onto the Oriana. A knockup not going to hit. They might go for a turret dive. No, they're going to Clair. Going to be very happy with the NECC season. Just dropping one game the whole time.
Yeah, super impressive.
You can ult the Ashe and then get it back to ult the Gwen. Oh, that's going to be an ult
coming out.
Onto one. Jarvan going to go down very, very fast, though. This is going to be a glacial pop. Ricky going to find one as well. This fight is turning completely in St. Clair's favor so far. Set ult going to come down. A double kill for Barlow, though. Will slow up the set. He's not going to go anywhere. That's going to be a shutdown onto Zephyr here, but it's going to cost the entire team. Ult going to land there. Long range. Barlow finding it. That's going to be the end for this Jinx. Platypus going to go down an ace again for St. Clair. GBU, just this Jarvan and the Annie, so definitely still a way to defend this phase, but they want to go in on this Jarvan, who's very squishy, but Annie lands a stun. This could be bad, though. Eric Yang going to go down here on this Jarvan again. A lot of autos coming out here from Barlow. They can try and take this turret down. No one up for the side of GVU anytime soon, but Annie will get shut down, and that's going to be it. Barlow, can they take down the turret? Yeah, they will. So that's going to be the end of the game. St. Clair pull it out of the hat. They end up winning this one. A pretty crazy one. We didn't really get to see a ton of it, but in the end, St. Clair take the victory and bring us to game number 2 in the lead up, right? And I mean, the nice thing is, too, is that Darius needs to get out early, but meanwhile, there's going to be a gank here in the bot lane. That's going to be a quick E out from Barlow. All going to come through from Platypus as well. Barlow going to go down very, very early. A nice route there, actually going to go down to Platypus. The double kill comes through, though. Couldn't get on a Zephyr in time. Kindred going to come down and save him, so a clean double kill there. This could be
here that GVU has made, but Barlow, he's getting chased down in the mid lane. Root is going to come out. So much damage. Look, the Glacial Augment, he can't move. He can't move. As E-Hug is going to go in, also going to get knocked out. Ricky able to hit a nice ultimate. Going to pick up the first kill for St. Clair. Hook going to come out. Ult reset, but not able to pick up the kill. Zephyr in the end, going to get bursted down as well. E-Hug slowly moving in. Double stun there, hit from the Syndra, and the ult is going to go off. Take off Zephyr right at the starting of the round. Kindred ult going to get off. No one's died yet on GVU side, and E-Hug also going to go down as well as Fresh. What can they do? Oh, Ricky able to hit a nice pull. Ult is going to come out.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. Can he go in?
Oh my goodness, no shot. No
barely makes it out of there.
He got it. He got the Quadra. This is Penta. This is a Penta
for Ricky.
This is huge. He's going to have the dunk available in just a second. He's going to get the Penta kill for Ricky. Holy smokes, this Darius is unstoppable. This man, no one can put him down. No one can stop him. And St. Clair roaring back here, going to take the dragon and take everything from GVU. Holy crap. What was that, Ricky?
I thought Ricky was...
Obviously, still very close here. He's going to catch 2 with the hook, and Ayumi on top of him is going to be doing so much for them. Dunk going to come through 1,
double,
2, looking for more. Can he find the third here? No, going to hop over the wall. Going to find the third on a Dread Joker. He's going to go down flashing over the wall forward. Zephyr going to take down Platypus, and just a Kindred left. Flash going to come through. Another triple for this Darius. Ricky stamps his name on this game and says, no, we're not going to game 3. We're going to end this one right. The fact that you got 2 picks and they're still winning this fight is crazy. That's going to be Barlow coming in. Gonna find 2 on the backside. That's a huge shutdown. And St. Clair take that fight in an instant. 3 kills for them, and they find the ace. Actually, Ricky quite low. Gonna have to E up, try and find some defense. Look at the big package by Zephyr. Gonna split up the entire team. So much burn damage. Anime Girl gonna go down here to the rest of the team, and Zephyr again shining in this game. Finds 4 for down here for St. Clair, but they have to be careful. This Corky's still here, still doing damage. You're gonna find the victor in the back. Gonna get the auto on one. Gonna pick the auto on the other. That's gonna be a triple. Quadra for Zephyr. Stamps his name on this game. Stamps his name on this series. And that is going to be it. That is going to
be... he's sandwiched in this mid bush here. They're going to be able to hit the knockup. Damage coming out, a lot of damage coming out. The ignite came out. Almost able to take down
He's
Mobbit.
gonna win this. He's gonna win this. He wins that. Holy crap! How did Ricky is down to half HP here? TP gonna come through as well. They're gonna catch out Moffat here with the hash arrow. Will be able to flash out of it here. Yeah, gonna go after them. Meanwhile, Ricky's getting teamed up onto the bot here. Will heal up so much from Gorjak. He's gonna stay alive here. He's still going. He's still kicking. No, he goes down. Ignite gonna come through. But in the meanwhile, St. Clair's winning the rest of the fight. Shutdown come through though. That's so much damage for the Jinx. Gonna find one. Gonna find two. Double kill over for Jinx. He's gonna go back in here trying to get the kill, but Jinx still's alive. 700 gold shutdown. Gonna go to Barlow. Gonna find three. That's gonna be a triple for Jinx, but I think a triple for Barlow. Two ADCs trading back and forth, but St. Clair ends up with the ace, and that's another team fight win for them.
And Moffat were kind of like, they were like, all right, we're out. Whereas the bot lane was not on the same page really, and then Ehug dashes over the wall and has free access. Nice ult from Zephyros to save himself, and he's gonna go on Anime Girl. Whoa, Anime Girl able to dance around in this invisibility, but Zephyros just able to kill her with that soldier. Gonna make it out with about, say, 100 health left. Kyora's gonna throw in the rocket, able to finish off Zephyros.
They just got it. That's gonna be an RN from the jungler. Gonna find four in the Cataclysm, but it doesn't matter. The Ocean Soul's here. Ricky gonna heal up through everything. They're gonna take him down one at a time. Shutdown coming through, but in the end, it's all for naught. Aatrox just walking all over this backline. It doesn't matter, Durham. A good try, but St. Clair will do you two better. 2-0 sweep here for St. Clair. They will be heading to the NECC playoffs grand final.
Shuts every one of them down. That's a full team kill.
He's looking for third. He's gonna get it.
Not the kill, and Bastek's gonna find another one. He finds that shot. He finds two.
He's still alive. Can he go in?
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna go bar down and give Saints the lead again.
He's gonna get the penta kill for Ricky. The Blade Master himself, triple kill for Ehug. For Zephyros, clapping absolutely everyone in that fight. Coming through for Barlow, the man, the myth, the legend.
God, Talon got knocked out. We're gonna have
Alrighty, welcome everybody. It is time for the NECC Grand Finals. St. Clair Saints against Bay State. I am John Bill Bangs Udima, joined by Kaylee K. Jappy, and we're so excited to cast this. It's been a little bit since I cast with you. I missed it. It's a lot of fun, but here we are.
I missed it too, I guess.
Grand Finals for St. Clair. The journey, you saw that video. It's been long, it's been arduous, but they've made it this far, and hopefully they give us a good series. What do you think we're gonna have in this finals?
Oh Jesus, I feel like it's gonna be a lot more intense than we think, but also like we're ready for it. We want that. We want the excitement. We want the intensity. We want everything possible. I want to see clean plays today, and I think you can say the same.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, we're not gonna get into predictions just yet. We'll say that for a little bit later. But going into this, both teams through the playoff run have been 2-0. It hasn't been the cleanest from St. Clair. Obviously, we saw there was a couple times, especially in that semifinal, they were down significantly in that second game. But Ricky got that amazing pentakill on Darius, found a way to come back in that game. So I think looking forward, yes, it is a 4-0, but St. Clair have had their moments, and they're really gonna have to step up today because Bay State is one of the best League of Legends collegiate teams in all of North America. So it's a very, very tall task for them to try and beat them today.
We gotta make sure we are on our A game, and if anything, with that game where we're like, hey, this isn't looking too hot, and then Darius got the pentakill. Listen, that just shows that they can pull back from their bad moments, and some teams can't say that.
It's true. It's really good. And I mean, looking forward, it has been a few roster shuffles in the last couple of weeks regular season, but through the playoff run, we have had Ricky back in that top lane, and he's looked incredible in every single game he played. He struggled a one game on Jax that he did get, but other than that, he's just been amazing in all three games, all the other three games. So for this, I'm looking for him to step up, and Ehug, I don't think I've seen a game where he's really gotten significantly behind in all of the season.
Neither have I.
So I think for them, he is going to be a huge factor here. And
For sure.
Barlow played Ashe actually 3 out of 4 games in the playoffs there.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's able to play Ashe at such a high level, when you're looking towards picks and bans, what do you think they're going to do? You think they were going to play into that, or do you think they go somewhere else with bans?
Honestly, I can see Ashe being a threat because right now she's in a good spot. Like with the new lethal tempo buffs because of preseason and if you just go full lifesteal, she's all like so impossible to kill sometimes. So that's why I feel like they might ban her this time. Because I was looking at the replays. He's clean with Ashe.
Yeah.
It's really, really slick and nice.
Yeah, and actually there was a patch that dropped yesterday or today. I believe it was today,
yesterday.
actually. So it wasn't too many changes on it. It did allow a few more people to gain lethal tempo stacks and get that extra attack range. So Kale got it, Urgot got it, and I believe there was someone else. I can't remember who got it. Twitch, thank you, was the other person that got it. So a couple of small meta changes, but nothing too crazy. So I think what we've seen in the last couple of weeks of our playoffs will kind of be the same meta that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely going to be any ADC possible because like I was even talking to someone and someone said that probably Vayne's going to be a good pick because have you ever thought about that? Like
Yeah,
she's
the
such short
extra-
range and
the
now with
extra
lethal
range.
tempo, she can exceed that no
Yeah.
problem.
I wouldn't be surprised. And actually in the semifinals, the first 5 picks the first 5 pick bans were all ADCs. So
That doesn't surprise me at
it's
this point.
it's very, very small, and it'll be interesting to see where they go with the champion pool, right? Because when
Mm-hmm.
ADC is such a limited class, and you are,
Sadly, yes,
a
I
Jinx,
am.
a Jinx aficionado, but I mean the champ pool for ADCs is so small already, so pinching that champ pool just brings you down to such a low tier of ADC. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised, but the thing is, if you're banning out ADCs, you can't ban out Ricky in the top lane.
That was the thing that I noticed because I was like, well, ADCs have such a strong spot right now with lethal tempo. And then I kept seeing his Aatrox and I was like, they're kind of up to something. And it's good for them
Yeah.
because I've seen the Aatrox. It shouldn't be allowed.
No.
He plays it too
No.
well. He
It's-
can't do that to people.
Yeah, and
He's going to give them nightmares.
It's going to be rough if they allow Aatrox through, but I mean, there's a lot else to think about too. Like we saw in that first game where Zephrot picked up that Corki, kind of went under the radar and
Yeah.
picked ban, but he was the reason that they won that game. Some incredible package plays, able to kill this mid laner solo multiple times, and we throughout the regular season, first couple of months, he kind of struggled, but latter half of the season and looking at playoffs, he has just been leveling up every single game he's played in. So
Yeah.
I think it looks so good because there's so many threats from so many different roles for St. Clair, and you're going into a game where you're playing against the best of the best. You need to have
Yeah,
everyone
for
at their
sure.
peak of their game to try and challenge these players.
I feel like over all the the videos and the different matches that we've seen, we've just got to watch them grow as players. It's like everybody has their main, right? But it's like now we're seeing different picks that like we wouldn't normally see from them, and I find that really cool and interesting because who knows, like they I forget what champion specifically it was, but someone chose one that like I never really seen them play before.
Was it Gwen Jungle?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. And I was like, that's different, but like he did it so well. So it's like he has that capability and he's able to demonstrate that. And like you can just tell that these guys are gonna go far with it.
Yeah, and it helps so much too because when you're playing against a caliber of players like they're going up against in Bay State, you have to have your comfort picks on lock. But you also have a little bit of variables. And I was talking to Ricky actually on the way in, and he was saying like there's some picks that he has in his pocket and the team has in their pocket that we haven't even seen yet. So the fact that not only do they have really
that
strong
makes me so
comfort picks,
excited.
that they have these other things they can go to, and it is a 5-game series. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of time to digest what the other team's going to do, have a lot of time to adjust and pick and ban and draft phase. So the fact that it's a 5-game series allows you to go for more flexibility in how you want to play out the drafts and test some
Yeah.
stuff out maybe early on in the series before you get to those elimination games.
For sure. If I was in their shoes, what I do is like I try a pick that like I wasn't too sure about, but I'll just try it out and see what happens for the first game because it is a first game, so you want to make a good impression, but also like you have the last 4 to make up for it, you know?
Yeah.
So that could be a great opportunity for them to try something new, something that they haven't really practiced that much with, to see how far they can go with it and if they can win with it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think now we get to our predictions. Obviously, like I said, Bay State, one of the best teams in all of collegiate league. Obviously, not only in this esport are they very good at many other esports, but league they are extremely good at. So
Yeah.
I think for me, I would really like to see St. Clair put a challenge up for them. I think I'm going to go 3-1 in Bay State's favor. I think they are just so much of an elite team, and they beat St. Clair, the only team to beat St. Clair in the regular season as well. So I think St. Clair can take a game off them, but I would love to see an upset from St. Clair here. I would love to see it.
I'm honestly hoping that it's gonna be a 2-2, and we're gonna get that
Ooh.
last really intense
I-
game.
I love game 5s. They're my favorite. But here we are getting into the first draft phase
Woohoo.
of this series. And the first ban is going to be Tarek from Bay State. Very interesting considering we haven't seen a Tarek all year from Fresh.
That's something new. Even like when I duo with him, just like in norms, when we're just not doing anything important, like I've never even seen him play Tarek. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, it might be one of those things. And obviously with preseason only out for, you know, a little bit still, there's a lot of people trying out different stuff. Obviously maybe Tarek has been one of those picks that's gone kind of under the radar. That's very strong. But we are going to get the Yone ban away here. And that's been actually pretty common in the latter half of the season in playoffs. Sephiroth proved to do so well on that champion that a lot of teams just don't want to face him. And with that extra range that you get from lethal tempo, it's so powerful whether you're in top lane or in mid lane.
And then they did end up banning Aatrox, sadly, so Ricky will not get him today. But they do ban Fiora for Bay State, and then they pick Graves. Do you think Graves is a good pick here? I don't know how to feel about Graves right now.
So
he's kind of
Graves is in an okay spot. He's not, you know, he did terrorize, especially the latter half of the latter half of the season of League for say season 11. He was terrifying both in top lane and mid lane and jungle, like wherever he went, you could flex him everywhere. He was so strong, but it is going to come through here. The pick is going to be Graves, and St. Clair going to lock in the Jinx there. And Lulu going to be locked in as well. So I'm kind of surprised, though, because the Ashe was still available, and they decided to go with the Jinx. And, I mean, if you think it back to the semifinals, Jinx was picked both times first overall in the entire draft. So I think maybe Jinx is the stronger character right now, and it just was taken away from them. They're going to go towards Jinx Lulu here, but I really like this. I really like it because it's a lot of comfort for Fresh.
Yeah, Jinx and Lulu are such a good combo, too. I can't tell you how much fun I've had. And especially, like, with all... Oh, Blitzcrank. That's
Jhin Blitzcrank.
You know what? In those matchups, Jinx is, like, she's decent, but it all depends on, like, her positioning specifically and how well she uses her rocket gun instead of her mini launcher to get some damage in so that then they don't try and testify. Then we do have the Darius lock-in.
Lock it in. I want to see this Darius. The blind pick in the top lane. Darius could be locked in here. We'll wait in just a second to see if that will be confirmed. Yes, it will. We're going to get Ricky back on this Darius here. It will be a blind pick, so they'll have a couple opportunities here to ban away some hard counters for this top laner. But I love what I'm seeing so far from St. Clair. They're going back to comfort. They're going back to what they played in the semifinals that had so much success for them. And, I mean, the fact that now you're getting Jinx over the Ashe, which I think is the stronger ADC right now, is so good for them. And I really like to see this. It's going to be a good game already to start this one off.
Yeah, for sure. But want to know a fun fact of why Jinx and Jace, or why Jinx was picked first of all, and then Jace and Victor were banned? It's
Arcane.
one. Yep.
Arcane. Oh, we've talked about the Arcane buffs.
Since Arcane, all of them have been insane. Jace not so much, but everybody else I've noticed has gone completely off the rails.
Yeah, they definitely picked up their play rates here significantly. We're not going to see a Vi come through. But I mean, jungle is still available here for St. Clair. It looks like it is going to be 2 top lane bans over for them. It is going to be a couple jungle bans from Bay State, respecting what EEG has brought out. And Viego and Kindred were his staple picks. Viego played a lot during the regular season, not so much in the playoffs. Kindred, from time, is his one trick that he's been playing so often. And I mean, the only time he's really pulled it out is once during the regular season where they kind of just won the game at 15 minutes, no problem. And the other time was actually against Bay State in the preseason.
Oh.
And he got smashed on that Kindred in that game, but I think preseason games, obviously, they were they're preseason, so it didn't really matter.
And now we have the sisters on the St. Clair team, and I can't tell you, John, how happy that makes me. You're not going to hear the end of it.
It's very, very good. They got the Arcane buff going for St. Clair so far, and we've seen Yug on this vibe be such a huge player in so many of these games, and it'll be interesting to see what he goes, because he was originally going Yumu's first, but a lot of people have been transitioning over to that getting the Sunder first and then getting the Yumu, so it's interesting to see what path he goes here. But overall, still a really, really good champion. Gives you that auto lock CC,
for sure.
And especially against a comp like the Jhin, you get that backline access is going to be so important, because if she can go in and get that backline access, take out this Jhin early, it's going to take away a lot of their long range damage that they have, and they can't really fight against a Jinx that's going to be hammering them from the backside.
Especially with just how like all the CC and Vi's kit, she's going to be able to lock down both LeBlanc and Jhin really easily. And even Graves to a specific point, but they are going to pick Gnar for the top lane. Now, I can speak for myself that I don't know top lane matchups very well. So what do you think of the Darius and Gnar matchup?
What you have to do, so as a Gnar player, you have to take advantage of the poke that you have in your mini, but you have to be very, very careful because if you get caught out in your mini form, you can't actually contest Darius because Darius can ghost on you and he hooks you, especially if there's a jungler around. It's going to be so difficult, but Vex is going to be the final pick here. We haven't seen any Zephyros on Vex so far, so that is going to be very, very interesting. Into LeBlanc should be a cool matchup, and I like what St. Clair has done so far. I really like their ability. You have the Darius for the and Vi for the early game, you have the Jinx for the late game, you have a decent amount of peel here, and you have Vex for that backline access, and I think it's going to be really, really hard for me to see this Jhin live because the fact that you have so much backline access, it's gonna make Jin's life really difficult. And you know, you have volley, you have blitzcrank, but they're not really like you don't have any disengage tools, which is gonna make it really difficult for Daisy to survive.
That's the one thing. Like playing Jhin, I have a lot of fun playing him, but like I feel like whenever there's an enemy team that has a lot of CC, like Vi, there's just nothing I can do to get away because especially that he has a blitzcrank support, there's nothing that he can really do to protect himself. Because Vi's ult is unstoppable, so it's not like Blitz can pull her away, you know? So I feel like that's definitely going to be a struggle lane for Bay State.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, looking towards mid lane, the LeBlanc-Vex matchup, definitely harder for LeBlanc to completely one-shot the Vex because she does have that shield, which is very, very strong into LeBlanc. But when you get towards that late game, I mean, St. Clair doesn't really have a ton of peel other than the Lulu as well. So if LeBlanc can get in that backline, it's going to make life very, very difficult for St. Clair because you have a lot of engage potential with the Vex ult, with the Vi ult as well, but you don't really have a great amount of peel.
I kind of disagree with that because Vex is her fear with all of her abilities. That could just push everybody off.
True.
At least for a couple.
I think it's more disruption than disengage.
Yeah,
though.
but it probably could give them enough time. Plus, like if anything, if Ehug's willing to, he can just go in and like knock the people back real quick while ADC tries to run.
I do really like St. Clair's draft here, though. I think the fact that they've gone back to so much comfort for them, the fact that you have Fresh on the Lulu, you have the Ricky on the Darius here, and you have Vi on Ehug, is massive because they're all champions that they've played multiple times throughout the season, that they've proven that they can do well on. And going into this first game, a lot of nerves, I think, are going to be on both sides. It is the finals. It is the big game. And this is where I really want to see St. Clair step up here, try and get an advantage here early on because you got a lot of your premier picks that you would have wanted that priority on. And this is where you really need to take advantage of that.
I agree with that too. I feel like it's better for St. Clair in this situation to like not sit back late game because I feel like LeBlanc and Jhin, they're gonna be crazy late game. I kind of feel like Jinx has the attack speed to deal with Jhin late, but Jhin also has just so much damage.
And he has a lot of range too, right? Like the fact that he can sit on the back line, just R an entire fight is gonna make it so difficult here. But I think the one thing with Bay State's draft that can be taken advantage of is the fact that you don't really have a good tank, right? You have Blitzcrank, who's like kind of a pseudo tank in the mid game, but later on he kind of falls off when he doesn't really have those innate stats. And Gnar, when you're not in mega form, you're very, very squishy. So if St. Clair can pick their opportunities right, especially going to this top lane into the Gnar, they can take advantage of that and try and push this game out early on. Because if you get the Darius head, it's going to be really rough. For Bay State.
Anytime that I'm playing a game and I look at top lane and I see like a 5-0 Darius, I just know the game's over.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is what we get to see today.
That'd be nice.
We want to see some wins from St. Clair. I really think that their strat should be to try and like not dominate the game early, but keep them back, set them back a little bit, so that then they can consistently keep stacking that up. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so then like they can still fight, but they still like I don't know how to explain it properly.
I get what you're trying to say, totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that we are seeing that we saw the drafts fully, we saw what the teams are going for. What's your prediction for this game?
My prediction, I don't know, because I love St. Clair's team, but also Bay State's team was like it's decent to say the least. Because I know that Jhin and Blitz work really well together. Yeah. And then all of those other, or who was it, Gnar and Graves, I feel like that would be a good combo because of blind into Gnar ulti, possibly.
Yeah, definitely could be powerful there. I think I'm going to go with St. Clair taking this draft because of comfort, but I'm putting an asterisk on it. they need to be able to get out of this early lane
Yes.
in bot, because if this
Yes.
Blitzcrank lands a lot of good hooks on this bot lane, I think that Jin is going to get ahead. It's going to become a real problem for St. Clair to have that Blitzcrank roaming around, especially because, you know, Vex doesn't really have a ton of mobility early on. So if the Blitz starts
True.
roaming towards mid, it's going to make life really tough for Zephrod, especially with the fact that LeBlanc can burst her out. So we are going to have an interview here with, I believe it's the coach. Yeah, so it is going to be the St. Clair League of Legends coach. We'll have an interview here. And when we come back, we'll get back into game number 1 of the NECC Grand Finals.
Yuri Blazing Custodio. What are you for the team?
I'm the head coach / manager of the League of Legends team here at St. Clair College.
How confident are you going into this game tonight against Bay State?
We're pretty confident. We've been working really hard. The last time we saw Bay State, we were kind of scrapping together. We weren't really meshing too well. But with a couple months of improvement and a really long road of ton of practice, we really feel confident. We've been preparing for them for the last 2 weeks. We think it should be a banger series, and it should hopefully turn out for the best for us.
Do you have any strategy going into tonight's game?
We do have a couple strategies. Some things with drafts, some things with in-game strategies that we're going to be pulling out. Some cheese things. Hopefully it'll work out for us. Yeah, we can't go too much into detail. Obviously, don't want to spoil anything.
That's understandable. And does it add pressure that you're going up to the only team that's beat you in the grand finals?
Yeah, it's a little bit scary because Bay State's kind of been our kryptonite in NECC. But like I said, the last time we played them was a couple months ago. We were still kind of meshing, still trying to find our footing. But since then, it's been a long road. We've had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and we really feel prepared for them this time.
Going into tonight's game, how do you feel about being the underdogs?
I think it's fine. I mean, being the underdogs is always fine. You get a little bit of extra pressure knowing that everyone's rooting against you. But it kind of feeds into us, feeds into our team mentality. We're here to make history, and we're here to win.
Thank you very much for your time. Good luck in the grand finals, and wish you guys the best.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty, so we're back. It was a good interview with Blaze in there. I like a lot what we said, and specifically that last question about them being the underdog, giving them power, saying, okay, yes, we aren't favored in this matchup, but the fact that they got comfort here, I think, is a really good start for them.
I think that they'll get this in the bag. At least this game for sure, because we know that they're all comfortable with their picks. It's people that they play a lot. So I feel like it'll be a lot easier than what we think.
Yeah, for sure.
That's at least what I'm hoping.
That's what I'm hoping too. We're both St. Clair fans here, but I mean, looking forward here, we didn't really talk a lot about the Bay State draft. I think specifically for them, obviously the fact that they're favored in this matchup, they got a pretty solid meta draft going. Obviously, always going to have to. LeBlanc is always such a powerful tool, and I mean, if the Graves can get ahead, he can be very strong. But I've seen a lot of times lately, since the nerfs have come through, if a Graves gets behind, he really struggles in a lot of these duels, especially with the Vi. So I think if they can try and get this jungler behind early, it's going to be good. But here we are, game number 1. Bay State versus St. Clair College, and there's going to be an early play here in top lane. Ricky, you're going to have to be careful here because this Blitzcrank is going to be looking.
That is a different kind of play that I've seen. This is going to be really interesting as they're trying to pull up onto the Darius here.
Yeah, I think, he did spot him out there coming down the river, so did see LeBlanc walking a little bit ahead of the Blitzcrank. So they sniff it out and don't lose anything early, and that's very important because if this Darius, like you said, if Darius can get ahead early, it's going to make the game a whole lot easier for St. Clair to execute.
Especially if he got caught there, that would have been extremely rough to get back from. But luckily they didn't. We can hope for the best.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we do see standard buys pretty much across the board here. Boots and 4 pots for Jin, so a lot of survivability in the lane and nothing too crazy elsewhere. We are going to see a longsword and the refillable there for Nara in the top lane, so not a Doran's, which is very interesting. But again, like I said, Nara is going to have the advantage when he is in that range form because of the poke. He has to just be very careful that this Darius with Ghost does not roam forward onto him and try and catch him out.
For sure. I like that's pretty much how I expect mid lane to go, where they're just, I'm going to throw this at you. Now I'm going to throw it at you.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, for me, I definitely think that Zephrod here is going to have a little bit of a rough time here with the Serenok poke coming through. I mean, Vex obviously is a very simple champion. Looks like a hook's going to come through here, and Glacial popped early. Fresh going to be able to back out here. No Summoner's Burn just yet, but Brain starting off 1-for-1 on hooks.
That wasn't too bad of like a little play there because now the Lulu's at half health. So she is going to have to use a pot in order to get some health back. We can see the little blog trying to poke out the Vex, but not really getting that much success out of it. It's just going to be back and forth.
Ooh, level 2 picked up here, but a lot of respect being shown here by Clair. Obviously, the fact that knock-up comes through for Brain is very, very important. But a ward did come down here in the bush, which helps them out a lot, right? Because he is going to try and abuse this bush as much as possible.
For sure.
The fact that they can see him in that bush, they're going to know when he's hooking is going to be very important for them. Because, like I said, the survivability of this lane is huge for Clair. If they can keep this lane relatively even, they can get ahead somewhere else on the board, it's going to make it a lot better because later on in this game, obviously, it's just Blitzcrank, right? The later on in the game, the less useful he becomes because eventually he's going to start bringing someone to your team that you're probably not going to want in the middle of your team.
Yeah, late game, I'm just literally expecting them to get constant picks with the Blitzcrank. And late game, his CDR for his hook is going to be so low to begin with that like it's just going to happen consistently to the point where they're not going to be able to defend against it at all. But Jinx does seem to try and get some poke in here as Jin tries to poke her back, so...
Yeah, nothing much
Small
happening
trades.
here. Just standard jungle routing too. Looks like they will be pretty much even across the board. Just going to go for a full clear. And there actually looks like the Graves wants to go up and contest this. Vex will be going for a cheater back here. And Vi going to be full clearing the jungle, so we'll have a small advantage there. Yeah, they're going to go for this Scuttle, but in the preseason, first Scuttle is actually worth 80% less XP, so a lot of junglers just say, okay, we don't have Prio on top because it's an Nara, we don't have Prio in mid because Vex needed a reset, so we're just going to give up that Scuttle, and the other one Scuttle, it's not a big deal. Vi did get that full buy coming through, so she will have items faster than the Graves will.
Bot for Bay State is definitely keeping the wave push so then they can get that second Scuttle Crab against E-Hug, which does suck because of the vision that they're losing. But honestly, early Scuttle, in my opinion, isn't as important at this point. I'm not sure if you agree or disagree with that, but...
I think it's not as big of a deal if you don't get it because you aren't significantly behind. Like, the XP difference when you got that in Season 11 was massive, but when you get it in Season 12, it's not really that big of a deal. You're not gaining that much of an advantage, and I think the fact that he got his reset off means he can clear these camps faster and try and get towards this top lane because, like I said, if you can get Darius ahead, you try and gank this Gnar when he's in mini form, that's where you can really find an advantage for your team. So I'm expecting a full clear to come through for this Vi and then looking towards maybe a gank mid or a gank top.
Oh, it looks like LeBlanc tried to go in on the Vex here, but had to run back out because of just her fear, I'm assuming, is what he was worried about there.
I mean, it's hard to, right, because you don't know where this Vi is, and because they know this Vi is most likely on the bottom half, she could be looking for a gank, so LeBlanc doesn't want a full commit there, and I mean, to be honest, both of them buying Darksteel is very, very forward to them, but they're going to be pretty much even on items. Again, LeBlanc with the boots not really going to make that much of a difference. Reset going to come through here, but they're going to have to be careful. Hook, not going to find Lulu, so no kills coming over yet, just over 5 minutes in this game. Pretty quiet early game from both sides.
For sure. It looks like everybody's pretty even in CS, so there's little to nothing going on right now.
And I think it is kind of that first game jitters, right? Because like it is the finals, it is like the biggest game of your season, so you want it to go well. You don't want anything to happen early game, and I mean for both sides, I think like I said, you kind of want to get ahead bot lane Blitzcrank early. You kind of want to get ahead top lane on the Darius, but I mean if both sides aren't really doing too much, then it is what it is, and you're trying to wait for that maybe that level 6 to come through. But we are going to see Yug floating up top lane. This is what I'm expecting. Maybe a gank for him in this top lane. And if they do end up finding it, that would be massive. But Blitzcrank with the roam up here could be dangerous.
It's definitely going to be dangerous because I feel like he's just going to sit in the try and wait until Darius walks just the slightest bit the wrong way, and just immediately he's going to get pulled, and too many people are going to be there for him to try and defend himself. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
This is going to be a dive in top lane. Darius going to try and heal, going to flash, get the heal up. Vi going to be here as well. Ricky going to go down here in just a second, but trade will come out there. Nara going to go down as well, so it will be a trade. 1-for-1 first blood was claimed there by the Nara. You trying to get out of here. Hook not going to be available just yet for Brain, taking a lot of damage, but going to be able to survive here under the turret. They want to finish this dive, though. Minion's going to be dying. Yeah, going to try and smite it, getting level up. Has level 6, actually. So we'll get the Q. Going to try and find him fresh. Going to be up here for support as well. TP going to come through. They're going to try and then turn this one around on the junglers there. Eog barely any HP left. Will walk away. No bet. You're going to find that with the TP play. So in the end, the TP advantage came through, and they do pick up that second kill. So the Gnar finding 2 there is massive in this top lane. And I mean, really good job by Yug to find a trade back on there, because if he didn't pick up that level 6 on the minion, a really smart smite, he would have just died with no trade.
Yeah, for sure. I was kind of disappointed that the Lulu didn't turn on to the Blitzcrank there, because that would have been a free kill, because he was taking a couple of turret shots there. So it would have been at least 1-for-1 again. But it's kind of what we expected, and we just need to hope that Darius doesn't get any pushback any further behind than he already is. They're already just a 500 gold difference between the two, so it's not that big of a difference, but
It's
Who
still,
knows what it'll turn into, am I
and
right?
it's the point of you want to try and get Darius ahead of early game, right? Because that's where he's strongest. When you get later on in the game,
for sure.
I think the Gnar gives a lot more in a team fight than the Darius will. So I think they have to try and take advantage of that. But now that the Gnar is going to be up a little bit of gold here, will be up a couple of items, it will make it a little bit more difficult for the Darius top lane. But he did pick up that second kill on a TP, so although the gold discrepancy may look like it's a little bit bigger here, the item difference isn't really that big. It is just going to be that phage compared to the longsword for Ricky. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's not going to be that big a deal. Ooh, hook gonna land though. Wants to go for this. Auto finds the second shot. Gonna go for the Q. Slow gonna find 5 stacks up here. Ricky finds the Q but doesn't go for the ultimate. Just waits for it out, and they're gonna look like they're making a play on Dragon here. Graves gonna know this is happening, but with no TP available for Gnar, I don't think they can contest this, or maybe they will. Jin gonna open up here with the curtain call. Gonna try and find try and find the Dragon here. No smite available. You're gonna find that one anyway. All gonna come through. Slow gonna find Brain though. Brain gonna get slowed up here. Glacial gonna come down. Still alive here somehow. Heal gonna come through. Ia gonna get a couple autos down here on Dragon, but no one gonna go down here. So in the end, it is just a Dragon picked up for St. Clair. A couple summoners burnt, but nothing too big other than that.
That honestly could put them in a little bit of a lead for now. Like, if we look at the goal difference, it's kind of back up to a little bit what it was.
Ooh, they're going to catch him here, actually. It finds the R there, and he will go down. Zephyros sniping Dragon out there, and he found that actually with no ward. They just guessed his positioning, thought he would back in that bush, and they did find it. So a good answer back here from St. Clair, finding an advantage for this mid laner. And I know the Zephyros, once he picks up kills, he got 2 stacks on that Darksteel. That is huge for him in mid lane.
Was that also a blind ulti? Or no?
Yeah, that was a blind ulti. They had no vision
So
there.
nice.
They just assumed he would be backing somewhere around there, or he would be picking up his red buff, which he was. So just really, really good awareness there by St. Clair to figure out where he was going to be. And I mean, that's so big for them, right? Because you were down in this top lane. You weren't down too badly, but you found a Dragon. You didn't end up getting anything off that fight, which, I mean, really could have gone for them. Blitzcrank definitely could have gone there, but they find something off the back of it. So now a 10 CS lead for this Vi over the Graves, and a kill for this Vex is big against LeBlanc.
It's definitely going to be an interesting game. Fresh is going to try and clear some wards in the top lane while we're still waiting for something spicy to happen. We do see the Graves coming up rivers, so it looks like they might collapse on either one, to be honest, because we do see the LeBlanc coming up as well.
Yeah, and right now, I think the item advantage is definitely in St. Clair's favor in the mid lane specifically. Like, you have this Vex with almost her full Ludens built. Oh, she might be in a bad spot here. Sarah not gonna find the dash, though. Distortion will not land. Root gonna land anyway. Hook gonna come through for Brain here. There's 4 people. This Vex is going down real quick, and Bedge is gonna claim that kill. So a 3-0-1 Gnar now in the top lane. They will get Herald on top of it. So really good team play there by the side of Bay State. And unfortunately, St. Clair just not in the right spot. Obviously, Darius being so behind just doesn't have that agency that he normally would here in the early game.
It's just something that is gonna suck because Blitzcrank is that champion where he can basically just change the entire game by just one single hook on someone. And who knows how many more he's gonna land. Hopefully not a lot, because we want St. Clair to win.
But he's been doing pretty well so far.
Yeah,
and
he is.
I think the fact that that kill went on Gnar is, I mean, helps a little bit. Ooh, they're gonna come down here in the mid lane. Fresh looking for a fight here, but level 6 not for Fresh just yet. Does pick it up now, so also going to be available for both supports now. We'll have them available here, and a little bit of a CS lead actually opened up here for this Jinx. So, I mean, the Blitzcrank roaming so much kind of opened that up, and a 15 CS lead in the spot lane is going to be massive because with Boots bot first for Jin, it means that Jinx most likely will reach that shield bow before he will reach the Gale Force or whatever item he ends up purchasing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jinx is weird because if you do have the boots, then you're able to get a lot more.
Oh, Engage
go
gonna
in
come through. They're gonna find him again
with her ulti as well. I like this Vex. I
really, really like this combo, and I mean, it wasn't something really thought about beforehand, but
Yeah.
the fact that you get this R from the Vi, it means that person is stuck in that place, and you can kind of delay the person for as long. Serenok actually going to collapse on by 3 people here. Not going to manage to land the Q, though. Ehug, no ult available as well, so Serenok will be able to escape that without having to burn any summoners. But like I was saying, you have the Vi for the knock-up and the ult, so you can keep someone in place, allow this Vex to hit the R, and if she can actually land that successfully, Serenok actually going to find a Blitzcrank, though. Brainy going to be here. Ignite going to come down as well. That's going to be a kill. Brainy going to claim it with the Ignite. So a little bit of respite there, the fact that LeBlanc did not pick that one up. But again, this Blitzcrank everywhere on the map doing exactly what he needs to in this early game, try and get Bay State ahead.
Good on him for that hook. That was actually really nice.
Did end up using that flash, so he will be forced onto the Hex Flash there. Stun going to come through on Ricky here. Will be ulted into the wall as well. Going to go for the Q reset. but just some poke being put down, and that's really good right now for Bedge, right? Because you're just trying to get this Darius out of the early game completely.
Yeah.
Harrow going to be dropped here in mid, though. That means mid turret will go down, so a lot of early gold going over to the LeBlanc here. We'll have him out. Definitely Hook going to come through, but not going to be targeted here. Ricky down quite low, gets the Q, reset, going to heal up a little bit, but can't chase after, and that's the problem, right? Gnar already on this Sunder, just has such a big advantage in this top lane of the Darius.
It's going to be extremely hard for them to be able to do anything for the Gnar because that item, the surrender, is just, it's something else. Like, it heals way too much, it has so much health, etc.
It's very strong,
Yeah.
especially for poke top laners. You can take advantage of it over a lot of these
For
melee
sure.
matchups. And I mean, across the board now, all the plates taken in mid, 2 plates taken, or 3 plates taken in top lane now. A lot of early gold going over. Ooh, they could set up a trap here. Brainy is thinking about it, going to wear this bush, but they're going to go all in on him. He will polymorph down here, going to get the knock up, but it's not going to matter. Ia going to claim that kill, and with Dragon available here, resets coming through for the mid laner and the jungler. I think this is just a free Dragon. Sinclair already have 2 Dragons early on in this game. Massive for them. Yeah, they're going to get this one for free. They're going to claim it, and it will be a... not quite sure what soul yet, so... oh, Chemfog soul, actually. Oh, Jinx going to get down low. Barlow, a nice ult by Fresh to save his teammate there. Serenok going to be chased down here, but Barlow has to be careful. Serenok, a lot of damage right now, has the Ludens available, so won't opt to go in for the fight there. But, I mean, so much damage now. This LeBlanc with the Ludens already built. Ehug in a bad place, greeted out for that one, but there's 4 people here. Serenok going to get that kill, and Ehug just overstepping there in the Chemfog will be claimed. And that's a good kill back, and now they're up, I think it's about 3k gold now, so a pretty decent lead open up here in gold discrepancy. Will E in under turret here. That's a big mistake, though, Bedge. You're in way too far. Dunk going to come through. Shut down for Darius. That is massive. Ricky finding some gold back, and I have no clue why he went for an E there. I think it was just a misclick, but that completely changes this laning phase now for St. Clair.
Yeah, that does. Maybe he thought that he would be able to get the demolish off. Or we didn't see that Ehug was on the map, like in coming up river, because that would be the only reason why I would think that he would jump through the turret like that to try and avoid a gank.
I mean, I guess, but I still think there wasn't really. You could still definitely have that. You have the E available. Could have escaped that, but in the end, ooh, are going to land. Zephrot looks like he will go in on it. Not going to get the fear, though. Nice dodge by Serenok. Going to try and go back in, but won't land it. So Flash going to come through anyway. Flash match by Serenok, though. So burning a few summoners here, and already with the Merc Treads early, it does mean this LeBlanc not going to be doing as much damage. Rocket not going to find anybody, but in the end, it will be just a trade of summoners.
This game has been something else. But any other expectations or predictions you got this game?
I think
Other
that
than this fight
Zephrot is
right
in
here?
a bad place. Still turret here down in mid, so Zephrot can't survive. Does get the fear down, so it means we'll be able to survive. Serenok looking for the root. Not going to land, but Blitzer going to be here anyway. Knockup's going to come through. That's going to be a free kill. Bedge going to find it. Turret shot. Going to get him, actually. Zephrot barely finding the trade there. The turret cleaning up that fight for him. Gets the trade through. Graves in a bad spot. There's going to be 2 people going to flash over the wall for the Q. Rook going to come through here in just a second. Ricky going to find him. Dragon not going to be a good place. Fresh can be here just to say hi and help out. And they will get a kill on top. So they will trade bot turret for top turret in the end. Both sides finding some gold for themselves. But St. Clair with a not optimal early game, finding a way to claw back in this one. Trying to even up the gold here. Will be within a K. So that's really, really good for them early on here.
One thing that I will mention is that I feel like Vex is at one champ where it's like you can still go even in kills and deaths, but you still do like a good amount of like different things like CC or damage for your team.
Vex,
and she's a unique champion, not my personal favorite, but with how our mid laner's playing it, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of advantage, right? Because you have the CC in the fear, you have like really, really long range engage, but you also have a defensive tool. And I mean, the fact that you have so much burst damage helps out so much. And I mean, it's definitely proven here. Fresh, not a good spot, going to shield up here. Will dodge the W. Ia going to be here as well, but Bedge going to be collapsing here. They're going to have to try and find a way out here. TP going to come through. Hook going to come through anyway. Going to somehow find Fresh. Bedge going to get him in the end. Fear going to catch 2 though.
Nice.
Ricky going to find 1-2 trade back here for St. Clair, and a quick answer. Ult not going to land, so they can't go in on Jurassic there. But St. Clair finding the 2-for-1 there. Really, really good response. Serenok might have walked too far forward. Is going to have the distortion out, though. Will be able to escape. Ricky with the ghost on. Going to try and catch Jurassic with a really, really early heal. Serenok going to get a decent amount of damage down. Won't be able to land the chain. So It will be a 2-for-1, and St. Clair, again, just able to collapse on this mid lane so effectively now that that top turret is down. And, I mean, that kill was so huge for this reason, right? Because now the top turret is down, Ricky can roam, they can go for objectives, they can go for team fights, and now they will pick up this Herald. It will be contested, though. Ricky going to be chained up here. Will go down in just a second. Shutdown going to come through for the Jhin here. A lot of autos being put down, but that's going to be Zephyr finding kill. Jurassic trying to run away here. No heal. Will flash out of this one. Dragon Kim, they're going to try and turn this one back. Hook going to come through. Zephyr going to be knocked up here. Silence going to come through as well. Dragon Kim going to find that kill. Ia going to get one on the backside, though. Bedge trying to come back into this fight. Ia going to find the knock-up. Root going to come through as well. Auto's coming through for Barlow, but Bedge is so strong right now. So much HP. Exhaust going to find him. Ia going to go for the knock-up. Dragon Kim going to go down here. Barlow going to find that kill. Frenzied up. Gnarl going to find him on the backside, though. Bedge going to find one. Stun going to come through as well. A nice block there, but will he save his teammate here? No, going to double kill here. Fresh, the last one alive. Will find the triple here in just a second. Bedge going to get the auto coming through. Q going to find it. Reset. Bedge just triple kill. A beautiful fight. 1v3 for the Gnar there. Finds everybody 8-3. Bedge, despite his teammates going down, says, I will take this game on my back. A 400 gold bounty and a massive fight for Bay State.
Amazing. One thing that I did notice is that I'm curious of why the Jinx chose to go Gale Force instead. But we're going to take a look at the instant replay here about this fight. We see the Gnar going in with his ulti and using that E to get onto Jinx and use his ulti to finally get the last blow on him. Just autoing and using his Q on the Vi and then slowing again, picking up his Q for the third time to do it again to Fresh before delivering the final blow.
And that fight could have gone a completely different way, right? Like, if Jinx manages to get out of that ultimate, she's able to free fire on him. You have Fresh. Everyone has their cooldowns back up, and I think they can definitely take down Bedge there. But the fact that he was able to find that R on the back line means they get this Drake for free, and the stack that St. Clair was building up is kind of negated. Ooh, Hook going to come through as well. Ricky going to be found here. Q available here. Not going to get a lot of healing out, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, going to come through. Find Brainy early on. Ult going to come through. Fight on both sides, but Bedge, so much damage in this backline. Going to find Zephyr out early on here. Trade coming through. Ehug going to find two of his own, but tanky Gnar can't be stopped by anybody. Fresh trying to get over this wall. Will flash for it, but Sarah not going to follow another triple kill for this Gnar. They will take it down. An ace coming through here for Bay State. A fight that looked so good for St. Clair turns towards Bay State, and this Gnar 11-3. So much damage and health for this guy. Able to tank through everything, and a Randuin's built up. He is going to be such an issue moving forward for St. Clair.
I cannot believe that he managed to get how many kills?
6 kills
6
in the
kills.
last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You just opened this game up completely, and I mean, for St. Clair, right, like, you're going into team fights, you have the advantage everywhere else, you're so far ahead, this Vi and the Vex just significantly far ahead, but the problem is, you don't have a lot of tank shred built up just yet, and this Gnar, with the Sunder, with boots, with so much armor available for this Randuin's, like, the only person that can really do damage to him is going to be the Vex, and the Vex is trying to deal with everyone else on the team. You can't really rely on her to try and take out this Gnar right now, and you saw the two sides of the fight, right? The fact that Ehug found the double kill on the other side of the fight, but Gnar finds a two-man knock-up, takes out Zephyr out almost instantly, and when all your magic damage is gone, and there's a Thornmail now and a Randuin's on this Gnar, there's not really anyone that can actually fight him.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. This game is definitely going to be hard to turn back around, but it does look like Ehug's going to go in on the Jhin here, use his ulti, and just use his Q to finish him off. Darius is going to run away from the hook.
No trade air, actually, but Serenok, oh, so much damage on Barlow. Barlow going to be able to live here. Ult going to come through to save him here. Brainy trying to walk away, will flash away from this one, but Serenok trying to escape distortion. Used here, knock up, flashed out of the way. Ehug going to find that one. Root going to land as well. Not going to find the hook either, so in the end, it will just be the Jhin going down here, and that is so much damage coming through for this LeBlanc. Cosmic Drive built up, and I don't want to talk about this pregame, but Cosmic Drive was actually heavily nerfed in this last patch. It was the only other item other than Themes that really had a significant impact.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that this Cosmic Drive has come through, the 2 items now for the LeBlanc, it's just that early gold, right? Like, you see, despite the fact that she is 2-1-6, doesn't have a lot of kills, has 2 items here, has 5 stacks on the Darksteel, and you know, Vex still sitting on just that 1 item mark. Looks like Ricky going to be engaged here on Flash, going to come through, trying to decide which one it is going to be. Picks the right one. Dunk going to come through, finds the kill on Serenok there. Got a little bit greedy in that bot lane and pays with their life. So St. Clair, an answer here, finding a trade, but I mean, still, right now, this LeBlanc and this Gnar are doing so much damage, so tanky. It's going to be tough for them to come back. Ooh, they're going to catch Dragon. Dragon going to be careful. Art not going to come through, though. Pop that one a little bit early. Ehug, ultimate, not quite available. Now it is going to go in for that one. Brainy going to try and tank up everything here, but he will go down here in just a second. They're going to find the jungle as well. 500 gold shut down. Looks like they're going to think about Baron here. 3 members down for Bay State. This could just be a free Baron for them.
I think it is going to be, unless the Snar is going to pull the same trick that he did last time. And you can definitely see that his Fury is building up. He's ready to jump in and get his ulti off. Let's see what he does with it. He ends up jumping away, which is kind of surprising, and loses the cooldown reduction for his Q from where he threw it.
Yeah, he is just trying to threaten them. He will have the E available. Hook going to come through. He will get exhausted here, so will be a significant damage reduction here. They will claim the dragon. Bedge still somehow alive here, but he will be finally shut down. A big one onto Zephrot there. Finds that one. Bedge going to go down. Jurassic going to be taken down as well. Serenok going to find a kill back, though. Massive damage from this LeBlanc, but they do end up claiming the Baron. So in the end, it is 3 Barons kept, and they get a big shutdown onto this Vex, which is massive.
It's definitely, like, the thing there was that I feel like the Jinx getting Gale Force wasn't the best move.
Yeah.
If the Jinx got a Kraken Slayer, that Gnar wouldn't have been alive for as long as he was.
I think it can be good, though, because the fact that you have to dodge away from this Gnar ulti, from evading backline from the LeBlanc, like, if you can get that extra dash, if you can escape from these engages, it lets you survive in fights. And Kraken is nice, but the problem is, like, all that you're going to have is this Gnar jumping on the backline trying to get you, and this LeBlanc jumping on the backline. So if you can dodge out, and even the Blitzcrank hooks, right? Like, the fact that you're able to dodge out from all those abilities is a really massive benefit, specifically in this game.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Like, I can see why he went Gale Force. But I was going to say to build some Lord Dominix to try and see if you can see what you can do to keep him down a few pegs. But he already is building it, so he knows what he's doing. And Blitzcrank is going to land the hook on Vi here. Vex is going to go in with her ulti, and Ricky's going to get the kill with his ulti off of Blitzcrank, whilst Bay State is trying to fall back, knowing that they have Baron. Vex lands another ulti, ready to go back in. No way.
Just me poke. But Serenok in the backline here is going to be very, very annoying for St. Clair, because even though it is a 4v5 now, you really have a lot of damage out of this Gnar. And ooh, the hook going to come through. Actually, all going to find him there. You're going to get the knock up as well. Serenok going to be down quickly here. Will be taken down here. Gets a little bit of damage on Fresh, but that is a huge pick, and that means Dragon will go down here. Steel could be coming through here. We'll see if the Graves goes for it. Does not decide to go for it. Smite will come through, and they will claim the 3rd Dragon on Chemtech Soul. If they can find that, that would be so big.
How do you feel about the Chemtech Soul?
Well,
I don't like it.
I don't mind it. I think it's really strong situationally, but they actually did nerf it too. They put it down from 40% to 30% damage, or sorry, they put it from 30% to 40% damage reduction, so it isn't nearly as much damage now. It's okay. It's not as strong as it could be. I think a lot of people overhyped it in preseason. I think that people were like, this is going to be game-changing, and it can be very annoying to have to deal with, but I definitely think it's not as strong as people would say. But I still think, obviously, any soul is going to be good.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like the Chemtech Soul is just too strong, because I don't know if you've ever played Spellbook.
I have
when it first came out, that was the
that
dragon, and it was specific to that game mode. So now that it's an actual dragon, nice flash on the Jinx, but now the Gnar is going to try and jump in and use his Q to slow him, but luckily Barlow knows better and uses his brain to dodge.
Uses Flash, and I mean, he didn't have Gale Force up, so that is one thing that they have to be careful for now. The fact that this Jinx Flash is down, they are gonna have to be aware of it, but the fact that you have Gale Force kind of bails you out in that regard, right?
Yeah,
because
for
like
sure.
in the next fight, if you're gonna be base 8 looking forward, that is gonna be your main target, is gonna be Barlow. The fact that he is now flashless is huge for them, but the fact that the Gale Force is available means that these possibly like a Hex Tech Flash engage isn't going to mean as much, or a Hex Flash, sorry, isn't going to mean as much because that Gale Force is available and the fact that Fresh can dodge out of it. They are finally going to claim mid-turret here. Somehow still hadn't gone down this entire game, but they will finally claim it. Going to be hooked up here. Yug going to go back in for a re-engage on a Blitzcrank here. Brainy going to try for the silence. Ult going to find him though. Barlow going to be on a frenzy here. Bedge trying to get the back line. Not going to catch anyone with that ult though. That's going to be so big. He will fall here in just a second. Going to stopwatch up here. Vex going to go in the back line there. That is massive. Trying to find anything he can. Ricky going to get there. But this Zephrot will go down here in just a second. Going to be caught out here. Dragon will be caught. Serenok going to go for the Zonyas as well. Ia going to survive this fight. It is now a 3v2, but health advantage here. Serenok going to get the chains landing on Fresh. Yes, he will. A lot of damage being put down. Will survive. Barlow going to be putting down quite a bit of poke. But in the end, it is a 1-for-2. Teams will back off here in a moment.
That was a really, really nice ulti on the Jinx. The fact that he knew that, like, all right. Ooh.
Barlow going to live again. So, this, again, Lulu
every time I start talking,
bailing Barlow out there. They might look for a re-engage here, though. Serenok, with so much poke damage, is trying to look forward here, but E-Hug the wiser to it. Polymorph going to come out here. Ricky going to heal up here. Will survive. No. Shutdown to come through. Jurassic somehow still alive here. They will turn on him. Barlow going to find a kill there. And we'll get one back. So in the end, it is going to be delayed ace. Brainy going to go for the hook. Not going to find E-Hug with no mana. Can't go back in. Serenok somehow still alive in this fight. Still kicking. But it will be a disengage. So a couple of kills go across for both sides. But in the end, it will be another 1 for 2 Barlow. Trying to find the ult. Not going to find Serenok. Getting down to 0 HP. Looks like Zephyra might go for it, but
hurts my soul.
Doesn't want to end up opting into it. So a pretty crazy series of events there, but I think in the end, St. Clair got a couple more kills than Bay State did, so they will take a small lead in the gold department.
Yeah, they are in the lead for gold. They are in the lead for kills and drags. One thing that is like that I did want to mention, that ulti on the Jinx there, that was clean. She knew, he knew exactly what he was doing. He let those couple of autos in with the rockets, knowing that he would proc the lethal tempo and get that extra range. And then it's weird to time it right, but you can kind of time it like as the auto attack's hitting, and then you ulti, so then the enemy doesn't expect that anything coming, and they think that they're gonna live. So it was really clean and really nicely played there.
Really good job here. Barlow on his first game on Jinx all season has been showing such good prowess on this champion. And I'm looking for this next dragon. I think it's going to be very important because by that time, Zephyros should be able to pick up his Rabadons here, and he will be very, very strong in these team fights. And I really like the adaptation coming through for St. Clair. You see the Triforce, Hydra, and Sterix on E-Hug. Normally, he does go for more damage build, but this time he realizes, I need to let my Vex and my Jinx scale up. I'm going to go tank. And even Ricky here with the Stride Breaker and the Randuin's built as well. Pretty good positions here, and both sides, I think this is really going to be a huge fight that determines a lot of the game here. Is going to be either this Baron, which is up now, or the Soul, which is going to be up here in just 40 seconds.
I feel like what St. Clair's going to end up doing is they're going to let the drag go back to the base state while they try and sneak the Baron if possible. But who knows what the plan is. Everybody's just kind of clearing wards, trying to get as much vision as possible over the area. Everybody's playing it really safe too, because again, as you said at the start of the game, this is the final match. Nobody wants to be the person that like causes it to go the opposite way, right?
Yeah.
So.
And it's really important here for St. Clair to get vision. Oh, they're going to engage here. They're going to find the jungler and the support as well. Brainy going to be taking down half HP here. Ricky going on the back line. They're going to put so much damage down onto this jungler. Dunk going to come through. Dunk going to come through. Ricky finds 2 Bedge, fending off 3 members of St. Clair right now. Triple stun going to come through. Q going to find him, but he will be taken down here in just a second. Finds a kill back, but Serenok doing so much damage. Polymorph going to come down. He will be taken down. That is a perfect Polymorph coming out of Fresh, saves all of his teammates. Bedge, the fact that he was 1v3 in the backline and almost killed them all is so massive, but St. Clair turn that fight completely around, play it perfectly, and that is going to be an ace coming through. They will get this dragon, and most likely will turn on this Baron in just a second. They are going to get everything in this game. They are on the road to success and trying to find the first game in this series.
We're going to look at an instant replay here of what just happened. The Darius ended up ulting 2 people and got the kills off of it. But this is the part that we were talking about. Now got a triple stun on everybody and managed to use his Q that hit everybody in the area and got the last auto attack on the Jinx.
That polymorph was unbelievable because that could have easily been 2 more kills over to this LeBlanc. She could have got that Zhonya's, could have gone for a reset. But the other important thing, too, was the fact that Fresh body blocked that Q from hitting Barlow, right? Because the fact that Nar couldn't just auto him to death, he had to go after the auto on Barlow, gave him that extra second to come back, and it was literally just pixels away from completely turning that fight around. But Fresh standing up strong, and this is the time to stand up strong. This is the grand finals.
For sure.
And this is when Fresh is showing up for St. Clair. And now they have Soul. Oh, Hook going to come through. Fresh going to be found out here. Will have the ultimate available. Going to pop it here. Will try and survive, but he will be taken down here in just a second. Still has a Chemtech Soul. Will be walking around as a zombie, but Ia going in the backline here. Will be stunned up against the wall. Ia might have gone in too far. Shield going to come through from the Sterix, though. Bedge going to be shredded down quite low. Vexalt going to find Brainy on the back of this. Ricky going to find another dunk. He is unstoppable in this fight. Serenok going to find Jinx on the back line, though, so it will be another kill back over. Ricky trying to find Serenok, but Distortion will come through, so in the end, it is still a 2-for-1 for Bay State.
That was really interesting. One thing that I didn't even notice was that the Jinx ended up buying GA, which honestly, that's a smart move.
I thought it was
I thought that was too.
Oh, he is spotted out. There's a good ward here. He knows he's going to come through, and he's going to find Bedge. And Serenok spotted out here too in the top lane. They will collapse here in just a second. Zephyros going to be stunned up here. We'll have the shield available. Going to go for the Zhonya's anyway. Looks like they're not going to go on Baron here. And I mean, with Dragon Kim obviously alive, you can't really go for a clean fight there. But no, they will opt to go onto it. But really good spots here for both players from the side of Bay State. They cut off this support coming through, but Serenok very low HP. Dragon Kim all the way up at top turret. Actually, he will be taken down here. His image will be taken down. Yeah, it will be or Baron coming through and nothing else. So objective bounties also now available for Bay State. That could be important.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that objective bounties, I completely forgot that they were a thing, but it'll definitely change the game around. That's the one thing that, like, I have a love-hate relationship with them. Am I the only one
I was
that's
going to
like
say,
that?
you have a love when it's your team that has them, and then you hate them when you're winning, and you're like, why is the other team getting a free goal for hitting stuff? I think it's a very polarizing issue. I think a lot of people, it's one thing in the preseason that a lot of people didn't really like that much. I think they did do a pretty good change to it halfway through the last patches. They changed it so you need a lot more gold and a lot more kills for it to actually turn on, which has helped a lot because you can see right now gold discrepancy about 6K. Kills obviously very heavily in St. Clair's favor. So, I mean, at this point, that gold isn't really going to mean that much, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. But it's still something that could help them a little bit because even when it's
Barlow.
just... Ooh.
Got to be careful here.
He's kind of a little bit close.
Blitzcrank is still going to be a threat, but St. Clair, so many levels up, so much gold up at this point. They're going to go for the tower dive here onto the jungler. Polymorph taken down here in just a second. You're going to find that kill yet again, just outclassing this Graves completely. Barlow going to get some poke damage down onto Betchy. We'll be down to half HP. We'll back off here, but with Baron and with Dragon Soul active right now, St. Clair just going to be able to shed this turret, shred this inhibitor as well. Looking to try and end the game on this Baron here. It is going to be a 4v5 fight. Hook not going to find anybody. Bedge with this going to go for the stun, but they will dodge out from all of it. Bedge not going to be able to get anything done in this fight. They will take him down here in just a second. Ult going to come through, but it's not going to matter. Dunk. Ricky going to find one. Ricky going to find a second. Ricky all over this game. St. Clair showing up big here in game number 1. Going to claim it, and they go up 1-0 in the Grand Finals series.
Amazing. That last engage on that bot turret was phenomenal.
I can't believe, like, the way this game started out, right? This Gnar being so strong, finding that triple kill in the jungle, 11-3. It definitely didn't look so good for St. Clair, but Zephyros and Ehug combining for some great engages. And, I mean, Ehug just doing what Ehug does, right? And that's really what I love to see this from St. Clair because I think we can say definitively Ehug, one of the best junglers in the entire league. Like, he's just doing what he does. But the fact that Zephyros on a new champion is showing up in front of just as well. We saw him on Corki do it last week. We're seeing him do it on Vex this week. And St. Clair up 1-0 in this series. I love to see it. And I think looking into game number 2, Bay State going to have to change some stuff up because I think early game they did execute the game plan pretty well. You got the Blitzcrank roaming, found a couple of picks, did pretty well for them. But going into that mid game, I think the Graves getting behind was just such a struggle for them because all Ehug has to do was pop onto this backline, pop the R, find the Graves, and it made such a huge difference because if you don't have your Graves in that fight, it loses a lot of utility, and you can't really fight for dragons anymore, which was the problem there for Bay State.
Let's take a look at these KDAs real quick. So we did end up getting the 13 kills and 8 deaths on Gnar. That's insane. For a Gnar? Like, he is a strong champion, but... I'm so proud of Ricky being able to pull back from all the ganks that he had and all the troubles that he went through, especially with that triple kill top lane. And it was incredible. And then Ehug always doing what he does. He like, you don't see him at the start of the game as much, but then all of a sudden he's just tanking everything possible late game. And especially he got Vi.
And it's so easy, right? Because you have this Vi ability to just go in, right? And you have the Blitzcrank, you have the Graves, both pretty squishy targets that you can take down there. And the fact that you have a Lulu to back you up means when you go into that backline, Lulu can ult you preemptively, so you're not dying instantly and your team can come back in those fights. And I think for me to... Ehug, such a big difference maker there, but Zephyros and him combining to find those really, really good ult engages was something I was not expecting, but I love to see. And St. Clair up 1-0 in this series. A great start to them, a lot better than our last couple of grand finals have been. So really good for them. I love to see it.
I'm really, really proud of how they turned that game around because everybody could see it wasn't in their favor at the start because that Gnar did have a lot of presence and a lot of pressure on everybody. But with how much effort they put in to turn the game around, they played it perfectly. They knew exactly what they were doing. They had to just sit back and wait to catch up in that small gold lead that they had, and then were able to take him on. He did still show that he had a lot of pressure, but with the triple stun later on in the game, but it's still like we were able to handle it really well. So overall, I'm just really proud of St. Clair.
Right, like he had 13 kills, the rest of the team had I think 10 kills combined. So it's really tough, right? When you're the only one who's ahead on the team, everyone else is lacking behind. St. Clair just outclassing him on the rest of the map, and that is going to be it for game number 1. St. Clair take it 1-0. We are going to go to a short break here in just a second. We'll be back. St. Clair up 1-0 in this series, a banger, and I can't wait to see the rest of it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in just a second with some more League of Legends action.
Has this ever happened to you? You tune in to watch Saints Gaming compete at your favorite title, but you end up missing it. Scrolling through Twitter to find results is just such a chore, and it looks like there's no easy way to find out everything you've missed. Luckily, there's a solution. Hi, Millie Bays here, and I'd like to introduce you to St. Clair's Bird's Eye View, the #1 show to keep up with everything about Saints Gaming. Get weekly recaps, see great highlights, hear exclusive interviews with players and staff, and so much more. That's Bird's Eye View, available in podcast or video form at a website near you.
Welcome back, everybody. We are hot into this pick and ban phase already, and I mean, St. Clair, game #1, executed beautifully on their mid to late game comp. Bay State trying to get one back in this series, and we will see a slight change in bans here. We are going to see the Darius banned out this time for Bay State.
Honestly, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and they will have blue side or red side this time, so they will end up picking, or sorry, blue side this time. So they will end up picking Jinx here, and I mean, it is the priority pick for a lot of teams. We have seen it first picked basically every single game so far in the semifinals and the finals. So definitely a very, very strong pick in the meta right now. And I mean, if this Jinx gets picked up, I wouldn't. Oh, it is going to be a change over to the Lee Sin. So a staple, high level jungler. Not too surprised to see it, but it does mean this Jinx Lulu is available yet again for St. Clair.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to pick it up because, as he just said, Jinx is at the top of the meta. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Jinx main, but
it's true.
It's true. With everything that happened with Lethal Tempo, it's insane. Basically, the way I put it earlier to a friend is that she can get the attack
extra
range. Yeah, the attack range of her rocket on her minigun now. That's how insane
That's
it
pretty
is.
crazy.
Like
I thought it was. I didn't know it was that big. That's pretty crazy.
it's like just on the brim of it, and that like if that's for the minigun, imagine how far the rocket launcher goes, right?
It's a crazy concept to think about. Lethal Tempos completely changed the game,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least, in the preseason. And we are going to see Xayah locked in, actually. Xayah, Nautilus, no Recon will be picked up here for Bay State. And a hard engage here. Again, we are going to see it is similar to what Jin Blitzcrank want to do in the early game. Get that engage
for sure.
onto Lulu or Jinx and just kind of go really, really hard on that early game.
And it does look like St. Clair is going to pick up the Viego before they ban it, just like how they did last game, where Bay State did use Viego as as their fourth ban during the second phase.
Yeah, we did see St. Clair ban out pick Darius here, so the fact that it's banned out does mean you are able to go over, but it does mean a lot of flexibility now in the top lane.
Yeah, and they are going to ban out the LeBlanc, which I completely understand. That LeBlanc played really well.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the kind of LeBlanc player that I want to be.
And it's crazy too, right? Because that LeBlanc was only on, I think, 2 kills. So the fact that she's dealing that much damage in those fights is pretty insane. And we are going to see the Vex ban out of Bay State. And, I mean, we are going to see complete change in the mid laners here. Both of them are going to be banned out early on here. We're going to see St. Clair maybe look towards another mid lane ban. Wouldn't be too surprised about that one. I think definitely, obviously, the top lane was a huge difference maker in that first game. But I still think Serenok did really, really well despite not showing it so much on the stat line.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not surprised by the Vex ban. The Xerath ban, that one I'm kind of curious of. Do you know if Bay State plays Xerath?
I don't really know. I mean, I'm kind of surprised to see it at all, just because it's can be very, very easily countered. But to be fair, I think they do have first pick on this side, or sorry, they have last pick for St. Clair, so you can save that and just blind pick your mid, and then you play counter for top or counter for. You get a counter in one of these solo lanes, which is very important for them.
Yeah.
So looks like Aatrox is going to be the last ban. Not too surprised there. You're talking earlier about how good Ricky's Aatrox is. So got to watch out for that. And, I mean, I really think, I was going to say, if Bay State doesn't ban out Aatrox, I wouldn't have been surprised to see St. Clair just blind pick that and then give counter pick to Sephiroth.
Of course. One thing that I am actually hoping for this game is that we get to see Lethality Xayah. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't. I've seen Lethality for a couple of different ADCs, and it is scary.
So basically what you do is you max your Q instead of your W. Or, so you max your Q instead of your E. You go full Lethality, and you bring Ares, so then, like, your Q can literally one-shot someone. As Xayah.
It's an interesting way to play, and if you're going lethality, helps too with this kind of early game that they want to go towards, right? Like if you find a Nautilus hook onto the Lulu or Jinx, if you have a lot of lethality built up in the early game, you can just one shot them through the Lulu wall, through the Lulu shielding as well.
Yeah,
so
that's why I feel like they brought it out.
Yeah, and it looks like Syndra will be picked here for St. Clair, blind pick. Mid laner is going to be picked up, and Camille will be picked up as well. And Camille did just get nerfed in this recent patch. Not too heavily, but got reduced healing on her W, as well as increased cooldown on her E. So a lot of that early game power that she had is kind of taken away, because a lot of people like to play it blind because you can play pretty safe in the early game, and then moving on to the late game, obviously one of the strongest characters in the game with true damage. But the problem with her now is that this E is on a really, really long cooldown, and typically you want to bring Ignite TP into the lane, so it isn't going to be an easy matchup. But Zoe looks like will be the answer here into the Syndra, and it's not a bad pick, but I think the fact that they blind pick Syndra and you didn't really have a good answer for it is actually pretty good for St. Clair.
Yeah, the Syndra pick is definitely a good one, because she does have that pressure and that engage, which is really, really nice in the spot that they're in right now. Because if they didn't pick the Syndra there, they could have gotten just a random pick mid, and I honestly feel like Syndra does have a good way to fight against Zoe, but we're so close. Just press lock in. It's fine. We do get the Jax.
And this is so good, right? Because Jax is a really hard counter to Camille. Camille struggles so much against Jax as the game goes on, and even late game when Camille is supposed to be very, very strong. The fact that Jax has his cooldowns, has his E-max is so good for him, because Camille, that true damage isn't going to mean anything if your E is activated, right?
For sure.
I think St. Clair, a really, really solid draft yet again. I really like what they had to do, but the one thing that Bay State has that St. Clair does not is incredible pick potential, because you have the long-range Zoe sleep, you have the Nautilus lockdown, you have even the Xayah lockdown, so really, really good pick potential here for the side of Bay State. That is what they have going for them. But again, if we get to this late game, I definitely think St. Clair are going to be heavily favored.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Syndra late game, I don't even want to talk about it. it's just too strong. And I think you can agree with me.
Oh yeah, we've seen what a set fed Syndra can do, right? When you get those Magi stacks going, you get a Rabadons. No matter who you're hitting, even if it's Hank, you're one-shotting them from full
For
HP.
sure.
So, the couple of times we have seen Zephyros on the Syndra, he's looked incredible on it. Hasn't really had a bad game on it so far. And with St. Clair being 1-0 up in this series, that is so huge. And I think for me, the huge thing is too the fact that they get this Jinx Lulu back, because Barlow didn't exactly pop off in that game, but I definitely think he was a very, very good facilitator, and Fresh on this Lulu was such a huge difference maker in that first game.
For sure. The Lulu and the Jinx still had almost like just a little bit less pressure than the Gnar that game. And I feel like that's what really got them the win there. The Darius and the jungle did really well, but honestly, if you didn't have the Jinx for the back or in the back line, it wouldn't have gone as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I really, really like this. It's going to be an interesting mid matchup. Obviously, the fact that you have Ginger and Zoe is really two similar play styles, but two different ways you want to execute it, right? Is you want to try and find these long range E's for both sides, both the stun and the sleep. But Zoe obviously has just that one-shot potential, whereas you have the Syndra who can stun multiple of a group of people. So your pick potential on one person isn't as big, but if you can land a multi-person stun, a huge difference maker, especially in those late game fights.
This is definitely going to be an interesting game. Honestly, I'm not sure how to feel about the Lee Sin and the Viego matchup. It's definitely going to be something interesting, because I feel like the second that they go in, or sorry, the second that Lee Sin goes in, Viego's going to struggle a little bit, but able to get a stun off right away.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, on top of the fact that there's so much pick potential between the Zoe and the Nullets, you have Lee Sin as well. So a really good sleep can mean a free insect for Lee Sin and can knock him back into your team. So I think that is going to be a lot of what Base Day wants to do, is trying to find picks early game. And I think they were pretty successful in that in the first game. You had the split screen roaming around, found kills in the top lane on the dive, found kills in mid lane with a couple nice picks. But in the end, it was really just this mid lane jungle matchup for St. Clair that made the difference. And I'm looking again, the Nautilus most likely going to be roaming. You don't really have a lot of kill threat with Jinx Lulu early on in the game. So I think this Nautilus is going to try and roam, trying to find some kind of early game pick potential with the Zoe combination. And if that could come through, I think St. Clair really going to struggle in the early game. But again, if they can make it through that early game and go to that mid game, late game, I think that their team fight is just going to be that much better, and they can definitely take advantage of it.
If this Xayah does actually go lethality, I'm extremely curious to how this Jinx and the Lulu are going to fight against it. Barlow and Fresh are really good at playing bot together, and they have such a good synergy. But honestly, lethality Xayah just has so much impact that it's going to be insane.
Yeah, for sure. And it does so much damage, especially when you go that in the early game. When you hit that one item power spike, it is so strong. And Nautilus, with so much CC available, can just lock him down so I can get a free root. And that's really going to be a difficult thing to handle if you're St. Clair, despite the fact that you are drafting the Lulu. So it is really going to be a big difference maker here. Can St. Clair survive the early game and get to that mid game again? If they can, I definitely think they have this in the bag. But Jax for Ricky is so massive, right? Last time we saw him, he definitely struggled a lot. It was into Dr. Mundo, which is a completely different matchup altogether. Into the Camille, I think he'll have a lot more success, but we'll see if he can get that early game advantage going. I think it'll bode really well for St. Clair.
I feel like their goal this game is to kind of do what I was assuming last game, where they just waited out as long as possible to hopefully get that late game strat in. As long as they sit back and they farm their gold and hopefully not let any of the enemies get ahead, I feel like it'll be perfect for them.
Yeah, for sure. And I really think that in this top lane, going to make a huge difference now this game plays out. But the jungle, too, we are going to see a Viego for Viego. We've seen his Viego many times throughout the season, and he's looked good on all of them. Viego was slightly nerfed a couple patches ago, but still pretty much the same. It really is going to be a difference maker, right? Because if you can get ahead on this Viego in the early game, Lee Sin going to lose a lot of his power, because a lot of his power is going to be up to about level 6 to that level 9 mark, where his Q is max. That's where he's going to be the strongest. Once you get past that mark, he does reduce quite a bit in his power and his agency in the game. So if you can get to that mark, if you can get ahead of him in that regard, later on in the game, Viego way more powerful in that regard. And I mean, right now, I do like St. Clair's draft a lot, but like I said, if Bay State play to their win condition, if they can play to that pick potential, that is where they can find an advantage in the early game, and they can try and push it towards a mid-game win.
Yeah, we're definitely in for another interesting game. It can really go either way, honestly, with however the ending goes. But it'll definitely be something really different. Plus, do you know these are most of their comfort picks again, right?
Yeah, it is a lot of
So,
what they've played
yeah.
all these champions before. I mean, I think for them, we just saw the Jinx Lulu in the last game. It looked pretty good.
Mhm.
Syndra, Zephyrot's played it multiple times, and Ricky on the Jax obviously is Ricky on the Jax. So I
Yeah.
think Ehug has proved himself in Viego. So everything that St. Clair's playing, everything they've been comfortable on throughout the season, and it's so good, right? When you have that flexibility, like I said before the series even started, you have so
Mhm.
many picks that you've been successful on that you can't ban out St. Clair. You can't just go
No,
and
you
you can't
can't.
just say, okay, they were really successful on this, they weren't so successful on this, and I think they kind of struggled with that earlier on in the season. That was
Mhm.
something they were working on, but later on into the playoffs, it's just been they've been pulling out these crazy picks, specifically Zephyrot. Like the fact that he's playing all these new champions and is successful on
Mhm.
all of them is so massive because you can't ban out his champ pool, and he's become such a
No.
problem. And the fact that he's able to get on this Syndra is so big.
Yeah, there's definitely like a lot of growth that I've seen from St. Clair. Sometimes like me and Fresh would play some games just by ourselves, like some Spellbook or even some Norms, and like I can tell that like he's grown quite a bit because on this team he only plays support, but he's playing jungle. He's learning every role possible, so then he can try and help out his teammates as much as possible. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things to know.
Yeah. Especially as a support, because like the way that support meta has changed so much, rather than years ago it was just kind of sit with your ADC, they farm up,
Mhm.
you get to that late game, and that's when you're just making sure your whole job is making sure your other players don't die. Yes, it
Yeah.
is kind of enchanter meta, and they are pretty strong, but you are expected to roam, you are expected to be able to get counter vision, like you're expected to do a lot more as a support than you were
Mhm.
before. So the fact that Fresh able to do that, able to match the roams of his counterpart on the other side of the rift is so big. And Barlow stepping up too is so massive for him because we did talk about he had some struggles in the regular season, but
Mhm.
this playoffs he's looked like a completely different player. He's been playing these late game scaling ADCs and looking really good on them, which wasn't something he could do in the regular season.
Yeah, it's definitely like as you're playing on a team, you kind of learn what suits you best because as a team, like you go through different scrims, you try so many different team comps that could work, could not work. It all just depends or how you play them, right? And I feel like maybe that's what they did throughout this entire time while they were scrimming, and it definitely did work out for everybody. But we are gonna go straight into the game here. All of Bay State are going to go bot again, looking like they're going to try and invade. While on the St. Clair side, it looks like they're just going to do a 5-point start to try and keep all the vision possible that they can to avoid the invade.
Yeah, and we saw last game they tried to do this in the top lane, didn't end up working out, so they're going to try it in the bot lane. This time they're going to come through the bottom bush, and Fresh going to have to be careful here. Does have Flash Exhaust available, so if he does get spotted out, he will have it there. Will be aware. He's going to walk. Oh, Flash going to be matched there. So it will end up being a flash for a flash there. They do get something out of it, but yeah, just really good responsiveness there by Fresh. Has to flash out of that. And Hex Flash available for Brainy, so a small advantage there in the bot lane that they might look to exploit here early, but no kills go over, which is the big thing.
One thing that I will expect because of that early flash, maybe the Lee Sin is going to start, as you can actually see, he is going to go start blue. So maybe he might rotate down to bot early, so that means we might have a spicy fight early to see.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if that's where they go with. And obviously, you look in the top lane right now, actually, Camille with the Ignite TP and Jax, Ricky this time, not opting to go with the Ignite, going with the Teleport Flash. So these 1v1 fights early might not go his way. He does have the Corrupting Pot that he did end up picking up, whereas it is just the 3 pots in the long sword for the Camille. So I'm not expecting too much to happen in the early game in top lane. Obviously, I think both sides just respect the fact that it is scaling.
For
like
sure.
it is Jax and Camille, so you're not really getting a lot done early on. Ricky looks like he wants to go for the E. Pops that stone plate, but he's going to engage here in the bot lane. Hook going to land on Barlow here. We'll get a lot of damage down early. We'll trade back a little bit onto Brainy here, but again, nothing too major here. And I expect a lot of poke to come out from both these lanes, but I don't expect any actual hard engages to come through until those junglers start roaming.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely looks like there's been some battles in the mid lane as Zoe lands her E. And it looks like everything's good up there. But now we see the Ricky going in on the Camille, trying to get as much autos as possible to try and keep her off the wave. And everybody's playing it decently well. Jinx gets out of here free without taking a Nautilus hook to the face, which is always nice, being an ADC main.
Ooh,
Ricky's
actually
gonna
going to find the
look to
stun
go
on bench.
here.
That's massive. No flash, but doesn't go for the last auto. So we'll end up with, I definitely thought Ricky was going to go in there to find that last auto, but really good patience. I think he would have been slightly out of range there. Wasn't able to find it. But regardless, I think an advantage right now, obviously, for Ricky in the top lane. This is what he was doing last game to the Mundo. But the difference between Mundo and Camille is that Mundo is going to innately heal up a lot more, has a lot more survivability, whereas this Camille not going to have nearly as much. Has the grasp for a little bit, but it's not as much as a Mundo would have.
For sure. And it does look like the Xayah isn't going to go lethality. And you can tell just because of her runes. Because for whatever reason, if you go lethality Xayah, you bring Airy.
I think it's normally just because of the poke damage. I mean, obviously it is kind of your whole goal is right to poke him out in the bot lane.
Yeah.
But I mean, lethal tempo I think is just so strong right now.
Yeah.
You can't not take it on an ADC.
True.
Just because it's like the quintessential rune for every ADC to take.
We do see Ricky going in to try and get more damage on the Camille. But just backing out and taking a free back right here to try and get some items. If Camille, goes in on the Camille and uses his empowered auto to get some more damage in. And it looks like he might try and dive here.
Hug
He's
is
definitely
also
looking
up
for
here.
it.
So this, he's going to find the Sun first blood. Going to come through for Ricky. Going to try and get out of there. Ignite going to be down. He will survive though. Ricky
Very nice.
finds first blood on the top laner there and will be able to make it out of there alive. And that is so massive because last game we talked about Nara getting ahead of Ricky made such a huge difference. But now in this game, it is Ricky getting ahead of this Camille. And he does have TP. He will TP back into this lane to match it. And Ehug going to be here as well. So now the Camille doesn't have any summoners up. Ricky just going to try and bait her in. If they can find a second kill, that will be so massive for them because Ricky has a stun available. Going to go for the E. Going to find the E actually in a response. Nice flash there. Going to get ahead of Bedge. Will find the kill here in just a second. Going to go for the auto as well. Bedge no escape. Ricky going to find that kill. 2-0 for Jax early on in this game. That is disaster for the side of Bay State because Camille with no TP can't get back to this massive wave stacked up, and Ricky on a fed Jax is the scariest thing you could possibly see on the Rift.
For sure. We were definitely expecting to see some kind of like fight up in the top lane because we do know how well Ricky does play Jax. It looks like Zoe's going to try and get in here and lands the bubble, gets her Q ready, and ends up killing Zephyros.
Yeah, Zephyros just a step too far ahead here. You're going to try and go for the response here. Has flash available, not going to go for it. So Serenok finding an answer back here with a solo kill onto Syndra there. So at least some respite here for the side of Bay State. But again, this Ricky 2-0 now. Has Vamp Scepter and 2 daggers. He's going to be light years ahead of this Camille for the rest of this laning phase, essentially. And now, I mean, yes, you do have an advantage here in the mid lane, Serenok finding that kill, but the top lane is just going to be such a problem. You're going to have to send your jungle there a lot more.
For sure. And it looks like the Nautilus is just trying to get some wards around River to maybe try and do drag early. Zephyros going to try and stop the Zoe from backing real quick to try and buy some time for himself. And everything else seems to be going well. But back to talking about Ricky, he has such an impact with Jax that it kind of scares me.
Well, it's dead. You're scared. Imagine playing on the Rift with him being 2-0 right now. That's even scarier. And
exactly.
I mean, for Bedge right here, like he was ahead in that last game, but he has to respect the fact that Ricky is now going to be significantly ahead of him in this lane, and he can't go for those 1v1 fights, and he can win those. So I think Ricky had a rough game on his Jackson the last time, but this time looking light years different and really has a lot more confidence. And we're going to see actually the side of Bay State going for this early dragon, and with the reset coming through for Ehug there, won't be able to contest. So starting off early in this one, they're going to flip the script, and Bay State will claim the first dragon in this game.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be a weird game going on. As you just said, they do get the drag for free due to all the vision that the Nautilus set up early. Jinx and Lulu are looking pretty pushed in, but luckily they are even in CS. This is definitely a strange game.
Well, this is definitely a game where you know your top lane is significantly ahead. You have the scaling Jax, who's going to be very, very strong. So the other lanes really just have to say, okay, we're just going to wait, go get to that mid-game point where Jackson start roaming around, and he's going to make a huge difference in fights. And as long as Jinx stays alive, if it does end up being a lethality Xayah, it's going to be, going to miss the sleep actually. Zephyros not going to land a Q either though. Trey going to come back. Oh, Q going to land for Serenok, going to go for the R. Not going to be enough damage though. Healing up with the pots there, but Serenok doing so much damage to Zephyros right now. Has to respect it. Still being zoned off this wave. Will be forced to back here in just a second.
That's the one thing that's always crazy about Zoe. You can see what she has. She only has a Dark Seal with 2 stacks, Corrupting Pots, and Boots. And she was doing that much damage to him.
Yeah, it is a lot of those summoners. Ooh, Zephyros not going to get tagged up by the Q. Will barely survive there. Ehug went for gank in top lane, was not successful on it though, so will be forced to back off. But Herald being up soon could be something both teams are looking at. But Zoe roaming, this Ehug has to be careful on this Viego that he doesn't overstep.
This game is definitely going to be hard to play against the Zoe specifically.
No,
and it looks like Ricky's gonna get collapsed on by everybody. We'll see if he pulls through, and the Lee Sin gets, or actually the Zoe gets the shutdown with her W and auto attack.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunately not expecting the Zoe to be there, expecting her to be on that reset after the kill, but
For sure.
Serenok, with a lot of activity here in the early game, has picked up 2 kills for himself and find an advantage here in mid. And I mean, last game it was definitely Zephrot outclassing Serenok, but this game Serenok with a solo kill already, as well as kill there in the top lane, is showing off that he can be just as strong as Zephrot can.
This game is something. I honestly thought that Ricky might have been able to get out in time, but because of I realized, hey, he has Camille ulti.
Yeah.
Can you explain what
can't
Camille ulti does?
can't
It's like you
escape
can't
that.
leave.
You put a nice little cage around them, and there's nowhere they can run to. You can't move out of it. So it is kind of just a free kill for Serenok there. Unfortunately, Ricky, with the commit, wasn't able to take advantage of it. And looks like actually going to go for an engage here on Bedge. Bedge with no mana is going to be forced to back off here. No reset coming through either, but they are going to be getting a Herald here. So, actually, never mind. Sorry, they already got the Herald. So, at least in finding that one, objectives going the way of Bay State this time. Whereas last game, it was St. Clair finding them in the early game.
The one thing is that I honestly expected more of a little bit more fights to happen in bot lane. It looks like everything is just pretty calm down there. Both are farming. They are decent enough with the farm, like as in being even. No one's really that much ahead of anybody else, other than mid. But even mid's not that different.
Ooh, Drowsy gonna land. The ult gonna be popped here on Serenok. Serenok gonna go back in for it. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Bedge gonna go for an engage on a Ricky here. Gonna have some help from his jungler, so Ricky gonna try and 1v2 here. No mana for that, but it's not gonna matter. That's so much damage from his Lee Sin. We'll find Ricky there in the mid lane. Nobody going down quite yet, but a lot of activity in this top lane. Zephrot, ooh, the sleep is gonna land. Serenok gonna have to pause. No Q available just yet. Will he dodge away from it? No. Will kill gonna come through anyway. Yug trying to stop what's happening here in the top lane, but again, just St. Clair getting taken advantage of over this map, and so much activity in the mid lane. 2 solo kills. Oh, they will end up trading. I didn't even see that. So in the end, Shutdown will go over to Zephrot. Sorry, he didn't pick up the trade kill there. Who killed Zoe?
Oh my god.
Oh!
Barlow sniped Zoe with the Jinx ulti.
I didn't even see that.
We completely missed it.
I was so confused. I look at Cinder Saddle and I'm like, oh, they didn't trade. So
I was looking at the scoreboard and I was like,
That's-
oh, Jinx got a kill. That's nice. And I was like, wait, Zoe's dead. Hold on.
and that's
I know what
big
happened.
because it's a big shutdown, right? And
Yeah,
the fact
for
that this
sure.
ball lane has been so static for the entire game. The fact that Barlow can pick up an advantage out of lane is huge. Hook gonna come through. Fresh gonna be found here, rooted up for a second, but don't want to go for an engage here just yet. Brain gonna be chipped down quite a bit. No junglers around. W gonna land slow on Jurassic, but they don't want to commit to it just yet.
One thing that I'm surprised by is that the Nautilus and the Blitzcrank from last game, but they both brought Glacial. I haven't really seen that.
A lot of supports, especially tank supports, have been taking Glacial just because it procs off your abilities as well, right? So the fact that you can land a hook, get the slow on 2 people just like this. Fresh going to be ignited here, going to be taken out. No ult going to come through, but TP going to be followed as well. Jack's going to show up here in the bot lane. Ricky can't find anything. Ia going to be joining here as well in just a second. Jurassic going to live. TP going to be followed here. Camille going to try and find this one. Ia going to be here as well. Everyone down in the bot lane. Going to be a 5v5 fight here. Ult going to come through onto Ricky. Will be dead here in just a second, trying to get up, but Serenok going to claim that kill. Q to be found on Barlow as well. Will he go for the engage? Yes, he will. Slow going to come down. He will survive here. Polywarp going to come through as well. No mana for a lot of these members. Fresh going to be taken down here in just a second. Jurassic going to find him. That's going to be Zephrot coming through the fight, but not going to be able to find any kills back. Reset going to come through. Going to have the Xayah as well, going for the Q damage. You're not going to want to commit. Q going to land on Barlow. That's so much damage. Flash picked up here. Flash again. Serenok going to find another kill in this fight. Serenok 5-1-1. All over St. Clair right now. They have no answer for this Zoe. And now another fight win for the side of Bay State. St. Clair just trying to find an answer.
This Zoe is incredible.
It's really been the difference in these fights. Oh, Serenok going to get the
Wow.
sleep though. We'll pause it for a second. Ia taking so much damage there. Won't be able to go for a fight. So in the end, it will be 4-2. And they will go for the dragon here, but St. Clair on a reset, all going to come through on this rocket. Going to try and find someone in the pit, but no, not going to be able to claim it. They will get this dragon. Engage here in the top lane. Going to come through onto Ricky. Bedge will be able to disengage here. Flash going to come through anyway. Ricky going to try and find the auto, but no, the heal going to be enough. Ricky going to live in the top lane too. Both top laners with 0 HP going to be able to survive here. Smite going to come through, will be able to live, but so much fighting going on early in this game. It is such a big change from what happened last game.
Yeah, this is definitely almost the exact opposite of what was going on. Where at first we went up to I think around like 9 minutes without a first kill. Where here we are with 12 already across the board.
Oh, that's going to be a root here. Drowsy going to follow as well. Serenok just going to walk up, throw a Q in. Not going to kill him though. Didn't calculate the damage, and Zephrot going to limp away with 1 HP there.
a little bit sloppy there.
Those are
Will
always
be-
the best moments.
Yeah, for sure. Q gonna land. Herald down here as well. We'll get the charge in here on bot lane turret for free. Will they opt to go for a dive? No, they will not. So we'll just be a couple plates over for the side of Bay State. Sleep gonna somehow find him in that, but won't go for the engage. And Serenok, these sleeps are unbelievable.
They are. It's like this was the hidden main that he had. His
And
pocket pick.
the fact that, I mean, I said, Zoe not exactly counterpick the Syndra, but it doesn't matter when you're counterpicking because if you're all over the map, you're finding sleeps everywhere. It doesn't matter what the other person's picking in lane.
For
You're finding kills
sure.
elsewhere. So 5-1-1. Luden's already here. 13 minutes built up for the Zoe. 6 stacks as well. They need to shut the Zoe down sometime soon because the further this goes on in the mid game, the more damage Zoe's going to be doing, the more pick potential they have, and they don't really have a lot of tanky stats built up yet. You see the Viego with Sunder, and you have Jax with Bork. Like, they're not innately tanky, so if Zoe finds a sleep, they're pretty much dead. They're going to engage here. Sleep not going to find anyone. Stun not going to find him as well. Going to try for an engage here, but will be peppered down by that Q, and they're not going to go for it. So a little bit of fighting here in bot lane. Still 4 people apiece.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and get the turret real quick while Zoe lands another sleep on the Syndra. And doesn't bother to try and use the Q for the extra damage or to get to pick up another kill. Ehug waiting around in his invisibility, waiting for an engage, but wasn't able to get a nice one.
Both teams wanting that blue buff so bad. Barlow taking so much damage from that Serenok Q. All going to come through as well. Trying to disengage from the rest of the team there. Trying to get a flash forward. Not going to find a sleep on anybody just yet, though. And it will be a disengage here from St. Clair. And Serenok, these Qs are just doing so much damage to St. Clair right now. They can't face check anything in the jungle because you don't even need to land a sleep for him to kill you.
There's definitely like a lot of different things that are going on the map. And you can tell that St. Clair desperately wanted to get into that fight. Ricky's just going to take an auto and then walk away. Maybe try and go back to the waves in order to push it a little bit more before he takes a free back. But back to that fight around blue buff, it looks like both teams wanted to go in so bad, but it's just like, you know that the Zoe's there, so they couldn't.
Yeah, and it really is just about the Zoe, right? Like, you're playing around these sleeps. If somehow she can land a really good sleep on someone on the side of St. Clair, you saw the sleep landed on Zephyr there. They had to Lulu ult him just to keep him alive because if that Q comes through, he could be dead, but this is going to be engaged here by this Herald. It will be stolen away, actually, by Bay State. They will find him. Brainy down quite low. Ult not going to find him. Ehug Lulu'd up here. Just a second, trying to find his kill. We'll get the reset coming through. Dragon Kim going to be engaged on. Nice Q going to land, but Ehug going to be taking so much damage. Ult going to come through. It's not going to matter. They're going to clean up the rest of this fight. Zephyr going to have to flash out. That's going to be another Q, and Serenok finding another kill. 6, 1, and 3 on the Zoe. We talked about the pick potential from Bay State in this comp, and Serenok finding it full force. Ooh, can she escape? No. Gonna be caught out here. Stun gonna find him though. Zephyr able to escape here for a moment. Can Dragon land the Q? Gonna land it. That's gonna be another kill over. So in the end, it will be a 3-4-0. Or 3-1, sorry.
What do you think is gonna happen in the next 5 minutes?
I think the problem is now going to be you have your bot lane turret and you have all 3 outers down, and you can't ward up your jungle. TP going to come through actually from this Camille. Going to try and lock up Barlow here. We'll be getting the ult down. Viego going to be here to answer as well. They're going to go for this fight, but Barlow going to be executed here in just a second. Going to flash away from it. Someone stays alive. The heal going to come through, but will end up dying in the end. Going to try and go in here. Drowsy going to find him. That's going to be another kill over Ricky, trying to find an answer here, but he'll be taken down by 4 members of Bay State, and St. Clair just piling up the losses here. And I was going to say, you can't. Oh, double kill for Serenok. Not even a Q needed. Just the E going to take out Fresh there. 8, 1, and 4. 10 stacks on this Dark Seal. Serenok just smurfing all over St. Clair in this game. 8K gold difference just 16 minutes in.
That is incredible. But you got to hand it to the Zoe. He played extremely well.
Look at that gold difference on Zoe right now. That is ridiculous.
Wow.
Almost doubling what Zephyr has. And we talk about their plan in this game, right? You go in, you have Elise and Zoe and Nautilus. You're looking for this really early pick potential for the Zoe, trying to find stuff in the side lane. And, you know, she found that solo kill in mid, roamed the top, found Ricky, got that shutdown on him, and then roamed the bot, found a couple extra kills. And now, you know, it's just a snowball effect, right? Because you lose your bot turret, you lose your top turret, and now after they hit mid turret, you can't even walk in your jungle, because if Zoe finds an E over a wall, especially the fact that it's Mountain Soul, you have so many more walls to throw this E over, you can't, like, you're just dead. There's even if a Lulu ults you, you're probably still going to die from 1 E. So
yeah, for sure.
I think St. Clair are going to have to make sure their vision line is perfect around their jungle, because if you get caught out in one of these fights, it is very, very easily a turn
onto one of these objectives, and they kind of just take it for free.
One thing that they could try is just to try and collapse on the Zoe whenever they get the chance.
It's so hard though, right? Because like you have to have the Jax matching the Camille and split push. You have to have somebody answering in the other lanes, and I mean even a 3-person, like if you can get a proper engage, you can definitely get it right. But the problem is you have a Viego this game. It's not a Vi who can just press R on the back line and just go directly into Zoe, right? Because like if you had a Vi this game, I think it would make a huge difference because you can just press the R button on Zoe. There's nowhere she can run to, and you can have someone else hop on top of her. Get a free stun for the Syndra. You can ultimate, and oh, going to be a stun coming through, but not going to be able to answer. And you just see the damage difference there, right? Like a Q landed. Oh, Sleep not going to find Zephyr. The Q landed for Zephyr doesn't really do anything because he has Mark Treads and a Spellbook. Zoe has 10 stacks on a Medjai's and a Luden's built up.
This game, we can see that Jinx went back with the Gale Force again, which honestly, this is the one match where I'm like, okay, this makes the most sense because you have the Nautilus hook, you have the Xayah, you have the Camille stun, and you have the Zoe bubble, so it's definitely a good idea to bring
the
that.
Sleep was landed. Oh, he's gonna barely live there, engaged by Ricky in the bot lane, but I mean, not only that, right, it is the snowball effect because now, yes, top lane Ricky was winning early, but the problem is this Zoe is so strong. She's walking in the jungle, forcing you into your lane, and Ricky level 10 and Bedge level 12, and despite the fact that Ricky got ahead early on this Jax, it doesn't mean anything because the Zoe roaming around the map is doing so much damage.
For sure. She's just been able to keep so much pressure, almost as much pressure as the Gnar had from last game, and that is definitely something that's like really intense and really hard for them to fight against.
Yeah, if you try and go for a team fight now, I definitely think it is going to go very, very heavily in the way of Bay State. And you see even in bot lane right now, the item difference. You have a full Lord Doms built for this Xayah. She's just been able to pick up farm in the side lanes, pick up towers, get objectives. Whereas, you know, just going to be a Crown of the Shattered Queen now for the Syndra, and you're going to have a Gale Force for the Jinx. So you're just so far behind in items, and really the only hope now is somehow for Ricky to find an advantage in the side lane and push it forward, because if he can get ahead of the Camille, if he can start split pushing against her, that's going to be the difference maker in this game, because a fed late game Jax is really, really hard to deal with. Even as a fed Zoe, like if you can't one-shot this Jax, he's going to hop right on top of you with the Q, and you're just going to be dead. So that really is St. Clair's hope right now in this game.
Yeah, for sure. If they ever get a team fight where the Jax is able to get his stun off on at least 2 people and just have that presence, the game is going to go the complete opposite way. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Oh, the Sleep lands, Crown is off, but a 4-man collapse here. Exhaust is available though for Serenok, so we'll pop that almost instantly. Stun going to land though through the bush. Going to somehow find it. They can take down Serenok here. That would be massive flash going to come through. Ult going to find her as well. Going to have to go back to under that turret. Serenok going to be taking down 950 gold for E-Hug. That is exactly what St. Clair needed, but Fresh going to be cut out here. Blast Plane available. Will he get away? Going to follow him though. Ult going to come through. Shield not going to matter. Dragon will take down, so an answer back, but I mean, and fights going all around the map, actually. Oh, so much damage from that Q. Going to flash away from it. Ult going to come through as well. Ricky trying to find here, but he is ignited. The healing's going down. That's going to be a kill for Bedja. Solo kill in the bot lane for this Camille, and that is not what St. Clair needed. Fight going to go on in the jungle as well. They're going to catch him out. Ult going to come down on Barlow. Jurassic going to find that one. Zephyr trying to put some damage down. Going to find it on the backside, but Dragon going to be here as well. A double kill over for the side of Bay State, and that is going to be them winning that fight. And despite a good pick on the Zoe, everywhere else on the map just completely blown out there for Bay State.
For sure, and they are going to go for a Baron pick here because their entire team is dead. They just aced. They have little to no threat with doing Baron here. They are also keeping up on all of the drags. St. Clair is going to receive none of them. It is 21-6 with a almost 10, or it is 10k.
It's going to be over 10k
now.
in just a second. So
wow,
11.5k gold difference now. Everyone on the side of Bay State with pretty decent KDAs here. Lee Sin 5-0-11, and even the Xayah at 4-1-5. Bay State, they did not like how game 1 went, so they swapped it up here, picked up the Zoe, and it's made such a huge difference here in game number 2. And I mean, the only good thing was that they got this Medjai stack to stop on the Zoe down to 2 from, I think it was like 14 or something ridiculous. So the fact that they were able to stop that one is big, but now you're going to have to fight at this because it is Soul. Barlow going to be hooked up here, will be rooted up, and he will be taken out in just a second. EDC already out of this fight. Will be kicked out. E-Hug going to try and find his way out here. Brain going to be pushed onto, but Exhaust going to come through onto Ricky. Not able to pick up that kill. Dragon will find E-Hug. Ricky gonna go down there as well. Zephyr gonna be cleaned up here, and that is just unfortunately all that's left in this game. Bedge gonna find Fresh here. Lulu gonna try and walk away, but it's not gonna matter. She will follow you, she will slow you, and she will take you out here. Just 1 second. They're gonna claim the Soul, they're gonna claim the Ace, and they're gonna claim St. Clair. This game more than likely over at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be over soon. They got Baron, I'm pretty sure, at like 22 minutes. And we're able to secure the very last dragon, meaning that they already have, including all the armor that they already have, they're going to have even more now. And that's going to be more of a struggle when quite a few people on the St. Clair team don't do damage.
Yeah, that's the problem right now, right? It's like you have help people with some items. You see both top and jungle finally found the second item, but for this, even the top laner there that was so far behind for the side of Bay State now has 2 items as well. Doesn't mean engage here in top. Glacial gonna pop, but not gonna matter in that sleep. If it finds anybody, it is going to be deadly in these fights. You're gonna try and go for a stun. You're gonna polymorph up this Camille, trying to find this kill early. Jurassic gonna be on a rampage here though. Iaga trying to walk through all this fight. Double kill already for the side of Zaya. Bay State walking all over this fight. It's not going to matter. You're going to try and run away, but they will ace them yet again. A second ace in a row here for Bay State. They will claim this game. 31-6 the kills. Gold difference massive, and that is going to be an answer back from Bay State in kind. 24 minutes later, Bay State closes the series and makes it 1-1. Close the series, makes it 1-1, and it is going to be an interesting one. I love to see it, though. A really good answer for Bay State.
Yeah,
answered back what St. Clair had to do, and I mean, it really started with that mid laner.
Yeah, that early E on the Zoe definitely had an influence of how that lane ended up going. Plus, it gave, once Zoe knew that, okay, like I can land these, I can get some damage on, force him to back, or force Syndra to back, and then immediately roam bot. She'd used all of her like time and the waves so well that it didn't affect her at all.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the fact that she was able to do so much damage with just the boots built, didn't even have any actual magic damage items. It really comes down to those skill shots, right? Because if you don't have any magic damage items, your Qs aren't going to be doing that much damage on themselves. But if you can pile up this and you keep dodging out Syndra's Qs, you can turn that into so much more damage than you saw. Even the fact that she got that solo curl early, roamed to top, found that shutdown on Ricky meant that they were able to get Herald. They got the mid lane turret down, and she starts roaming into the jungle, and she lands asleep on you, you're just dead. So
yeah,
that really snowballed in the rest of the map. And despite Ricky finding that early lead in the top lane, the fact that Serenok found that kill and then got the shutdown on Jax kind of just negated all of that.
Yeah, definitely. It was, I was hoping that with that shutdown that he had got on the Zoe that he would be able to do a little bit more damage, but it didn't look like anything. He got the Sterix gauge, and then that's about it.
Yeah, it's hard too when you're behind that much. Yes, it is 950 gold. It is something back to you, but you look across the rest of the map. Like Jurassic at 3 items, Serenok and Dragon at 3 items as well. Like it's just so difficult to try and fight back in these times because like you're just down so much gold at that point. And I mean, Bay State played their comp to perfection. We talked about their pick was based around, their comp was based around picks, right? You had to find those engages, you had to find the Zoe sleeps, you had to find the Lee Sin insects, and I mean Dragon, I think he had an okay game. The stat line was 8013. I think a lot of that was in the later parts of the game. It was really just this mid laner roaming, finding these incredible sleeps was the difference maker. And I mean, looking forward to game 3. It'll be interesting to see how these drafts go, because now that Bay State is strike back and they found that second game, St. Clair are going to have to think about what they want to draft, because you can't just leave that Zoe up. You have to try and deal with it in some kind of way.
Yeah, I'm definitely wondering what kind of pick they're going to choose against Zoe. One thing that I do see that is a good counter pick, which I necessarily don't agree with, is Silas.
I do like the Silas in it. The problem is the Silas we have seen from Zephyr is not good. So I don't really think that would be in his wheelhouse. I think that's something that he was working on that wasn't really working out for him. I think what I want to see is not this Viego blind pick in the jungle. I want to see them save it and maybe go back to that Vi. Because, like I said, during the cast, the Vi can lock on you with the R, and it's kind of just a free kill if you have another form of CC like the Syndra stun. So I think if you had a Vi there, it makes a huge difference, because Viego a lot harder to actually land that CC. You have to get close range. You have to land that W through. You can't hit any minions or anything. Vi, press the R button. It's a free CC. So I think that could be a change that St. Clair could make. But that is going to be it for this game. BSC strike back, find a game for themselves, tie up the series at 1 apiece. We are going to be going to game 3 here in just a second, so don't go anywhere. Stick around, grab yourself some popcorn, because it is going to be a banger of a series.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We did miss the first part of the banning phase. Like what St. Clair has been banning already, we do have TF, Fiora, and Lee Sin. Probably Lee Sin from the last game, which honestly, that Lee Sin did have some nice plays. And then on the state side, we do have Tark, Yone, and Victor again. St. Clair is going to first pick Jinx yet again. I'm so happy. What do you think?
3 in a row. I definitely think they're very comfortable on it. They're happy to put Barlow on that one. And despite the change in sides, we are going to see Victor banned out yet again on the red side. And I think that is just a perma ban. He is, by and large, the best mid laner right now in the meta. He did get Arcane buffed, so it is what it is. But
For sure.
I do like Lee Sin adaptation as well. I think his impact might not have been felt so much because of the crazy plays that the Zoe was making, but I think he was a lot of that facilitation in the early game and didn't really allow EHUG to do too much because his clear was fast. He was able to get out to lanes more often. So
Yeah. They are going to pick the Xayah and Rakan this time, which honestly, the weird thing is that you expect them to do so well together, but it's like, I feel like they both do well with other champions together. It's really strange.
yeah, I think it is interesting to think about that element because for so long it has just been like if you have Xayah and Rakan is open, you're going to take Rakan.
For sure.
But I think over the years, a lot of people have adapted to the fact that Rakan can be used for a lot of other stuff as well. So I do like the Xayah Rakan pick here, and it's going to be Jinx and Braum picked up. So
Wow.
no Lulu in this game. We are going to get a Braum meta fresh, and that is something different. And I think it is in response to the Xayah Rakan because I think definitely Jinx Lulu would struggle into that lane pretty heavily.
Yeah, for sure. The Braum is definitely a great pick with Jinx. I love it so much. It's probably one of my favorite matchups, like duos of all time, to get both of them together.
Yeah, and it's not as exposed as a Jinx Lulu would be, right? Because if that Rakan goes on you, has the ultimate, it is pretty much just a free kill. We are going to get the Darius coming through again for Ricky. I think that is a pretty good pickup here. I like the fact that they're saving EHUG's pick for the second phase because it gives you a lot more flexibility. And I think the fact that you can go on Darius here is big because Ricky wasn't amazing on it in the first game. I think as the game turned on later on, he was looking a lot better on it. But early game, he did get zoned out by the Gnar. We do see the Jace hovered here. Wouldn't be too surprised to see that picked up. Actually, we could see the Gnar as well.
Yeah, the Jace is definitely to me it is a weird pick because I don't see Jace as a good spot even now. I know that he also was included in the Arcane buff, but I feel like he isn't able to put out as much team fight support as much as he should.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it is tough to see the Jace value, but I think a lot of it is actually just negating what Darius wants to do early game. The fact that you have range and throughout levels 1 to 6, you can fight back against Darius and can win. It is not easy to do, but it is definitely possible here. And the fact that he can safely farm against Darius is big. And just like Gnar, it's the fact that you don't have to walk up and melee minions. You can sit back and just range out of them and negate a lot of what Darius wants to do to you in the early game.
Yeah, we do see the Zoe, Vex, and Viego ban, and then also the Xerath ban as the very last one, which honestly, I'm surprised
I think
that they
Serenok
didn't...
might be a Xerath player, so that might be why they're banning it out.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Probably.
The fact that it's been banned out 2 games kind of makes sense, but they're going to ban out Zoe too. Not too surprised by that one. The fact that he blind picked Zoe and was just smurfing all over St. Clair does mean they're going to have to change it up, but we are going to see a Jarvan, possibly. Yeah, there's going to be a Jarvan pick coming through, so 3 different junglers here for Bay State in all 3 games.
This is definitely going to be interesting because with the J4 ulti, you're definitely going to have a lot of lockdown.
Ooh.
One thing that I'm confused about now is that we're seeing a Mundo, and we do already have the Darius pick, so I'm wondering if that's a Mundo jungle.
So I've actually, I was playing Clash this weekend, and it actually happened in a couple of games. Mundo is going to be locked in. They played Mundo mid, and Mundo right now is just so... It's going to be a Mundo jungle, I think. So EHUG... Gonna give us really something different. I can't say I haven't seen Mundo jungle since pre-rework, like a long time ago, like beginning of the season.
Me too.
He was strong, but that would be interesting.
And I do kind of find it funny that
it could be Darius jungle too.
Oh yeah, that is part of the meta, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
This
is going to be extremely interesting. The mid laner for St. Clair did choose LeBlanc this time, and then Bay State did choose Malzahar. Malzahar is going to be a little bit of a problem. Bay State has a really, really good comp.
Yeah, I think they have a really, really good team fight potential, especially early on. I think the Jace Jarvan combo is going to be very strong. But I think St. Clair has drafted something very interesting, and I'm
For sure.
wondering what these positions are going to be for these. Obviously, LeBlanc going to be in the mid lane, but it could be a Darius or a Mundo jungle. And I think Mundo right now is just such a strong champion that you can put him in the jungle or put him in the top lane. He's viable in both.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to look like it's a protect the Jinx and LeBlanc comp. You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, they definitely saw that he was able to put out as much damage as he could and was able to help out with the first game as, like, even though from being so behind. And I think that they're finally going to let him get the stage, the center stage.
Yeah, and I mean, looking forward to the fact that I think Serenok locked in Syndra as the last pick.
Yeah.
So they don't really have... Oh, Malzahar, sorry. So they don't really have a lot of backline access for the side of Bay State, right? So you have to shred through the front line, and you have a Mundo and Darius, so it isn't going to be easy to shred through that front line. And for St. Clair, you do have Barlow hitting for free on the back line on that Jinx is going to be massive.
For sure.
I think team fight wise, it is going to be very interesting to see how these comps play out. I think obviously St. Clair with a pretty decent front line there, but Bay State have the tools to be able to take advantage of it if they put it out correctly.
Yeah, that's the other thing. With a comp like that, you do have to play it extremely well, but we will be able to see it's a Mundo top and Darius jungle.
I like that. We haven't seen any Darius jungle from Meat Hug.
It's definitely going to be interesting.
It got grouped up there when they added a lot more champions to the jungle. They added Garen jungle, Zed jungle, a bunch of mages into the jungle, and Darius was one of the people that got a jungle buff as well, so it could be viable. And to be honest, I haven't really seen it almost anywhere, but I really like the fact that they're bringing it out now because it's such an unknown factor that Bay State gonna have a lot of question marks around it. Not really sure they're gonna know how to play it.
For sure. I never know how to play against it whenever I play personally because it's just like, oh, it's Darius jungle, so you don't expect it to do that well. And then he comes to your lane and you're like, what is going on?
He provides a lot that a jungler would want, right? Like you
have the hook,
so you have the CC availability. You have obviously a ton of damage early, and Clair is actually pretty decent, and he heals up so much from the camps that when he goes into a lane, it's not like he's going to lane at half HP like a lot of these other like odd junglers might. He's going to lane with full HP, and I mean we've seen him play the Gwen jungle, we've seen him play a lot of weird jungles, so I'm not too surprised by this, but you're pulling out in game 3 of the grand finals, that I am a little surprised about.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be an interesting game. Again, I feel like, as you stated earlier, as long as they play this comp right, it could definitely work out. But the one thing is that all of the CC that Bay State has, that is either purely for LeBlanc or it's purely for Jinx. Because there's no point to use it against a tank.
Yeah.
It's not going to do as much. Luckily, they do have their Rakan, though, who can charm the entire team, but he just has to hope that he gets it all off, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be really hard to get that backline. And the fact that you have Braum is actually huge, too, because a lot of what Xayah wants to do is pop that ult down and get it on multiple
For sure.
If Braum can shield that one up, that would be a difference maker in these fights. And it's going to be interesting to me. There's a lot to watch in this game because I think the fact that Fresh off the Lulu onto the Braum, a little bit of a different approach to the game, and the Darius jungle is just a big, fat question mark for me. It could be really good. Could be an exclamation mark, or it could be a period, and it could just fall flat. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one turns out.
I'm really curious to see how this one turns out because, yet again, I feel like St. Clair always likes the late game comps where as long as Bay State can hit their ult or level 6 really fast, they'll be able to control the game pretty damn well.
Yeah, I think so too. It really depends how Darius is in this early game, right? I think that is going to determine the agency of the champions from Bay State. And I mean, Jinx for Barlow, he's gotten it 3 games in a row, obviously very comfortable on it. Hasn't done too badly on it. We did see his one, unfortunately didn't get to see his actual snipe there on the last game, but I think that first game showed how good he was on it. So looking forward in game number 2, I think it's going to be interesting to see how he does on that pick, see how it plays into this team comp, because the one thing that he does have here is the range advantage.
Yeah, for sure. That's the one thing. Like, going even Ashe and Braum, I feel like that would have been a really good choice too, because they both slow. You can get your autos off really fast for that Braum passive and be able to get all that damage in that you need.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Fresh plays this Braum because he's been on Lulu. I think he's looked pretty good on Lulu in the games that they've played. I think that last one obviously was really just the Zoe finding picks across the map and it just speed run the game. But I think that first one we got to see a lot more of what St. Clair has to offer, and Fresh on that Lulu looked really good. So a change up here, but E-Hug, an unorthodox jungle. We've seen it before. It's been very successful for him. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work out because Darius jungle is definitely not something we see too often.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to be interesting because I'm wondering. I know that you said that his clears are decent, but for me, I don't know why it's so hard for me to wrap my head around. I just can't imagine it, but I guess I could because of his isn't it his Q where he swings around? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. And I mean, if you're looking over, obviously, I think the Jarvan will have faster wave clear, or faster jungle clear. Will be able to get ganks off more often, but it is really about the quality of your ganks that you're getting off as a Jarvan, right? Because you can have a little bit of, you can have a big impact in a game if you can get off a lot of good quality ganks, but if you're constantly going to lane stealing XP as a Jarvan, you really do fall off around the mid game mark. So if you're not able to push your team ahead early and get to a point where they can carry you for the rest of the game, and you're just building tank, then you kind of just become a useless partner. We've seen it multiple times in the last couple weeks of the season and even in playoffs where you have this Jarvan and he's very impactful early game, or he's kind of impactful early game. You get to the mid game, you get to the late game, he's EQing in and he really just has the ult and then he's dead. So it is essentially playing, you get your Cataclysm and that's all the effect you have on a late game team fight.
For sure. Definitely what I'm expecting is that Bay State's going to go extremely hard in on the on the team fights whenever they do go in. It's going to be the J4 ulti, and then it's going to be either Con W and his ulti as well, and who knows what Xayah's going to try and do in the middle of that.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure, and I really can't give a prediction on this one because I'd like to, but the fact that there's a Darius jungle in the game just gives me such huge question marks because I don't know whether it's going to be strong in the early game, whether you're going to get to the mid game and he hits his 2-item spike and he's going to be super strong, or what in the world's going on. So I love the fact that they're doing this in finals, though. It is something like you cannot prepare for this if you are the side of Bay State because there's no records of it anywhere. Nobody is playing it. It's not on any high tier lists. Like, it isn't something orthodox or normal that they're playing. But for St. Clair, if it's something they've practiced, something they've looked at, especially if Ehug hasn't practicing himself, it could be very effective, and it's something very unexpected that you're seeing from them.
For sure. It's definitely going to be an interesting game, to say the least. I feel like as much as our comp for St. Clair is going to be protect the Jinx, I feel like the Xayah also has a lot of protection herself. Even though, and they also have the damage from the Malzahar, and that's able to stop LeBlanc as long as he can get the right clone.
Yeah, for sure. It is going to be all about that pick, but we really have talked about Sephiroth's LeBlanc, and last time we saw it, it was really, really good. I think every time we've seen it's been pretty good. They did have an off game one, but other than that, like, he's been excellent on this LeBlanc, and I think he is going to have a little bit more of a struggle this game, finding some clear pick potential. I think the Xayah ult and the Malzahar ult are going to be very, very strong against him. He's not going to have an easy inroad to finding that, but I think if he can get towards that late game, if he can do what we saw the mid laner for Bay State doing in that first game, I think that is really going to be a difference maker, because if he's chunking out people like that, that is going to be huge. But here we go. Game number 3. Teams at 1 win apiece, looking to try and find an advantage, trying to bring this to match point in the NECC Grand Finals for League of Legends.
I am really excited for this last game because it's definitely going to be something different. We can see the Mundo trying to get in some small damage on the Jace here while they do know where each other are. Looks like the Mundo already got a hit.
Yeah, I did take a little bit of poke damage there, but his Mundo will heal it back up by the time minions come across. And
for sure,
surprisingly, this game, no try for an invade here for the side of Bay State. They're just going to go standard. Not going to go for anything too crazy, and I think it is the fact that you're on game 3 now. It isn't a lot of predictions in general. We're going to be Bay State 3-0ing the series, and St. Clair finding a way in that first game to take it out. Second game they did falter, but now it is really just a 3-game series, right? You have to win 2 out of the next 3, and this could be really, really sneaky here. They're going to walk into this bush. Jace is moving forward. He hasn't moved forward too far just yet, so I think he'll be okay, but I think they want to go for this Jarvan on the red buff.
I think so too. It looks like they're definitely going to try and go around. They know that the J4 is by himself. The Darius is going to go in with the slow. Mundo's going to hit the slow too, and J4 is going to have to flash over the wall and get his red buff stolen from him early.
They know that he's up here too, so the bot lane going to be sitting in that bush, but they know. So already a flash burn for the Jarvan early. Darius going to pick up some jungle for free here, and he's forced to go all the way to his blue buff. And I mean, that's really, really strong for St. Clair. The fact that you can walk in there, it's going to be a stun coming through. Flower Ball going to flash away from it. Ignite going to come down soon. Rain going to walk away here, but Ignite going to come down anyway. Will they find the skill? No, they're not going to walk in for it. Ricky fighting Bedge here early on as well. Q going to find him. Ricky full HP here. Bedge down very, very low. Going to go for the Q. Going to go for the auto first blood claim by Ricky. Again, Ricky finding his first blood in the top lane on this Mundo. Such a huge advantage here. And St. Clair winning all across the map to start this game off.
Ricky has almost gotten a first blood all 3 games. That's
Just
incredible.
what he does. Oh,
Here comes the Darius hunting for the J4.
Oh, goes for the flash, but doesn't land it. But Dragon Kim's still down pretty low. Flash gonna come through. Ehug gonna find that kill before he can EQ out. Root gonna come through, but Ehug's still pretty full HP, and with double buffs will survive. So St. Clair, so much activity here in the early game, finding picks all across the map, and this is exactly what I like to see. And I love this pick from Ehug. It is doing so well for them early on in this game. The fact that Jarvan's on 4 farm, he's already had a kill and taken 2 of his camps, now 3 of his camps. Like, this is just going to be such a struggle for this Jarvan.
And you can even see that he's even going to his Wolves right now to take a 4th one, I believe.
Yeah, and the fact that Jarvan has started on Krogus means it's going to take so much longer for him to even reach level 2.
He is level 2 right now. And
he is. Okay,
Ehug's already level 3, so who knows how long it's going to be. J4's going to try and walk into Ehug's jungle here and see if he can snag the blue buff while he's up there.
Yeah, it looks like it will be uncontested. Looks like trying to find answer here. Ball lane. Actually, W going to come down here on Fresh. Will be rooted up here. He's going to come through. Will Fresh survive this? Auto going to come through. No, he will find the kill. Stun going to come through anyway, but not going to be enough. So a kill early on here by the bot lane. Oh, it's going to be engaged here. Dragon Kim going to try and go for that, but Smite not going to come through. Level 3. They're going to go for the dive here. Maybe in bot lane. No, they're not. Dragon Kim still getting dragged back here. Ricky going to try and find the Q. Yes, he does. Gets the slow on Dragon Kim. Dragon Kim trying to walk away, but it's not going to be enough. Hook going to come through. Q going to find him. Ehug, another kill, and this jungle gap grows even larger.
I feel like Ehug picked the Darius purely just to be like, all right, I'm going to have fun this game because I know what I'm doing. So I can do this.
Well, I think it's a really good job because it shows you the study on base state, right? They know when they go for this Jarvan, they start in the top lane, and the fact that they're aware of that, they send Mundo and Darius to that answer back, goes to this bot lane, knows exactly what this Jarvan pattern is going to be. It's just 400 IQ in the jungle, and now the Jarvan at 0-2 with 8 farm to start off this game. You're so monumentally behind now, and Ricky literally just walking all over Bench here. Bench, not a lot of mana to fight back, and it's Ricky so much damage here early. Gonna get another auto down here. Q, not gonna find it. Will he land it? No, not gonna find that one. But yeah, gonna be collapsed on here in the jungle, level 2, and that's gonna be Sarnok trying to find this. Gonna dodge a Q out. Hook gonna come through. That's gonna be a shutdown for this Jarvan. Zephyr, no mana. They're gonna try and walk away from this one. Has the flash available here. EQ gonna land though. Zephyr gonna be forced to use his passive to try and walk out of this one. Still has flash. Patiently waiting for that one to come out here. Will survive this, so we'll be able to use a summoner, but a shutdown onto this Jarvan is massive.
Yeah, it looked like the Ricky tried to go in on the Jace top lane underneath the turret and ended up dying to him. So we ended up losing 2 people there instead of just the 1.
And the problem right now is Mundo's helped out so much with this jungler. Now he's only at 13 farm. Jace at 34 farm. Now that he got that solo kill, really far ahead in this top lane. Has that lethality built up already as well as the tier. So despite the fact that Ehug got ahead early game, it did cost a lot for Ricky here. And I mean, obviously Mundo can fight back pretty well. He can survive with a lot of sustain in lane, but a losing bot lane as well does mean it's going to be a little bit more rough here for St. Clair in the early game.
And it looks like they're just going to try and even things out. Jinx is trying to get some farm under turret. Zephyr here is going to try and go in with the Darius with Ehug. And 2 flashes were used. No one landed their CC.
Yeah, really good sidestep there by Sarnok. Able to dodge out of not only the root, but also the hook from the side of Darius coming in there. Root going to come down. That's so much damage on a Barlow. Ignite going to come down. Brain fighting that kill. Jurassic going to go in for the last hit, but he will cost him his life. Fresh going to find that kill back.
Nice.
Exhaust coming down. He will survive here. So in the end, it is a trade 1-for-1. Brain maybe wants to go for this kill. Doesn't have a jungler around him though, so won't opt to go for it under turret. And in the end, a 1-for-1 actually. Somehow bot lane fight saved there by the turret.
It definitely worked out in Jinx's favor though, knowing that the Jinx ended up getting the kill instead of the Braum. So that will give her a little bit more gold, and she's able to get Noon Quiver with that, while Zaya just has her pickaxe, longsword, and boots.
Fresh looking like he wants to try and stack those passive pieces up. Jinx will be back here in just a second, so if he can land this Q, get the stun off, could be free kill. Dive gonna come through in the top lane though. Both junglers gonna be here, as well as the mid laner. Saranoff knew this was coming. Ricky gonna be taken down here in just a second. Ult gonna come through, double kill for this Jace, and St. Clair with some good activity in the map, but Saranoff able to be there in time. And again, just in this game, the fact that Saranoff is roaming and countering exactly what St. Clair wants to do is huge, because you had such a big lead for this Darius, but now has died twice here. Ricky also dying twice in the top lane, and the early game advantage St. Clair build up is just erased.
For sure, and it looks like the Blanca's going to try and go in on the J4 here. Knowing that he just used this pull, she's going to go in and land both Qs and land the E and manage to get him with Electrocute.
That is a really good answer, and I mean, right now, I think the Jarvan's still pretty far behind jungle-wise, but rest of his lane's sort of catching up, actually.
I'm surprised that the LeBlanc didn't take the red buff real quick because it looked like she was going to be able to, but also I could tell that they might have ended up collapsing on her if she stayed any longer than she was supposed to.
And I think the thing is too is the dragon's up, right? So if LeBlanc takes that, if they go for the dragon on reset from the jungler, it could be bad. Brain gonna try and walk away here. Has 3 stacks. Stun gonna land. Zephyr gonna go in, but not gonna be able to land the chains here. Silence gonna come down here for just a second. Zephyr trying to walk away here. Will be able to escape, go back to the minions, but it does mean Xayah has an angle here to collapse, but they don't know Ehug is up in this jungle, taking the blue buff, so it will be a 3v3 here. Jarvan nowhere to be found. Do they want to fight it? No, they don't.
Looks like they're just going to try and get Scuttle to get some vision for the drag, while Ricky is trying his best to keep top lane in his spot.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, small advantage so far in the early game. Obviously, Ehug over Dragon here, but elsewhere, advantage obviously in the top lane. 15 CS, 2 kills for this Jarvan. Serenok, again, looking to go towards his top lane. Herald will be taken here by these 2 members. And St. Clair, knowing that this mid laner has probably gone top, might look towards this Dragon here, but looks like LeBlanc going to be roaming, trying to find an answer. Barlow, level 6, but Brain going to land the knock up here. No flash available, or flash is available actually for Jinx. We'll just use the heal. So we'll be caught in the root there, but Braum not quite here just yet.
Good damage output
here.
for the
This could be a 3v3. Rift Herald actually stolen by Ricky. He bounced
God.
and they get the kill as well. Bench going to be hooked up here. That is a complete turnaround for St. Clair in this game. Trying to go down, shut down. Going to be found by Ehug there, and just like that, the game turns completely on its head. St. Clair steal that Herald and find 2 kills, and I have no clue how he took that.
I have no idea either. I didn't even see what it was. I think it might have been a Q.
He did fly. He has flashed down, so he flashed for it. But I have no clue how he did it there. That's incredible play, and that is the heroics you want to see from Ricky, because right now he has just been struggling in this top lane. He found that early advantage for Ehug, but himself individually has just not been having the greatest game so far. And the fact that he steals that one, gets a kill for his jungler and for his mid laner. Now 201 with a 15 CS lead for this LeBlanc. It's looking scary.
For sure. And now that the Mundo has Rift Herald, he's able to push that turret down and is able to hopefully roam or either just stay top. And I feel like, honestly, in this situation, it might be best to take the turret early and try and roam back down to bot in order for the drag.
Yeah, reset will be faster here for the side of Bay State, so they are going to be looking towards that dragon when St. Clair is aware. They're going to try and bait this one out in the bush. When the Serenok's ult available here, they can definitely catch the first person who walks in here. It will be Zephyr. Will he be smart to this collapse? Yes, he will. He's going to back off here. Doesn't want to walk up Ehug. Oh, he's in a dangerous spot, though. Doesn't know Dragon's here. Charm going to come through. EQ going to knock up as well. Suppress going to come down onto Ehug. Darius still living here. Doesn't get the Q off. No healing, though. It does mean 2 kills. Going to go over to Bay State. Stun going to come through for Barlow, doing a lot of damage to Jarvan, actually. Ricky going to be here with the TP as well. Going to try and find this Jarvan. Jarvan barely living. No, the Q going to find him, actually. Barlow going to get the jungler. They're going to try and chase this one, though. Going to have to be careful. Jurassic going to be here. Exhaust going to come down. Barlow going to dodge out of the W, but he has 2 people on him. Barlow going to go down here in just a second. Brain somehow barely living. Bedge going to find a kill as well. Zephyr going to go in, going to find a kill. Will he pick the right one? Yes, he will. Trying to get an advantage there. Ricky still somehow alive. All going to come through, but not going to catch anything with it. Jurassic not going to be able to find it. Ricky going to find the cube, but Bedge going to be here. Ricky going to have to be careful. Knockup not going to come through. Ricky going to go down here. Bedge going to find that kill. So in the end, it is a 3-for-2 for Bay State, but they do deny the dragon for the moment.
LeBlanc didn't end up surviving, which is a good thing because now he does have a bounty on his head. And it looks like it looks like Bay State might be heading back down for the drag because they know that the mid laner is still low. But the thing is, she still has that one-shot potential where she can get in and out in an instant. So it's going to be very interesting.
Ooh, Yuck actually going to smite away this Scuttle. We'll claim that one up. There's going to be a lot of people here, though. Some damage going down here onto Malzahar, but he will walk away. Chain's going to land, actually, but LeBlanc playing with fire. Zephyr out very low and has no TP up just yet, so looks like they will try and force out this dragon. They realize that Zephyr is very low and has to back for a reset here, so they will end up giving up this dragon in the end, but it is pretty late. 11 minutes and 45 seconds on that first dragon, so Soul going to be not there for quite some time.
For sure. The Rakan's going to use Flash and use his W and ulti and try and charm the Jinx. Braum is able to hold off the Xayah from all of her feathers, so she's not able to have any kind of damage on the Jinx and has to use this Flash to get out.
Yeah, I think that Flash was a little bit too late. I think if the root would have come through, definitely would have been able to Flash run out, and no CC available, so I think you would have been on the look at that. I mean, a preemptive Flash, obviously, game's still very, very close. 300 gold difference between these two teams, and I mean, intense, crazy series so far, and Very explosive early game. 12 minutes in, we have 19 kills.
It's
all
kind
gonna
of
find
insane.
Xayah though. That is massive. Jurassic gonna be stunned up here. 2 stacks, 3 stacks procced, but no stun gonna come through. Oh, the E is so big. Eug gonna be here for an answer, trying to find Jurassic here. Dunk available in just a second. You will get that one. Reset there in top lane. Bedge gonna stop Ricky's TP as well. Gonna go for a fight here. Bedge not quite winning this one. Healing, no. The auto gonna find him there. And it will be a trade across the map in the end. 3 for 2 again for Bay State.
This is getting this is becoming an extremely bloody game of League of Legends.
Oh, Dragon Kim has the EQ available here. We'll get Zephrot actually somehow with it. We'll get the knock-up. Gonna go for the R as well. Zephrot proccing the clone there. Ia gonna be here available. The spell shield gonna go down here. Serenok gonna be taken down in just a second. Zephrot not gonna get traded out either. So really, really good job there. Zephrot able to survive and able to get out with a kill onto the mid laner.
For sure. This game is actually looking really clean for the mid laner Zephrot today. He's 4-0 up at up about like 5 CS. And it's looking pretty good for him. It looks like him and Darius are gonna be the main carries of the game. As Jinx is the weird thing about Jinx is that has the Braum and it's really good, but we see the Rakan going in with the ulti here and the W, but isn't able to get any kind of damage off. Zai's going to try and E and stop the Braum from moving in. Jinx is going to stun her and be able to save both of them and walk away for free.
And that's the power play of the fact that you are up an item, right? You see this, Xayah already has this Kraken built, whereas Jinx still hasn't gone for that reset, hasn't been able to pick up that item just yet. So try to make a practice play. Really good job by Fresh there, just literally walking 2 feet away from the Xayah, throwing up the shield, not allowing any autos to come through there. But bot lane just doing so much damage right now for the side of Bay State. Serenok going to be chipped down quite low here, down to half HP by the LeBlanc, and right now, so much damage for Zephrot.
The one thing that I am worried about is that if the LeBlanc keeps roaming, the Malzahar is just going to completely farm, and he wouldn't go anywhere else, because I've had those games where, oh, there is a dive going on. We're going to see the Jace going in the Darius. The Mundo is taking the turret and was able to get the shutdown on Jace after he flashes out a turret and lives.
That's the important thing. He does live there, and it does mean they will both be able to push this turret because of the healing that Ricky has with that passive. So they are going to get the kill. TP not available yet for Jace, so it does mean most likely a free turret here in top lane for this Mundo. Actually, there's not too much damage on it, so Mundo will opt to back here. And looks like because the turret went down in bot lane in the meanwhile, they will lane swap, and bot will go to top and try and take this upper turret for Bay State as well.
Yeah, I wonder where they're going to use the Rift this time. It did look like they used the Rift top, I'm assuming. I didn't catch where it was dropped.
Exactly. I think it was bot lane actually most likely would have been able to take the turret there, but
looks like they're going to try and collapse on the Braum and Mundo here with the LeBlanc and Malzahar walking up at the same time. Rakan goes in and charms both of them as the Malzahar finally gets to them, is able to get some damage in and ults the LeBlanc, which ends up getting killed by Jace.
Yeah, that is a kill there over, and that is the power of the R and a strong Jace. Jurassic going to find Fresh as well. 2 kills over. They did get Herald, but at what cost? The shutdown going over as well is so big. This Jace 7-3-1 started off by dying twice, but ends up turning this game completely around and is now 7-3-1. We'll have a second item when he backs here, but Dragon King caught out. EQ going to come through. Brainy in a bad spot, but does have W and E, so we'll be able to get over this wall if he needs to. And Serenok and Bedge just shoving out this mid lane. There's nothing that St. Clair can do to stop it. They will claim it, so all 3 outers down now for St. Clair.
It's definitely going to be a hard game to come back from. They did really well in the beginning, and then just that dive top really put them in a bad spot, especially him, Iha getting caught at the Raptors pit on red top side.
Yeah, and I mean, despite the fact that there is no kills over his Malzahar, he's at 8 assists. He's been everywhere around the map, been helping out his jungler, helping out his top laner, even helping out the bot lane once. So the fact that he's able to be available all over is so good, and that is the power of Malzahar, right? You have this incredible wave clear, and into a LeBlanc especially, it's so hard to actually counter what you want to do, because you can't really roam if your wave is getting constantly shoved in. It makes it so difficult. And Herald will be popped here in the mid lane, will get a charge off, but no plates available anymore, so won't do anything more than just shove down the turret. That's so much damage! Zephrot finds a kill on Xayah instantly. Dragon going to be hooked up as well. It's 2 stacks on him, but still will not come down, but that's going to be a lot of damage out of Bedge here. Looking for a collapse from the Rakan as well, but Fresh going to have to walk away. Ricky going to pop the ults here. Barlow's so low. Ricky, or Support going to find 3. A beautiful knock up there. Going to find 3 more. Dragon going to get the Gore Drinker kill. Eug somehow still alive in this fight. Sephiroth too. They will find a kill. Trying to turn this one around, but so many low HP bars. They're trying to turn this one around, but Can they contest this dragon? Brainy still the only one at relatively full HP here. Sephiroth about 3/4, but everyone else is low. Sephiroth going for the pick, but Malzahar with the ult still available. Gonna be able to find the kill. Mundo trying to walk away here, but can they escape this? Yug, so much damage on a Brainy though. Brainy low, everyone is low. Double kill, triple kill for Bench here. Quadra kill for Bench, finds everyone in that fight, and they will claim the dragon as well. This top laner, 11-3, has made such a huge difference for Bay State in this series, and is making a huge statement here in game number 3.
This Jace definitely knows what he's doing, and it kind of sucks that they were so low and weren't able to help out the LeBlanc go in. I saw the Malzahar use his ulti previously, so I will honestly give props to Sephiroth for trying his best to get the kill on Jace in order to get some of the major people out to try and get that drag.
It was such a close fight, but I think the real difference maker there was the fact that they found that kill with a really, really good initiation by Brainy, right? Like, he found a 3-man charm and then 2-man knockup. They were able to take out Barlow really, really early on. And him going down in that fight is so big because if he's available, if he has rockets, he takes out 2 or 3 members there and he's able to clean up that fight completely. But the fact that they got that pick, despite, like, I mean, it cost them their jungler, right? Like, you couldn't secure the dragon anymore because you went for that pick, but they ended up winning the fight anyway. They got the dragon in the end, and now at 11-3-2, Jace is going to be such a huge problem for St. Clair because he's just so ahead of the curve right now.
Yes, let's look at the overall scores again. So we have 15 kills to 20 kills, and St. Clair is down 4k gold, but just wait a second because it looks like the Jace is going to try and go in on the LeBlanc, but the LeBlanc juked him out. Rakan's following up slowly behind and is able to use the W twice in order to get away.
They're still going to chase though, but in the end, Sephiroth able to escape there, and I mean, even just that Q, without even a gate, was half of Sephiroth's HP bar. That is so difficult to deal with if you're the side of St. Clair, right? Like, the fact that LeBlanc is supposed to be your poke and Jace is out poking her is just hard to deal with. And all turrets still alive here for the side of Bay State. All their outers, so they can just keep constantly pushing out. And when you have a Jace, when you have a Malzahar, like, there's just no answer for this wave clear from the side of St. Clair. So still, as long as the outers are going to be up, I think the advantage in the macro game is still going to be heavily in St. Clair's favor. Or, sorry, in Bay State's favor.
Looks like they did end up getting mid turret, and because we have Ehug and Ricky top lane, they aren't able to defend. Braum is walking up to try and tank all the damage he could, I'm assuming, as Jinx is trying to farm from very far back. There's not much we can do here in order to stop them, as they do end up getting the second outer turret bot.
Yeah, it looks like they are looking towards this Baron here, and the game, the Gold State right now about 6k difference, so it is pretty decently big, but a lot of that is going to be on this Jace. So if you can find a kill on this Jace, I think St. Clair definitely can win this fight, but he is going to be an instrumental part of how this game plays out because he is 11 and he has all the power in the early game right now, and he's going to be the difference maker. When this man immune gets upgraded, it is going to be a crazy power spike, crazy item spike for him, and he's really going to dictate these fights.
For sure. I feel like I kind of jinxed it by saying, like, Jace is a weird pick. He's not going to do damage.
He's arcane buffed. He's not
Look
a weird
what happened
pick. He's
now.
so strong. Ehug coming through the Chem Fog, though. Going to find one, but there's 3 people on the other side of this fight. Ehug, he's going to be charmed up here. Will be rooted here in just a second. Yeah, he will be taking... Oh, he's going to live, actually. Sterix can come through. Going to keep him alive here. We'll have his team coming through. They're going to find that kill, turn this fight around. He will be taken out in the end, but it will be at the cost of 2 members from the side of Bay State. Somehow, he lived there, and his teammates all came to his aid, able to help him out. It does cost him his life, but it did cost him 2. So St. Clair looks like they might want to fight this. It is 4v3, but we talked about Bedge is so strong right now. 3 items. Shireldi is completed on Bedge. He is a menace here. And if they want to fight, they have to take him out early because he's going to be doing so much in this fight. Looks like Collapse will come through. Jurassic going to come in, but that's going to be an ult down. Already Sephiroth being pushed down to 0 HP. Jurassic going to be found as well. They will try and go on a Serenok here. Burned down. Fresh going to try and find the Q. Doesn't land it. Serenok trying to escape here. Gale Force going to be found. Will flash out here. Fresh trying to walk forward to find Serenok, but Serenok able to walk away. Q going to land, but not going to be enough damage here. They will find the kill in the end. So Serenok somehow surviving that one. Able to escape, and 3 more kills picked up for Bay State. I mean, that was such a... Oh, and Mundo's going to walk in there. Going to find the kill. Yug wants to go for this fight, but he doesn't realize this Jace is so powerful. Yug going to go for the Q. Q going to land, actually. Yug could go for the dunk, but he's going to flash out. Doesn't have it available, and that will mean he will go down. Ace coming through. Bedge still alive, and that means they will go for this Baron. And St. Clair tried. They did have a 43 advantage in this fight, but just brilliantly played by Serenok there, just on the very edge of his range, able to win that one out.
this one is definitely going to be a hard game to come back by. I wish that Jinx would have just followed the Bramble a little bit more because he did end up landing his Q, so if the Jinx just W'd right after, that would have been a free kill and a very small shutdown too. But either way, it would have been extra gold regardless.
Yeah, and it is very difficult though because the Malzahar minions just keep appearing, so if the W was hit by any of those, it would have meant it goes over. But a Baron now for the side of Bay State. They do pick up that objective, and objective bounties now available for St. Clair as well to try and pick up, because 8k gold behind, I mean, like I said, a lot of it is going to be on this Jace. 15, 3, and 4, going to be at almost 4 items here, and I mean, St. Clair and Mundo just picked up a second one, does get the Ananthias. I can never remember how to say that item name. But the chains are here, and I'm expecting those to be on. Oh, look at St. Clair actually going to take this dragon, so they will be able to take it. Can they escape out of this one? That is going to be the question. No, not going to let him run. Shirelias will be popped here. They will try and chase this one. Zephyr going to dodge away from that one. Ricky trying to stay alive here, but I think they will sacrifice this top laner for it. Ricky going to try and survive, going to try and walk away for as long as possible. He's still living here somehow. I don't know how. Just keep walking along. He's taking a phone call, but that is going to be it. Jurassic going to take out Ricky in the end. They do get the dragon, but it does cost them their top lane. With the Baron available, is they can keep pushing this one, maybe even look for an inhibitor.
This game has definitely taken the turn for the worst. As I said, this Bay State's team was so well put together. They basically channeled all of their ultis together, just like what I was saying earlier. And I am for St. Clair. I want them to win, but like you could see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, for sure. Gold lead widens to 9k between these teams. Now Zephyr going to get quite a beat disadvantage, and he's going to get shut down. That is a massive shutdown onto this Jace. Engaging come through in the bot lane. Fresh trying to get on top of them. They're going to be at a player advantage for the moment here. A lot of damage coming through, but Jurassic doing so much in this fight here. Serenok going to be knocked down. Fresh going to fall down as well. Barlow trying to escape Jurassic here. Jurassic going to pop the ult here, but on the backside, Ricky trying to find the last kill. Triple kill coming through for the Xayah. A fourth going to come through, and that is going to be the last fight of the game. Zephyr going to be able to escape, but they tried to start a fight after a nice pick, but it didn't matter. Xayah is so fed right now. Hit that 2-item spike and just popped off. That is going to be the end of game number 2. A good attempt there by St. Clair. Shutdown going to come through actually here, but Zephyr going to be taken out here. Yeah, there will be an ace coming through, and that is going to be the end of the game here, I believe, if they can get these minions in. I don't know, actually. There's a couple members coming back for St. Clair, so I don't think it's over, actually. They will be forced off of this Nexus, so they don't end up getting this win just yet. Yeah, going to be walking forward here in just a second. Not going to be able to find the kill, though. They will be able to walk out. Jinx Rock are not going to make contact. Brainy just barely living here. They will try and chase him out, but it'll be tough for them to find it. TP going to come through for Jace as well, trying to find that top lane turret. And, I mean, yes, they didn't end up getting that Nexus, but being ahead of 11k gold at this point, I still think it's going to be really, really hard for St. Clair to come back.
It's definitely going to be a challenge for them, especially that they have an open Nexus now. And with the Jace and Malzahar having TP, they can backdoor anytime they want, really.
Yeah, for sure. Some poke coming down here in the top lane, but Jace still so fed. Flash ulti going to come through, and Zephyr going to go down here in just 1 second. They will try and fight back here. Serenok, no spell shield available, so it will be stunned up here in just a second. They're going to find that knockdown. That will be a kill. A shutdown coming through for Jinx, actually. That is massive. They can try and chase out this Jace. Jace, very low HP. Will be hitting some minions here, but they will end up electing back off. And the problem is you have minions on your Nexus right now. You have to respect the fact that Xayah can walk in and just 2-hit your Nexus.
This is definitely not the way that I expected this game to go. And the Rakan goes in on here, tries to do some damage to the Mundo, but isn't able to. Xayah just going to focus on the inhib. And it looks like they're just going to try and get the top one down so that then they can have all the super minions they possibly could to just close out this game. 3 inhibs are going to be down here in just a second. This has to be their last ditch effort. This has to be the last fight. There isn't a mid laner here, so they do have a player advantage, but 3 inhibs now down. They have to force this one out, because if they push on it, they are going to force it out. Brainy going to go into the back line here. Will be a stopwatch step. Jurassic going to find Fresh early on, but they will get an answer back, actually. Triple kill for the Xayah really early on, though. They will find an answer back. Brainy going to dodge out of the queue, though. Shutdown coming through again, but Brainy going to be knocked up here. Dragon King doing a lot of damage to Zephyr here. Zephyr trying to escape. Not going to get the kill on Jurassic. No, not going to find it. That's going to be just the Jinx live. Flash going to come through. Shutdown going to be found for Barlow, though. Still a decent amount of damage, but can he survive against 3 people and an open Nexus? No, I don't think he will. Auto's going to come through, but he will be knocked up here, will be ignited, and will be taken down. The last hope of St. Clair is taken down, and that is going to be game 2 going to Bay State. A very, very bloodthirsty one at that. 60 kills in 27 minutes, but in the end, Bay State reigns supreme, and they go on
to match point.
This is definitely going to be an interesting match point.
Yeah.
Again, I was kind of expecting all the alts to be synced together, but I wasn't expecting it to go that south. They were doing so well at the start.
Yeah, I think they were doing so well at the start, but at that point, basically, I kind of figured out what they were trying to do, and Ehug got caught out on that invade on the third one he did. And I mean, again, it's just Ricky going into these fights and constantly losing, right? Like he goes for these crazy 1v1s, and yes, it is very feast or famine with Ricky. If he wins it, he pops off, he carries the game. But like we see in this game, he lost it, and really that was the difference maker in this game, was the fact that this Jace was so fed out of the top lane.
For sure.
Once he started roaming, like he was doing so much damage, and no matter what Zephyros or Barlow could throw at them, it didn't matter, because Bedge could match it and do way more than they could. And Ricky is just a giant meatball in these fights. He isn't really doing a lot of damage. So unfortunately, a really good active early game, and I think the Darius pick was actually pretty good for St. Clair. I think it looked well, but again, it was just Bedge getting ahead on this Jace that made the difference.
I definitely agree. I respect Ehug for all the effort that he put into that, but it was definitely that he didn't space it out, like space the time when he was trying to invade at the right points throughout the game, because I feel like if he did space them out good enough, they would look to see if he's there, but then they'd be like, oh, he's not, so he's not going to do it anymore, and then he can go back in.
Yeah, I think too, a pair of triple kills in that fight, especially in the bot lane fight when Baron was up, like Zephyros able to take out Bedge on the other side, getting a solo kill on him was huge. They were fighting a 4v5, but somehow he was able to thread the needle there, able to get that final kill on Jinx, pick up the triple. And I mean, both times in those last two major team fights, somehow the ADC, the Xayah, was able to find a triple kill, and the Jurassic just was the difference maker in those late game fights.
It's definitely a sad way that the game went, because they tried their best. They even they had a really good comp. I still like their team that St. Clair did, but
yeah, that is going to be it though. Game number 2, going to Bay State. They go to match point here in the grand finals. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game number 4 in just a moment.
Has this ever happened to you? You tune in to watch Saints Gaming compete at your favorite title, but you end up missing it. Scrolling through Twitter to find results is just such a chore, and it looks like there's no easy way to find out everything you've missed. Luckily, there's a solution. Hi, Millie Bays here, and I'd like to introduce you to St. Clair's Bird's Eye View, the #1 show to keep up with everything about Saints Gaming. Get weekly recaps, see great highlights, hear exclusive interviews with players and staff, and so much more. That's Bird's Eye View, available in podcast or video form at a website near you.
All right, welcome back everybody to game number 4 of the NECC League of Legends Grand Finals. Bay State up a game, 2-1, and we're going to have a new caster here. So we're going to have the man behind the production, usually always going to be observing and directing, but he is going to be casting today. It's going to be Dan. Danners, and how you doing today, Danners? Obviously, you've been here watching this series, how it's gone down. What do you think of it so far, and what are you expecting to see in Game 4?
I mean, holy smokes, we've had ourselves a good handful of ups and downs so far, haven't we? Whether they be like the most extremely close game that I've seen in a long time there with game number 1, and then the volatility of how fast things can swing in game 2 and 3. Bay State definitely coming out swinging, showing us why they are just the straight up esport terrors across basically any esport title they ever touch. And it's just absolutely crazy to see how they've been able to pull things off there. And it's very different seeing, like, I know the chat for the longest time was joking around about top diff and whatnot, but Ricky is getting challenged. The Saints are feeling it, and game 1 they were able to turn it around really, really, really well. But now it seems like Bay State's got their number.
Yeah, for sure. It's really just been this top having such a big difference in that game number 3, and I mean, I definitely think St. Clair has had their opportunities in the last 2 games to turn it around, but a totally different ban phase here. So I mean, we are going to get a few of the same bans. Obviously, we are going to have Yone and Tarek for Bay State, but they are going to opt to ban the Jinx instead of the Victor, which has been perma-banned on red side throughout the whole time. So St. Clair are going to pick that one up with their first choice, as well as the Kindred and the Lulu.
Yeah, you're mentioning it a little bit earlier that Victor is just right now one of the like go-to mid laners. And interestingly enough, we've seen this kind of hovered around in past drafts, but not locked in. But yet this is going to be like the 3rd different mid laner that we're going to see out of Bay State. We're going to see the Xerath come on through, the full artillery coming out between the Caitlyn and the Xerath. We've got some long-range poking game ready for this one.
Oh, yeah, big time. And we saw the Xerath banned out in second ban phase the last 2 games. I think Bay State, their mid laner is very, very good on Xerath. He has played it excellently throughout the season, and looking into this finals, very good comfort pick for him. But now we're looking at bans in second phase, and I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing an Ashe ban here, because St. Clair has been playing it so much, the Ashe Lulu in the semifinals specifically, but it is going to be the Kog'Maw banned away, and Kog'Maw Lulu with that lethal tempo is just as strong as Ashe Lulu, if not stronger. So a good choice there, and they will be locking their support here sometime soon. If they pick this Lux, that's going to be a lot of laning phase power.
That would have been so much poke, but at the same time, how are you actually going to engage when you need to? And it's why we probably do see this Nautilus being hovered over here. And like the team comp on the side of Bay State definitely does make sense as of this moment. I look over to St. Clair's, I see a lot of comfort picks and like one power pick basically with the Victor. And now it's going to be all determining here onto what Saints want to close off with. Like you're saying, Ashe still available. The Jinx was banned out. I don't mind Bay State banning out the Kog'Maw as well, considering the play style of Saints has been a lot of protect the ADC. And who better to like try and protect other than like a Vayne or something maybe, like a hyper carrying Kog'Maw. So fair enough taking that off the board as well. And we'll have to see again. Is this going to be a top or a mid lane Lulu?
That is not something we see very often here. Looks like it. No, I think it's going to be a bot lane Leona Lulu or Vic. No, actually, no. It's going to be a Victor bot and a Lulu mid. I have seen Victor bot a couple of times, so that is definitely a possibility here. And I mean, it's just the power of Victor is so strong in the meta right now. Aatrox looks like it would be locked in here for Ricky in the top lane, but I love seeing this out of St. Clair. It's so much variety and so much unexpected stuff. And that means, yeah, so it is going to be Aatrox locked in. So most likely we are going to see a Victor bot and a Lulu mid. So Zephrot, another new champion that he's pulling out of his wheelhouse. He's been locked and ready for this finals for ages.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned a little bit earlier how it just seems like whatever kind of mage he needs is some sort of assassin that they need. Like, Zephrot is right there to have it. The Syndra game was definitely a little bit on the rougher side, to say the least, but did kind of bring it back there with the LeBlanc game. But unfortunately, the Malzahar pick from the side of Bay State was just too good, just catching the LeBlanc every single time they dove in, and it was absolutely brutal. Nonetheless, there really stopped Zephrot because he was able to kind of get something started, and then it got shut down. So unfortunately, could not like snowball it the way they would have wanted to initially, but very strange. I mean, I guess if this is a game 4 opportunity where like the match point is on the line, if you're gonna throw a Hail Mary, better now than ever.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's really good to have something unexpected too, right? Because like the Lulu, I think, can actually deal with the Xerath pretty decently well because she has a lot of those shields. So his poke isn't going to be nearly as effective. But I think the problem that St. Clair is going to have is there's some really extremely long range from the side of Bay State. You have the Caitlyn, you have the Xerath. Whereas if you look at St. Clair, they don't really have a ton of that long range engage. Even the Jace, so much long range poke that you're going to have. And you can't really deal with it if you're the side of St. Clair. So you kind of have to wait until you get to that mid game till that Victor is going to be strong. And it is going to be very, very interesting to see how this game goes because the fact that you're playing Lulu mid and Victor bot is going to make things very interesting.
Yeah, and then of course up in the top lane again, like what's going to happen up there with Ricky? He's going to be able to get like poked down again up against the Jace. I made the joke in the like production side of things, like okay, Bay State is winning this one. I'm biased again, or biased with having Jaces on the team. So sure enough, as soon as I said that, all of a sudden he's like 11-3, and it's like, wait, what? I need to get off this trade real quick. I have to put my biases aside here, but. Yeah, Saints need something now more than ever. I'm really worried about that top lane matchup. Like we've seen Ricky be able to handle getting poked out in lane and be able to come back swinging later on, but is it up against maybe a player as strong as the side of Bay State right now? Like I don't know if he's necessarily had that challenge in a while, and it's hard to tell.
I think if there was any good champion that he would be on that would be comfortable, it would be Aatrox, though. Aatrox has been one of his staple picks throughout the season, has been banned many, many, many times against him, so it is something he's very comfortable on. So I think he'll feel better about this pick than he maybe did a Mundo because he hasn't played any Mundo all season.
That was weird to me, yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely Aatrox is going to be a lot more where he's comfortable on, and I really am going to be interested in this ball lane because Barlow is not necessarily someone we see changing up a lot. We saw 3 games of Jinx in a row, so the fact that I got banned away for this game makes it all the more interesting because he's not even going with the standard ADC. He's going to be playing Victor, but the more that I think about this Victor Leona, the more I like it, right? Because like Victor lacks a lot of hard CC. He has a lot of damage, especially with his E and his ultimate especially. And the fact that Leona can drop down her stun in an area, which means Victor can drop his stun as well. You have a lot of lockdown for this Victor to be able to actually let him get all his combos down. So I think it can work out really well, but I think it is going to struggle a lot in the early game, and that's where Bay State going to have to try and take an advantage on it because, I mean, Victor and bot lane, not something you see every day.
And that's what I'm really worried about here for the side of St. Clair, because the bot lane here from the side of Bay State for Jurassic and Brain, they have so much range that they don't have to do anything. They're not stupid. They're going to just be sitting back, maximizing that range on the Caitlyn, and just try to farm up as best as possible, maybe get a couple pot shots here and there. But yeah, just stay out of the range of the Leona Lance, and you basically win lane, I feel. So, like, don't get aggressive. You're probably going to expect that E-Hug here on this Kindred is going to want to maybe make a trip or something down to the bot lane. And, like, Dragon has been so far, like, rather solid with these counter ganks in this series, from what I've seen. And just another read like that, all of a sudden, turns into an overextension for St. Clair in the bot lane, and that could easily, like, swing bot into a bad position. And we've seen Jurassic and Serenok in this series just go absolutely nuts, as well as basically everybody, to be honest. So, Bay State ready to rock.
I think the problem is with Bay State's comp is they don't have any late game threat. The Lee Sin and the Jace and the Caitlyn are all going to fall off pretty hard after this mid game. So I think if St. Clair can kind of mitigate a lot of what Bay State want to do in this early to mid game, I think they have a chance to win this one. But the last 2 games have just been completely Bay State. They're done in less than 30 minutes. They're winning this early game really hard. They're turning it into that early mid-game advantage, and they're just rolling objective after objective, team fight after team fight, and not really giving St. Clair a chance to breathe at any point. So I think St. Clair needs to just realize, okay, we won our first game because, yes, the early game was okay, but it wasn't a snowball. We got to that late game, and that's where they really showed up. So I think St. Clair needs to get to that same mindset, say, okay, we just need to make it to late game, get our Kindred to late game, get our Victor to late game when they're going to be doing a ton of damage, and that's where we can strike, and we can strike hard. But Bay State, these early games have just looked so good for them, even when they're behind. Like we saw in that last game, the Jarvan was at 8 farm and 0-2 at, what was it, like 4 minutes into the game? Like he was having a horrible early game, but they turned it around. Bedge just turned it up on the Jace, and it made such a huge difference because that's how they came back in that game. That's how they won it. So looking at this one, Bedge back on the Jace is a scary thought, but I feel a lot better that now that Aatrox is kind of that pick, the comfort pick for Ricky.
One thing that kind of terrifies me, though, one person I do not envy in this position right now for Saints is Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
He is
Yeah.
the only way his team's engaging.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely brutal, especially since you have to go through a Nautilus and you're going through a ton of poke. When do you pull the trigger? And when do you just like dive in and try to get onto somebody? Because your team requires you to go in. Ehug, for the longest time, whether it was the Vi in game number 1 or like the Viego, he was one of the guys leading the charge. You're not leading the charge as Kindred.
No.
And that is a massive difference there. Aatrox, sure, you're a bit of a bruiser, but you're kind of like the follow-up into the engage. You're not usually the first one into the fight in most situations. So there is so much pressure right now on Regan, on Fresh, to actually like pull this one off. I definitely do not envy his position in the slightest.
Yeah, and I think for me, like walking back, looking at all of those videos that I made for the highlights, I was watching the preseason games, and actually the very first preseason game was against Bay State. Ehug played Kindred and just got absolutely smoked on the pick. It wasn't even close, so he just got completely out-jungled. And I think this is a revenge train for him, because this is going to be your one game. Well, I mean, technically, if they do win this one, it will be another game. But I mean, they are on match point. Their backs are against the wall. This is where you need to show up. This is where you need to shine. And this is your one trick, right? We have, we've seen his Kindred do amazing things, but this is where he's going to have to really step up and be a difference maker. Because if they get to that late game, him, I mean, as well as, you know, the Victor, but him, a lot of it is going to be on him to try and get ahead, try and win these fights in the late game, and bring them to a game 5.
And it just worries me too, like going back down towards bot lane, but this time going towards Barlow, because we've seen time and time again, a lot of times with a lot of our opponents during the season, just because something is in the meta as a power pick does not necessarily mean you just instantly pick this and just hope for the best. We've not really seen Barlow as a bot lane mage player.
Yeah.
Like when Ziggs bot lane was a thing, we maybe saw it once and it was like, eh.
Yeah.
Maybe we saw like Swain like last year back when that was a thing, like maybe once or something like that, but it's not been something that he's been pulled off. Granted, the meta's not necessarily kind of aligned itself towards it so much, except for that Ziggs instance, but like how's his playstyle going to react to this? How much have they practiced this? Is this something, because I know both these players do like dual queue and whatnot together. Has this been something that they've been working on in the past? I'm not 100% sure, but this is a big stylistic change.
But I think for me, the fact that like I didn't think Zephyros was a Vex player. I didn't think Zephyros was a Lulu player.
Which is fair. Yeah.
So there's these things that St. Clair is pulling out, and you know, we talked about before how good Bay State is, right? Like they are the only team that St. Clair lost to, and every esport they're good in, and especially in league they're just dominant. And St. Clair needed to have that kind of unknown element to try and find wins against Bay State, and they found it in game number 1. And I think the stuff that they have shown has been pretty good. The Vex was good. I think the Darius was a pretty good pick. I think it was effective when it was used properly, and I think this is really going to be the difference maker, because if they can win this game with a Victor bot and a Lulu mid, your draft is going to be all. I think if this goes to game 5, the draft is going to be all over the place.
It's going to be really, really ridiculous, and especially too because like there's a lot of these bans being thrown around as we do get ready to finally hop into game number 4. But a lot of these plays for like these moments, these game-deciding plays, at least in my opinion, like it wasn't anything to do with the draft. It was a lot to do with like a lot of miscommunication. We did see the one instance there in game number 3 where 3 of the Saints were fighting in River. They had like they picked off one person. They were winning that fight, but they had 3 people down to like 2 HP. And they opted to dive in again, and they just fed 4 kills over to the side of Bay State for basically nothing. So we got to hope that they've got an opportunity to regain and get their communications in check, because they are going to need it here for game 3.
This is it. 2-1. Bay State has the lead in this series. They are on match point here in the grand finals, but St. Clair trying to find an answer back here. A little bit of an unorthodox team comp, the Lulu mid and the Victor bot, but Victor, one of the strongest champions in the meta right now, can definitely see what Barlow has got to show us, and it's time for him to step up here, because I think he's had some decent games on the Jinx, but I don't think he's had that kind of pop-off game that we were expecting of him here in the finals like he had in the semis. So I think this is really going to be his time to step up. All of St. Clair's time to step up as we get started here in game number 4.
One thing I do like is, even though the Saints may feel like they're in the pressure cooker of sorts, they're not going for any sort of early shenanigans in the jungle. Just keep it standard, let's try to jump start this Kindred as fast as possible here for E-Hug and try to just honestly play this first level as easily as possible and hopefully for the side of the bot lane find themselves level 2 pretty quickly.
Yeah, that is going to be the big difference maker here, because if Brain can find level 2 and gets a good hook, like this one here, he's going to find the Leona. Fresh going to take a lot of poke damage early on here. Brain going to get a couple extra autos and going to be almost ignited up here. No, Brain not going to go for it, but Flash Ignite is available here, and if Leona gets hooked up one more time, she will go down. Level 2 not quite there yet. Hook going to somehow land there on Victor. Ignite going to come through as well. Barlow going to have to pot up here. Will survive, but already this bot lane in tatters for St. Clair.
Okay, if this was supposed to be a kill lane, the lane's already over. This is really, really rough here for Barlow and Fresh, as the poke damage, like I saw what they were trying to do. Like it seemed like Fresh was trying to get loads to bait them into what would be the next laser beam there from Barlow, but the damage wasn't there. It did not quite hit as they were hoping, and now level 2 going to go right to Jurassic and Brainy, and it's going to basically oust any sort of aggression that they were thinking about.
I gotta say, I think we haven't talked about him enough yet. Brainy in this series has been so good. Oh, he gonna catch though onto him. Ignite gonna come through. Shield gonna pop up here. Will flash out. Fresh not gonna be caught up by the hook. Nice flash by him. Auto gonna come through anyway though. First blood gonna be claimed by Caitlyn there, and they will be able to get it with no trade. So bot lane already taken apart here. St. Clair, no summoners down there as well. Victor will have to back and TP into lane, so already an early advantage here for the side of Bay State.
Oh dear, Jurassic and Brainy coming in clutch once again. You're just saying how like Brainy was so absolutely solid, just taking as much damage as possible before like flashing away, which just let Jurassic get so much extra hits. There's absolutely nothing Fresh could do in that situation. Was just completely caught by the tower and another player. Here we go again.
Fresh over the wall, gonna hex flash here. Get that stun down onto Serenok here. Zephyr gonna force flash over the wall. E-Hug gonna find one though, but he will be traded back out. Ricky gonna show up here in the lane. W gonna land as well. That's gonna be a free kill for him. 300 gold in his pocket, and St. Clair gonna win that fight. We'll go 2 for 1 there and even up this kill.
All right, well the bot lane might have been a little bit off the start there. A nice little redemption arc here for Fresh to make the roam nice and quickly here towards that mid lane, and the rest of the Saints closing in. I was extremely worried about that fight. However, we just got both E-Hug and Ricky jump started here, getting those, or getting 1 kill each respectively. So good to see on the side of the Saints not letting the initial bot lane woes affect them too much.
And it's always good to have those kills on your carries, right? But oh, they're going to collapse on Ricky here. Ricky level 4 has a small level advantage. Going to flash through, going to try and find Serenok here, but won't get that last Q. And E-Hug caught out in no man's land. Brainy going to be here. Glacial going to go down on E-Hug, will go down as well. So 2 kills in answer here for Bay State. And I mean, it was really, really good awareness there. The fact that they expected E-Hug to try and go for that top scuttle was marked, so he really, really wants to get that one, but unfortunately, you just didn't have any advantage in Ricky getting caught up here again. TP back to the wave, but there's going to be a jungler here as well. Going to go for the Q. W going to land as well. Will Bedge go back to that? No, but Q going to miss. Ricky not going to go for it, though. Bedge going to get a lot of poke damage down. Can Ricky come back in this fight? No. Dragon going to claim his life there, and just like that, again, we see Ricky back-to-back deaths, but Fresh going to be roaming up here. E not going to land. Polymorph going to come through, but they can't chase that one out. Zephyr, no mana, can't find that kill. So again, just some crazy activity happening all over. Q gonna land through the stun there. Brainy gonna find it, but Barlow gonna get the stun on Jurassic there. Ignite gonna come down though. Can Barlow escape from this? Has Q up. Flash gonna be followed. Jurassic gonna claim that kill. Yes, he will. Jurassic finding another kill. 2-0 on this Caitlyn, and I mean, just such a rough early game here for St. Clair. It looks so good for about 20 seconds, and then Bay State finds answers across the entire map and takes this lead from, I think, 400 to 3K.
I mean, you back a wild animal into the corner, it's going to come swinging, it's going to come clawing away, it's going to get scrappy with you. But if you predict it, you just bait them out and absolutely demolish them, and Bay State has done exactly that. Sure, they gave up the initial kills in that mid lane. However, like with Brainy coming with the next rotate for the scuttle, just able to turn that around. The fact that they were able to eliminate Ricky twice just after I was saying that, oh, he got his lane jump started. Okay, now his opponent, the Jace, now has 4 assists. Granted, no kills, but that is still going to come up nicely in the gold department.
Ricky was able to pick up Pickaxe though, so he will have a lot of survivability against this Bedge here. And Bedge, just with the tier and the anti-heal, not going to be able to do much in this lane until he picks up his Eclipse there. So I think Ricky will be able to have an advantage here in top for a while. But Dragon now being started up here by the side of Bay State. Will there be a contest on this Dragon. I don't think St. Clair should. I think, again, the problem with the draft that St. Clair has is you have no priority in this early game in mid or in bot lane. So a lot of these early objectives are just going to go over for free. This is going to be a fight, though, in top lane. Bed's going to knock him out of the W. We'll put down a decent bit of damage here. We'll be fighting the minions, but pot it up. So in the meanwhile, they do get the Dragon there, and they will be able to reset. So an objective taken here for free for Bay State. Ricky trying to get something started, lands the Q, but not going to go for the full engage just yet. Oh, he's going to get flashed on bench. Going to look for this kill, though. Going to get the auto through. Will he live? Oh, Ricky finds the kill. Somehow takes down bench there. That is a massive solo kill in the top lane for Ricky. That's going to get started. Zephrot going to have to ult up here to save himself alive. Nice Q there on E-Hug. No deaths just yet, though. Zephrot going to barely be able to live. So, again, a good answer here back from the side of Bay State, but aren't able to find that kill just yet. Fresh here to hold up E-Hug, make sure he doesn't go down, but in the end, just a 1 kill over in top lane, but that kill cannot be understated how big that is.
That's one of the biggest gripes I have as Jace as a champion. Like, yes, you jump on in, you have all these abilities, and you do all this burst damage. Now you're stuck waiting on cooldowns, but it looks like the action isn't done. Barlow's in trouble.
Barlow, can you get out of this? Going to dodge the Q, but can't dodge that ultimate from Dragon. Free kill over again. This Victor bot lane, just such a struggle here. No mobility. Ricky looking to go for a fight. Has the ultimate available. So much healing from that Q. Bedge down to 200 HP here. Will get autoed up here. Going to get knocked back. Will he find the kill? Yes, he will. Bedge gets that one up and will pot so he doesn't die to the W, and an answer back in the top lane. And again, it's Ricky going for these crazy plays. And normally in these games that he's played so far in his season, like, he's been able to outclass a lot of these top laners and make those plays happen, but Bedge is just on another level. He's able to answer back with a kill of his own, and that big advantage that he just picked up with getting that solo kill is just disappeared in an instant.
That's so frustrating because it's happened twice now in the last couple minutes here where he finds himself the elimination and then just gets smoked pretty much right after the fact. And I was so close there from Ricky. I was definitely concerned off the start, but it was so close. Literally had that calculated down to 1 missed cooldown. And Benji there able to like finish the job in the end. So now basically evened up. And now E-Hug could find himself in a bit of a pickle.
He does have his top laner with priority, but he will be forced to back off. He did end up getting that that buff though, which is big, but now the fact that this Nautilus is roaming is big because they can't take this Herald. Just early game power coming out from this Nautilus, able to roam effectively, but maybe they will go for a fight. Fresh is up in this top river as well. Brainy going to try and zone him off here. They are aware there is 3 members here, and with no priority in mid, I don't know if they want to take this. Looks like they're going to walk towards it. Serenok has no mana, though, which is going to be an issue, right? Because if they go for this fight, Serenok only going to be able to get off a couple of abilities before he has to go for an auto to try and get some mana back here. Looks like fight might come out. Yeah, going to be collapsed on by 4 people. Going to pop the ult, though. We'll be able to survive here. Fresh putting down a decent amount of damage here. Bedge pretty low. Q going to find him. Serenok going to get E-Hug, but trade can come back and forth. So top laner traded for jungle here. Will they continue this fight? Yes, they will. Hook going to find him, though. Fresh still somehow alive. Ricky trying to heal up here. We'll get the W down on Nautilus here. Will pick up the kill, but another trade coming through. Fresh going to go down as well. So in the end, still a 2 for 2. Fight still raging on in the meantime, though. Ricky trying to find Serenok here. Will pop the ultimate. Going to get the W. No, going to flash out of it just in time. We'll go back to his turret. Ricky forced to back up here in just a second. Bot laners still haven't joined the fight, though. They're still down in bot lane. Ricky still going for this one. W going to land. Q going to land as well. Beautiful flash. Going to land that kill. Zephrot going to claim it, and that is going to be St. Clair winning the fight 3 for 2. A very, very long one. But in the meanwhile, bot lane turret was taken by Caitlyn. So despite the fact that St. Clair take that lead in the kills, bot lane turret is gone. All the plates are gone. And Caitlyn on so much gold already had a Kraken Slayer at 10 minutes.
I mean, small victories in regards to the eliminations there for the side of the Saints. But
look at that gold difference in the bot lane.
That's going to be an absolute major piece of concern. That's kind of what I was actually going to bring up in regards to the bot lane as well as the mid lane. We are going to be seeing quite the significant CS difference already here. Granted, thankfully there, Zephrot was able to get himself on the board a little bit. A couple assists and a couple eliminations in that regard. But right now, Barlow, I was just talking about in the champ select, like, how is your bot lane mage play? Did you pick this champion more so for the fact that Bay State doesn't get it? Or are you actually, like, is this a secret pick that you're extremely good with? Right now, I'm not 100% convinced. That being said, though, we still have plenty of time, but you are getting doubled in CS down in that bot lane.
Ricky wants to go in here, but this Caitlyn is really, really strong. With her Kraken Slayer and boots built, she can outpoke Ricky and won't be able to actually fight. Ricky going to land a Q, going to go for it anyway, though. W going to land, going to have to flash out of that one. Will survive here, but there's going to be a 4-man collapse in the top lane. Going to be popped out. No, he will survive. Nice hop there. but it will be an insect. Not going to matter. Yeek's still going to live. Lulu coming through here. That's going to be an ult
Big
through
ult.
as well. That's a big Q shutdown coming through, and another kill. TP going to come through, but it doesn't matter. Barlow a little bit late on that one. Bedge, half HP here. Ult's going to come down. Bedge just going to live, but in the end, St. Clair claim 2 lives, and they keep their turret up. The most important thing here there.
Fresh just absolutely dropped the Solar Flare like nuke right on top of 2 members of Bay State right in the middle of that team fight, stunning them both up completely, and it looks like they're not quite done. Ehug and Zephrot looking to maybe push for more.
He has ult available here, will be forced to pop it, but they're going to get the kill anyway. Good job, able to survive there and hop out. So 3 kills over for St. Clair, and Answer back here. They were down like 7k gold early on, or 6k gold early on in this game, but they found a couple kills back, and that is huge. The more time you buy for St. Clair, I don't even have time to speak. Ricky going to go in here on Bedge, going to find the Q. Ricky picking up another solo kill in this top lane, and I think maybe Mundo just wasn't his pick. This Aatrox looking way more comfortable on his side. We'll find another solo kill. We'll get some more plates. Dragon will be claimed in the meanwhile, but St. Clair finally some life here in the early game.
I mean, normally anytime we have Ricky on like a pure tank kind of champion, it's just not necessarily gone well. He's always excelled at these more bruisery style kind of top laners. If anything, well, like to be fair, like Saints in general, majority of the time their tank line really comes from the support, or if they have Take Young or some in the mid lane with a Galio or something like that. But that may not necessarily be like the best pick in this meta as of right now. So it's so weird still seeing a very consistent not heavy front line for like this League of Legends matchup here. But Saints are by the skin of their teeth hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, with the Caitlyn on such a big gold deficit right now, she is still going to be significantly ahead of a lot of members of St. Clair. But if you can fight around that, you can definitely take advantage of it. Because right now, Ricky definitely ahead of this top laner, has Core Chicken built already, Kraken and Boots built for this Kindred. Going to be pretty even, actually, with the Lee Sin right now. But obviously, Kindred with those marks is going to be scaling a lot better. And like I said, if you can get to late game, you're St. Clair, you're feeling a lot better, because that is when this Victor really comes online. Herald going to be coming down here in the top lane, though, and with nobody here to contest it, Ricky going to go in on bot, not going to find it, though, but no one to contest this top lane turret. It will go down, so Caitlyn getting full plates. Oh, not quite actually going to get full plates there, but we'll get the turret fresh. Looks like he wants to engage here, but he's all alone. His backup isn't going to be here for a little bit. No, he's not going to go for it.
Warning shot.
But in the end, it was top turret taken, and they get lots of plates and lots of gold over to this Caitlyn. So right now, if anything for St. Clair, you need to kill this Caitlyn early on in a fight, because if she's allowed to just free hit you, you're not going to be able to win it.
I mean, like, in all honesty, like, the Saints aren't necessarily doing too bad here, but we do have another engage here right in the mid lane. Ehug driving in.
Oh my goodness, Ehug's damage is ridiculous. He gets a nice flash out of that. Dragon wants to go in on this fight, but he doesn't realize you can't go in on that one. Slow, gonna stun. Oh, stun gonna land. Fresh finds the E. A double for Ehug. Ricky coming in as well. Nautilus gonna be taken down. They're gonna go for a triple for Ehug. Trying to find 4. Gets the quadra kill. Ehug one tricking his way to the top here on Kindred. Looking amazing on this pick. Gonna get this mid lane turn as well. Ehug on the Kindred, unstoppable right now.
Absolutely brutal. The Saints bring this up to basically between, or to even. But the big difference here between Bay State and St. Clair is Bay State still have all of their first tier turrets. So Saints can very easily bring this back just by getting a couple of them as we go through this replay as the Saints dive in.
And that flash made the difference. Dragon walked in. I think he wanted to go for an insect onto this Lulu, but really, really good job. Ados dodged that one out. A double kill picked up, and Ricky coming in. So much damage, so much survivability. Found Jurassic there, and the important thing was the 300 gold shutdown went onto this Kindred. The Kindred were coming back. When she gets that reset, she's going to have so much gold here. And that is really what you wanted to see, right? Because St. Clair, if you can stop this early game, you can get yourself ahead. If you can get to that late game scaling point for this Victor, for the Kindred, it's going to be huge. And that's the whole point. And now that 2-0-10 on Lulu. Zephrot this series has played 4 different champs and has looked really, really good on all 4 of them. It is incredible what he's been able to do in this series.
Absolutely. Only like the game 2 with Sindra there was like the only like
I guess.
that was a bit of a rougher one.
Yeah.
But at the same time though, that was also because Serenok was just popping off on Zoe, to be fair. But at the same time, like looking at this right now, this is exactly the kind of position I love seeing St. Clair in. I always hate when they all in onto one person to be their damage dealer, but they have the case of multiple threats, and not only multiple threats, but they have an additional bit of support there. Zephrot being there on the Lulu to keep somebody alive is just going to make it so much harder here for Bay State.
Oh, Bedge, no, where you're in no man's land will be caught up, but no, the ult's going to come through. There will be a little bit of resistance here. There's going to be 3 members, but they're going to go in anyway. Bedge actually going to go down to Fresh here. Ricky is level 12 right now. Brain Brain just level 7 will be caught out in no man's land here. Kill will go over to Barlow. They're going to give him a little bit of gold back. And they're going to try and follow up on the Xerath. Serenok trying to escape, will be forced to flash out, but St. Clair finding another 2 kills. Absolutely massive. Finally, Barlow getting some gold. And the further you get, the closer you get to Lake. Oh, Ricky, you're going to go in on Serenok. He has to, going to find the kill. Is he going to escape? No, Turret going to take him down. Shutdown going to be found. Tries to pop the ult, but you go a little bit too late on that one. They're going to try and follow up, though. Trap will come down. Dragon on the other side of this. Going to look for the Q. Going to land here on Yig, but he will just use it to get out. So, in the end, it will just be a 1 kill over for 2 for St. Clair.
And we have ourselves a dead even game. It is game 1 all over again. But honestly, in regards to fights, it just seems like St. Clair just has that little bit more damage right here, right now. But Bay State have all the objectives.
They're not going to go for the split turret. They're just going to let it go. But the problem is, if you're not getting ahead on an early game team comp, when you get to that mid-game, late-game spike for the side of St. Clair, you're not going to be able to deal with it, right? And you have a Jace, you have a Xerath, you have a Caitlyn, right? Caitlyn doing a lot of damage right now. She is significantly ahead. But right now, the Xerath and Jace, you can just shrug off that poke. It doesn't mean that much to you because you're so far ahead in terms of gold that you don't have to worry about that poke coming through. But St. Clair looks like they want to go for this. TP going to be used by Barlow. They don't want to give up this soul just yet. It is Cloud Soul. It did get slightly buffed, so it is going to be pretty good, but St. Clair looking like they want to contest this.
Yeah, they can't let this go for free. It being on like soul points already would absolutely be devastating in regards to giving Bay State a win con here in this situation. Fresh is going to want to hop on in here, but they are absolutely ready
he gets
for him.
the ult off, though. You're going to go for Ricky, going to find Brain here early on. It will be a trade 1-for-1. The support's down here, but St. Clair pretty low. They have to try and play this out carefully. Could it be a 50-50 here? Will they go for this? They will try and contest. Dragon going to reset, though. They're going to back off here. Xerath ult going to come through a lot of damage, but he's not going to be able to hit any of those last hits. So Zephrot going to stay alive here. They're going to go for this. That will be a 3rd Dragon over for Bay State. Flash going to come out here as well. Going to be routed back. They have to try and back up here. Zephrot or Ricky going to try and go in on there, but shutdown for Caitlyn. They're getting collapsed on here. Ia going to have to go huge in this fight. Going to try and find it back. Zephrot barely going to live here, but he will be backed off. Shutdown coming through as well. And Dragon just being the gatekeeper here doesn't want to let them leave, but Fresh going to be showing up. Flash into Kindred. A massive one. Shutdown and come through for Lee Sin. He will get 2. That was an unbelievable kick. Jurassic going to find the 3rd. They can turn and burn. Go for that Herald. And just when this fight looked like it was going in St. Clair's favor, they turn it around. Dragon with a really, really good kick to turn that one around and burn St. Clair's hopes to ash.
I love the idea there from Fresh to just get like right onto Dragon like that. However, that roundhouse kick that went right into the other Saints player, knocking him up, just gave enough time for Bay State to bring in the cavalry and finish off that fight. It was absolutely brutal. They won that team fight decisively, got this massive gold lead. They're on Dragon's soul point. They are doing a lot of things correctly here. They've gotten their lead. They're trying to get more ahead. They've given themselves a win condition. And I just don't know. Saints just have to prolong and just try to hang in there and try to maybe like wane out some of this like early damage that Bay State can do.
But you see the problem there in that team fight was the fact that, yes, they're picking people fresh. They were able to find one back onto Brainy, but there's so much poke from the side of Bay State. If you are stuck in that no man's land around the Dragon for an extended fight, you're going to get poked out, and then eventually they're just going to collapse on you. So St. Clair, just not a decisive call whether they wanted to go for that Dragon or not, and it cost them everyone on their team because you got poked out. There's no healing. You only have really shielding on Lulu, so you can't really survive an extended team fight. Ooh, Dragon in a bad spot here. Going to dash over onto this blue buff. They're going to chase anyway here. Shirelia's popped. A lot of speed here. Are they going to chase? All going to come down, but not going to be enough. Will dodge out, so Dragon able to survive that engage in the jungle and has a small shutdown now, so is worth a decent amount of gold. Barlow in the meanwhile will take bot turret, and that's really good. Now all outers are going to be down here for the side of Bay State, so St. Clair can fight a lot more of these team fights a lot more comfortably than they could before. Engage going to be in mid. Iha going to be knocked up here for just a second. Knight going to come down really early here, but nobody else wants to engage on this one. Brainy will have to flash out. They're not going to go for the re-engage, so in the end, it will just cost Brainy Summoners, nothing else too much, but they're on the wrong side of the map here. Jurassic going to be running towards St. Clair's base, but you see this poke coming through is so strong right now. You're going to have to pop that ultimate, and they will be able to walk away here. St. Clair going to try and heal up in that one, but that's going to be an engage anyway. Bay State trying to rip them apart here. Dragon Kim going to go on a killing spree here. Ricky walking to the backline. Shutdown going to be claimed actually on the backside. They found Jurassic there. Ricky walking into 3 people. Q coming down. He is going to slam dunk Brainy there looking for more Eug, and Ricky trying for this chase here, but there's 3 members still alive. Ooh, stun gonna land.
Turn.
Q gonna land as well. Shield up for this Lulu, trying to wait it out. He will find it as well. Going in the back line, will be traded through, but Barlow gonna find a kill, but will be traded back. It is 4 for 3 right now. Ricky, the only one left here for St. Clair. Can he win this 1v2
This is still
here?
winnable.
Has to find a big Q onto Dragon here if he wants to win this one. Ricky walking forward, unafraid of what Leeson's going to do. Leeson going to go for the fight here. W going to land as well, but he's going to dash out of it. Blast Plant. Will he chase? Yes, he will. Going to take the Blast Plant, trying to find Kim here, but there is a couple members coming through. Ricky trying to find this fight, but he's healing so much. Q going to land. Will go in for the execute. Going to flash out of Veg. Going to find that kill, and that might be Baron if they decide to turn onto it. No, they don't decide to.
Gosh, the greed just coming out once again here. And honestly, like, mad props to Bay State for the way they handled that like, the poke in the mid lane before that engage actually happened on. They had poke damage coming from basically all 4 sides of that lane. And the Saints, like, you could see, like, Ricky basically had his ult ready in the pop, but he just couldn't, like, actually get on top of everybody. They were cutting so well. Granted, eventually Saints were able to kind of break in and start finding an elimination or 2, but the greed is slowly but surely just eating away at them. Granted, this gold lead, it's not the worst as it could be. This is still completely doable, and in fact, Baron might be on the table. I don't think it's covered up. There's no vision
there's
here.
no vision in this Baron pit, so it looks like St. Clair going to go on it, but pings are going to be coming down onto this Baron. They're going to know
coming.
This is happening, so they will end up backing off, just waiting for the reset. All going to come through. Brainy going to be found out here. Will be hooked up. Ricky going to take him down really early, and that's a free kill over for St. Clair, but so much poke damage coming through. Ult going to come through, but not going to find anybody just yet. Solar Flare not going to land. Ricky looking for Bedge here. Going to be forced to back off. Jurassic going to find E-Hug. Ricky going to heal up, and the Gore Drinker is still alive here in the backline. Lulu ult going to come through as well. Dragon going to kick too. That's going to be Barlow going down. Fresh, quick to follow here. Double kill over for Serenok. Ricky, the only one standing yet again. He will be taking down a double kill over for Jurassic. They will find the ace. They'll find the Baron. They're going to find the Soul as well, and things turn from bad to worse for St. Clair.
Jurassic and Serenok, the Riverside snipers here, coming in clutch to really finish off that back line of St. Clair. Zephyrat was sitting there with the Lulu ults for so long, but had next to no HP. It just took one shot to actually get this done. And right there, they finally find their chance to burn as soon as Jurassic finds the shot. And look at this snipe here from Serenok to take care of Zephyrat. So as soon as that ult gets popped, just gets instantly deleted, and it leaves Ricky all alone.
And that's the problem with this comp, right? You don't have any long-range fighting ability because you drafted a Victor. So unless you really get on top of their team, you're not going to have a chance to win any fights. And you see there, they poke them out. And despite the fact that they lost Brainy really early, the Xerath and the Caitlyn damage is just too much for St. Clair to handle right now. And I mean, they really need to just find proper engages. If they can have Fresh, it's all on Fresh right now.
That's what I was saying before, and they're going to try for... Oh my god!
She walked on a trap, and that is going to be Ia going down here. Ult going to come down on the Dragon King, but he will be able to escape. Fresh going to go down as well. That's going to be Barlow slowed up here. Ult going to come through for Caitlyn. Going to miss the Q, but it doesn't matter. Barlow trying to stay alive as long as possible, but he will be taken out. That is going to be another 4 down again. Ricky, the only member standing here for St. Clair, is going to try and delay for as long as possible, but he will be tagged up by the Q there. Dragon gonna slow him up with the E, gonna go for the ult, maybe look for this blast plant, just trying to delay as long as possible. We'll hop over into this Dragon pick, gonna go back onto Serenok actually, but will be followed by Dragon Kim, trying to 1v2 here, still somehow alive, will get the knockup, but he will be taken down here in just a second. That is gonna be an ace coming through, did delay them for quite a while, so might only cost them an inhibitor here. And I mean, yes, they are getting slammed in these fights, but in the last 2 times, the fact that Ricky's alive and is able to delay for so long has actually saved St. Clair quite a lot. But Jurassic, so much damage right now. E-Hug has the ult, isn't going to pop it though, will get the shutdown on Jurassic there. Jurassic taking 1 step too far forward. Dragon Kim quite low here. Will they go for this fight? Yes, they will. Dragon going to kick. Oh, he will get Kindred with that kick. Another beautiful Dragon kick by this Lee Sin will result in a kill over a double for Dragon. Still alive here somehow. Still fighting this one. Brain gonna go for the root there. Ult gonna come through. Stopwatch gonna be activated here. Bedge gonna find the kill. And somehow Dragon is still going in here true to his name, making an absolute masterclass of a game on this Lee Sin. Stopwatch gonna be activated here. Zephyrat's still alive as well as this.
Oh, what a shot.
Never mind. He's down. That is gonna be it. An ace coming through again. St. Clair just getting outclassed by Bay State, and that is going to be it here, I believe. That is going to be the last vestige of hope. They will have a couple resets coming through, but, oh, he's going to die in base. Doesn't even get a chance to move there. And that is going to be the game here. 26 minutes in. Bay State coming from behind again in the early game to find this win. And, I mean, St. Clair put up a good fight in this series, but Bay State had their number. That is going to be it. The finals is over. St. Clair going to go down. Oh, never mind. As I say that, they're going to keep... Oh, they're actually going to go for an engage here. Veg caught out. Barlow going to look for some autos here, but no, they're just going to be autoing the Nexus here in just a second. A couple kills coming through, but that is going to be it. Bay State take the grand finals 3-1. Dominating fashion in these last 3 games, and that is going to be all she wrote for the NECC League for the fall.
Man, that's definitely frustrating because that was very, very close for the longest point. Like 3,000 gold lead for Bay State, that wasn't completely undoable. But we just see time and time again across multiple games here. Unfortunately, the trigger happy nature there for St. Clair, they're kind of getting the best of them, and they did not have a composition that really allowed them to do that. Again, he puts all of your engage on Fresh, and it's not that he's not going to do a good job. Of course he's going to do his absolute best, and he was doing very, very solid, but you're relying basically your entire team composition on 2 abilities, which can both miss.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've seen time and time again, like, sure, they might even get 1 kill off the engage. Now everybody is just walking towards them and they can't catch anybody.
And I think it's such a struggle too, right? Because I got to give all credit to Bay State. Though,
Absolutely.
Because especially in these last 2 games, they played exactly to their team composition, right? You saw in that 3rd game, you had the pick. That was your going for. You had Lee and Zoe. They played that perfectly. This game, they had the long-range tools to poke you out, and they used that to perfection. They got this Caitlyn ahead in this bot lane, and she was just wrecked their entire team. And you know, St. Clair had an advantage in the early game. They got their top lane ahead. They got their jungler ahead. And the fact that E-Hug was so strong, it didn't really matter because this Caitlyn getting all the plates in bot and top, getting objectives, just so much gold in her pocket that no matter what E-Hug could throw at her, she was just able to outrange them. And you had the Xerath on top of it, you had the Jace on top of it. So they played their game plan to perfection, and that really was the difference maker, right? Because St. Clair with that draft didn't really have an identity. Bay State clearly had one, and they took advantage of it, and I think that's why they ended up winning this game and taking the series.
And then props to Jurassic as well there for the side of Bay State on the Caitlyn, because even when there were these little stray kills like after the fight, you saw Bay State, like, normally you'd maybe send like 1 or maybe 2 people to just kind of hunt them down so they don't back. But there was a lot of times where Bay State was basically sending everybody to chase the Saints. Meanwhile, Jurassic's like, I don't need these kills. That tower inhibitor looks fantastic right now. Eyes was always on the objective, was always exactly where they needed to get it done. Sure, the team cleaned up everything else, but even like 1 kill at the grand scheme of things maybe won't necessarily add up to that much. But the fact that the wherewithal, like, okay, I'm not just going to chase kills. There's objectives that need to go down. So now, hey, we got the kill, and we have super minions coming now for this next push. Fantastic. And it was just little things like that, like you were saying, constant towers, constant dragons. The fact that they have the soul on top of that just really helped seal the deal in that game. And Bay State just once again just showing why they are an absolute powerhouse in whatever esport they touch.
Yeah, definitely took this last series very, very handily. And it is the end of the road for St. Clair League of Legends for the fall season. And looking back on it, I think they were very, very successful. They made it to the NECC finals. A couple of early bow outs in the other leagues in NACE and in CLOL, but I think it was kind of that mid-season jitters that they had. And we saw, especially as the last half of the season went on and playoffs, like all those jitters were out there playing so well together. And I got to give all credit I can to Zephyros, because even in this last game, he was at 1.2011 on this Lulu, and no matter what he played in these last 2 series, in the semifinals and the finals, he looked incredible on it.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm maybe like giving all the props here to Bay State, but absolutely, like, big, like, solid job there to, of course, our St. Clair Saints, just being able to make it as far as they have here in NECC. And like you were saying, like, the longer the season went on, you could tell that some of the chemistry and some of the issues really started to like wean itself off a little bit. We did see, like, at the very beginning, like, Fresh and Barlow, they struggled a lot in that bot lane, to the point where, like, it was like starting to get a little bit concerning. But once we got to about that mid-season level, like, sure, we may have bowed out of a couple or like 1 in a league or something by that point, but things really did start to turn around, and they are trying like new things here. Like, I'm seeing the Victor come out. Unfortunately, not going to be sold for this time by, but it could be something that we see once again in another day.
For sure. But, so that is going to be it. St. Clair will fall to Bay State in the NECC Grand Finals here. 3-1 the final series score. All credit to Bay State. Really, really good series there. The last 3 games very convincing, but St. Clair did end up picking up that first game and looked pretty good throughout it. But that is going to be it for, we are going to go through our sponsors just before we go there. First of all, we have Crunchyroll, a newest sponsor for this year, essentially the Netflix of anime, as Jackson lovingly puts it. You can get yourself a free trial at crunchyroll.com/saints, 14 days for free. Who doesn't like free stuff? We all like free stuff. So
absolutely.
We are going to want to thank them. It is their first year with us, and we love having them on board. We are also going to thank our other sponsors, Subway, Timmy's, the SRC, as well as St. Clair College Alumni Association. Great to have them on board as well. And can't forget our merch. I found my mask. Thank goodness.
Hey,
I found
yeah.
my mask. But yeah, excited to get some more merch in here sometime soon. But want to go ahead and talk about the merch because you're wearing all of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I'm the walking billboard here today, here on the broadcast. But of course, the dark mode merch basically coming in clutch here this season with the taken away from the usual green, white, and yellow.
I like it.
But it's quite nice. And we have, of course, quite the lineup this time here at acquire.ca/saints. Everything from flags to, of course, multiple different types of sweaters, crew necks, jersey. You can even get your name on the back of the jersey if you really wanted to. But at the end of the day, you're helping support the Saints here, Saints esports team, and definitely thank you for doing so. Check it out, acquire.ca/saints.
So that is going to be it for us on this broadcast. Thank you all for coming out. It was a wild ride. A lot of ups and downs, but in the end, Bay State reigns supreme. They do win the series 3-1. Thanks. Kaylee's not here anymore, but I want to thank Kaylee for casting and Dan stepping in for game number 4. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a blast. Even earlier on, just watching from the production side of things, it was an awesome series nonetheless. Again, congrats to Saints for getting second in ICC. That's absolutely fantastic. And again, props to Bay State for the victory. And of course, I do want to also give a couple thank yous as well. First off to John, of course, for commentating basically everything the last couple of months. So beautifully done. Couldn't have done it this semester without you. Thank you so much, especially with the video editing and the highlights and whatnot.
It's fun.
Big shout out. Awesome. Big shout out, of course, to Jackson as well in the production room here this time by, whether it's on commentary or in the production side of things. Again, couldn't do it without you. Kermit been coming in clutch for the last couple of broadcast as well on the observing side of things. Thank you very, very much there, Nick. And then, of course, big thank you to everybody for tuning in, whether you're here for the Saints or the side of Bay State. It was awesome seeing everybody in here supporting both sides of it. And it was awesome seeing some of the friendly banter coming out between the two teams and maybe a little friendly rivalry of sorts coming in. I know Bay State, they may have had our number in this semester, but come winter time, we will be coming back swinging. We ain't going down without a fight. So
that's going to be it. Thank you all for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful night. We'll be back Thursday with R6.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with NJCAE Call of Duty.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
semifinals happening there.
That'll be interesting. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But that is going to be it for this broadcast. Thank you all for coming out. We love you. Have a good night. Stay safe and love each other.
Exhaust gonna find him. You're gonna go for the knock-up. Dragon Kim gonna go down here. Barlow gonna find that kill. Frenzied up. Gnarl gonna find him on the backside though. Bench gonna find one. Stun gonna come through as well. A nice block there, but will he save his teammate here? No, gonna double kill here. Fresh, the last one alive. Will find the triple here in just a second. Bench gonna get the auto coming through. Q gonna find it. Reset. Bench just triple kill. Ricky gonna be bound here. Q available here, not gonna get a lot of healing out, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, gonna come through, find Brainy early on. Ult gonna come through, fight on both sides, but Bench, so much damage in this backline. Gonna find Zephyrod early on here. Trey coming through, Ehug gonna find 2 of his own, but tanky Nar can't be stopped by anybody. Fresh trying to get over this wall, will flash for it, but Sarah not gonna follow another triple kill.
Cooldown reduction force Q from going through it.
Yeah, he is just trying to threaten them. He will have the E available. Hook gonna come through. He will get exhausted here, so it will be a significant damage reduction here. They will claim the dragon. Bedge still somehow alive here, but he will be finally shut down. A big one onto Zephyrod there. Finds that one. Bedge gonna go down. Jurassic gonna be taken out as well. Serenok gonna find a kill. Knock with so much poke damage. He's trying to look forward here, but Ehug the wiser to it. Polymorph gonna come out here. Ricky gonna heal up here. Will survive. No. Shutdown to come through. Jurassic somehow still alive here. They will turn on him. Barlow gonna find a kill there, and we'll get one back. So in the end, it is gonna be delayed ace. Brainy gonna go for the hook. Not gonna find Ehug with no mana. Can't go back in. Half HP here. Ricky going on the back line. They're gonna put so much damage down onto this jungler. Dunk gonna come through. Dunk gonna come through. Ricky finds 2. Bedge fending off 3 members of St. Clair right now. Triple stun gonna come through. Q gonna find him, but he will be taken down here in just a second. Finds a kill back, but Serenok doing so much damage. Polymorph gonna come down. He will be taken down. That is a shred this inhibitor as well. Looking to try and end the game on this Baron here. It is going to be a 4v5 fight. Hook not going to find anybody. Bedge with this going to go for the stun, but they will dodge out from all of it. Bedge not going to be able to get anything done in this fight. They will take him down here in just a second. All going to come through, but it's not going to matter. Dunk Ricky gonna find one, Ricky gonna find a second. Ricky all over this game. St. Clair showing up big. Come through as well. No mana for a lot of these members. Fresh gonna be taken down here in just a second. Jurassic gonna find him. That's gonna be Zephyr coming through the fight, but not gonna be able to find any kills back. Reset gonna come through. Gonna have the Xayah as well, going for the Q damage. You're not gonna want to commit. Q gonna land on Barlow. That's so much damage. Flash picked up here. Flash again. Serenok gonna. Herald will be stolen away actually by Bay State. They will find a Brainy down quite low. Ult not gonna find him. Lulu'd up here. Just a second, trying to find this kill. We'll get the reset coming through. Dragon Kim gonna be engaged on. Nice Q gonna land, but gonna be taking so much damage. Ult gonna come through. It's not gonna matter. They're gonna clean up the rest of this fight. Zephyr gonna have to flash out. That's gonna be another Q, and Serenok finding another kill. 6 jungler. They're gonna try and chase this one though. Gonna have to be careful. Jurassic gonna be here. Exhaust gonna come down. Barlow gonna dodge out of the W, but he has 2 people on him. Barlow gonna go down here in just a second. Brain somehow barely living. Bedge gonna find a kill as well. As Zephyr gonna go in, gonna find a kill. Will he pick the right one? Yes, he will. Trying to get advantage there. Ricky still somehow alive. All gonna come through, but not gonna get here. 2 stacks, 3 stacks procced, but no stun gonna come through. Oh, the E is so big. Gonna be here for an answer, trying to find Jurassic here. Dunk available in just a second. He will get that one. Reset there in top lane. Bedge gonna stop Ricky's TP as well. Gonna go for a fight here. Bedge not quite winning this one. Healing, no. The auto gonna find him there. One at relatively full HP here. Zephyr about 3/4, but everyone else is low. Zephyr going for the pick, but Malzahar with the ult still available. Gonna be able to find the kill. Mundo trying to walk away here, but can they escape this? Yuck, so much damage on it. Brainy though. Brainy low. Everyone is low. Double kill. Triple kill for Bedge here. Quadra kill. There's 3 people on the other side of this fight. Ehug. He's going to be charmed up here. Will be rooted here in just a second. Yeah, he will be taking... Oh, he's going to live, actually. Sterix can come through. Going to keep him alive here. We'll have his team coming through. They're going to find that kill, turn this fight around. He will be taken out in the end, but it will be at the cost of 2 members from the side of Bay State. Somehow, he...
Tower and another player.
Fight
Here
here,
we go
but
again.
Fresh over the wall. Going to Hex Flash here. Go that stun down onto Serenok here. Zephyr going to force splash over the wall. Ehug going to find one, though, but he will be traded back out. Ricky going to show up here in the lane. W going to land as well. That's going to be a free kill for him. 300 gold in his pocket. And St. Clair going to win that fight. We'll go 2 for 1 there and even up this kill.
The initial bot lane woes affect me too much.
And it's always good to have those kills on your carries, right? But ooh, they're going to collapse on Ricky here. Ricky level 4 has some level advantage. Going to flash through. Going to try and find Serenok here, but won't get that last Q. And Ehug caught out in no man's land. Brainy going to be here. Glacial going to go down on Ehug. Will go down as well. So 2 kills in answer.
Ehug driving in.
Oh my goodness, Ehug's damage is ridiculous. Ehug gets a nice flash out of that. Dragon wants to go in on this fight, but he doesn't realize you can't go in on that one. Slow, gonna stun. Oh, stun gonna land. Fresh finds the E. A devil for Ehug. Ricky coming in as well. Nautilus gonna be taken down. They're gonna go for a triple for Ehug. Trying to find 4. Gets the quadra kill. Ehug. They will be able to walk away here. St. Clair to try and heal up in that one, but that's gonna be an engage anyway. Bay State trying to rip him apart here. Dragon Kim gonna go on a killing spree here. Ricky walking to the back line. Shutdown gonna be claimed actually on the backside. They found Jurassic there. Ricky walking into 3 people. Q coming down. He is gonna slam dunk. Brainy there looking for more Ehug, and Ricky trying for this chase here, but there's 3 members. Ult gonna come through, but not gonna find anybody just yet. Solar Flare not gonna land. Ricky looking for Bedge here. Gonna have to be forced to back off. Jurassic gonna find Ehug. Ricky gonna heal up, and the Gore Drinker is still alive here in the back line. Lulu ult gonna come through as well. Dragon gonna kick 2. That's gonna be Barlow going down. Fresh quick to follow here. Double kill over Serenok. Ricky the only one standing in.